Alrighty. Bum, ba-dum, ba. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fun with Flame. I am your host, Daniel the Flame, and today I am joined with a gaggle of my friends.
You said gaggle. Is that a word?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's a word.
Okay.
They even done with the introductions. And Kevin set driven.
I just had a
Attacking
question.
your credibility.
He a habitual line stepper. That's what he is.
I had a question about a word I've never heard before.
Oh my God.
Excuse me.
See, this, you know
Can't
what?
just trust your
You know
friends,
why?
huh?
You know why he don't know the words? It's because he was outside.
Stop playing.
He was outside.
You know what? You know what? You're right.
He was outside.
You're absolutely
You open
right.
a book once in a
Instead of us
while.
at home and watching Surf Ninjas, you wouldn't have this problem. With
Out there in
gaggle
them
of
streets.
friends,
Yeah.
would have been with a gaggle of books. A gaggle of geese.
Finish your little intro.
All right.
Why you gotta do little? Why you gotta do all that?
I did it on purpose.
this
I did that on purpose,
pettiness.
though. I did that on purpose.
Set tripping.
I did that on
Habitual
purpose.
line stepper.
I did that on purpose.
Man.
Go ahead with your gaggle of intro.
This gonna be crazy. A gaggle of an intro. I'm joined with Jaymin,
Hello, how y'all doing?
Robert,
Howdy.
and Kevin.
What's up?
For last, the gaggle himself.
Yeah, that's me. What you gonna do?
This podcast is brought to you by Cinnamon Twists. No. I wish I was, man. Those things are delicious. But today, this episode's topic is going to be over something that basically hit me as I was driving a car. Not literally, but I always I basically start thinking about how, you know, we are starting to get a lot more female eccentric superheroes in media now. You know, we're getting a lot more prominent mainstream female characters that a lot of people know when they look and they see it, and they'll be able to name off rip and things like that outside of like the small amount that we had in video games and whatnot, like Lara Croft and Samus and whatnot. But with that aspect, we're starting to see, with the rise of female eccentric characters, Ice, we're starting, like, I'm not seeing any positive male characters anymore. Now, I know, like, basically back in the 80s, we had, like, a lot of cartoons that were oriented towards men or, like, stout male role model characters and things like that. We had a lot of the action movies and stuff like that within the 80s and whatnot. But as time has progressed, there really I really haven't seen a bunch of male characters that have been put onto the movie scene or anything like that, or even in cartoons, really, where there were essentially something to emulate or something to help perpetuate a child to understand and think, like, you know, like, this is a positive male role model character. There's always, not that flaws are a bad thing, but just there's always something wrong with a lot of male eccentric characters nowadays, or there's a lot of it where it centers around feelings and emotions rather than responsibilities and managing like tasks or your daily lives or necessities and things like that. But there's like a clear tone shift as time has changed towards what is happening in with what they're doing with male characters and what has happened with male characters. And I just wanted to know, like, if you guys essentially either noticed this, picked up on it, or is like there anything that you could give as like an example that you believe is something that's related to this or whatnot, or if you even agree with what I'm talking about. So that's essentially what I wanted to bring up today.
Okay.
Now, no. I'm gonna still keep breaking it down. One of the things, because it's actually something I looked into, like some people discussing Star Wars and whatnot. But essentially, the clear difference in character, and this is just based on a character, not more so a role model, but just a character analysis. From the difference in the villain from the original Star Wars of Darth Vader to what they did in the newer Star Wars with Kylo Ren. Mm-hmm. You know, now with Darth Vader and everything, like basically what it was said was like, you know, from from a paper standpoint, you know, you sit there and list everything that they had going on. They're similar, you know, and it was like both Sith wearing all black, like demeanor, tall guys, things like that. Leader, evil, got powerful force powers and whatnot. But when you break down their characters and what they actually did within the story, two totally different things. Darth Vader did things with more of a logical sense. He was well-thinking. He was a villain that was someone to be feared. He killed the mentor of the main guy in the very first movie, and then he defeated the main guy after they first met him. While with Kylo Ren, he was emotional. Multiple times when people just ask a normal question, he was snapping, force choked the shit out of him. And then he lost every time he fought the main character who lacked training and everything like that. He really didn't give the opposition of a bad guy, a villain, you know? Right. Yeah, so it's just like, but that was more so like, you know, like a degradation of over time and how we're perceiving things, you know? But I don't know. I don't know if you could chop that up to the fact that, you know, he was fighting a female character and they did make her a Mary Sue that just couldn't be beat or couldn't be stopped or anything like that, but just how that character was portrayed, like there was a clear flux with that, in my opinion. So, floor is open to anybody.
Well, if just using that as an example, I think that he should have killed her, like straight up.
Kill, Jesus.
Like, I mean, to me, she had no purpose for the story. But, you know, I'm new to Star Wars, so my opinion doesn't matter. But back to what you were saying about the Darth Vader aspect, I do agree with the times because that was like 70s, 80s. Mm-hmm. I want to say that came out.
Yes.
What's the word I'm looking for? Patriarch.
The patriarchy?
Okay. Like of being like, you know, the man's supposed to be the provider, that whole thing, blah, blah, blah.
That's a thing,
right? But today, I guess, because
I mean, that's the thing because society makes it a thing. It's not a thing because it's a
I've
thing.
never seen it.
But no, I'm saying like because I think what they're trying to do is make men more emotional,
which we should have been to begin with,
right?
So we're doing catch up, but sorry to cut.
Were you talking about in like film or?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about in role models in general.
Role models in general.
But first of all, that statement's wildly large. But we're gonna have to condense it down to break it down because we don't have statistical data to prove point either side because it's such a large thing what you're saying because it's literally over time and that's culture. It's so many factors. We can't just say we just don't see it anymore because there's reasons for it. But since we don't have it in depth, we can't. We only do break it down by examples. No, in the Vader example, you chose
by your opinion. And and with the Vader example, I was just doing
the Vader example. Yeah, the Vader example is similar. I understand to the extent. Vader was a grown ass man when we saw him. Kyle was not. Kyle was a legacy, so he was inherently
supposed to be powerful.
No, not even that. But what's the word I'm looking for? It's not arrogant. Privilege. That's what I'm looking for. So he was inherently privileged because of where he came from, right? And that's what his note kind of pushed him to be. Oh, you're the grandchild of Vader, blah, blah, blah. So he boosted his head up, not boosting his skill up. So he came up with that type of style, even based on how his lightsaber was unstable. Like, that's one of the main things you learn. Get your shit stable. What you doing out here? Like, so, but because how his master trained him, who his parents were, like he had an arrogance, and that's how they try to portray it, like he's a bratty kid when he didn't get away, when things didn't go away, he rips up panels and scared the troopers, you know, that type of arrogance. But he never really fought, which makes no sense because he fought other Jedi when he killed everybody at the camp, but no, we didn't see it.
They weren't Rey.
If it wasn't filmed, it didn't happen. So I don't know what's going on there, but. Yeah, he was a kid. Vader was a grown man. Did Vader kill his master? He did not. He had personal beef with him. He had a previous fight. This is like round 2, motherfucker. So this had some personal thing. He wasn't like purposely trying to kill a master because of get away from Luke. It was like, no, you guy, you kind of gave up on me technically when you chopped my limbs off. So like this was personal beef, and even then he didn't kill him.
Right.
He had the intent to. Probably. I don't know.
But I
Vader
guess
kind of soft. He could have killed Luke. He didn't kill Luke.
Yeah,
Just
he
chopped
killed
off his
Luke.
arm. And it was
Well,
like, you're my father. I mean, you're my son or whatever. No, it can't be true. You know, he could have
Well, remember-
he could have force choked him, jacked him over here,
Well,
slapped him,
remember, his
cut him in two
intent
pieces.
was to get Luke to join him.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, really, he didn't think like the motherfucker was going to like skydive off of that platform. Like, you really only had one way to go.
He could have picked him up. He let him fall. Vader. He could have like, nope. Where are you going? I have the Force. He probably could have.
hand outstretched, and who the hell was
He
that
probably
kamikaze
could have
move going?
focused, waited till they found the Millennium Falcon, yanked the Millennium Falcon back in the ship. Where are you going? I was like, I have the Force. Like,
See,
we seen him grab ships. We seen him grab ships. You know, like, so yes, in the story plot, they let that happen.
Yeah.
First of all, technology. We're not let that. You know, so in the 70s, they were limited literally because of technology. So not because of what George Lucas thought the Force could do. You know, but he didn't want the Force could solve all the problems because there won't be no story.
Right.
Literally, the stuff would have been over the day one. Like, technically, Anakin, when he was Anakin should have murdered that little fly thing, just crushed him. Like he had literally the ability in the Force and how the Force acts. You have abilities, but like in Anakin's case, he didn't really do any Force things other than Force sense when he was as in a driver. But technically, he should have been able to like move stuff, you know, at that time.
But in a sense, like with the comparison to both Kylo Ren and Darth Vader,
And
it's
in a mirror suit thing, it's just bad writing.
yeah, bad writing.
Not really.
It is.
Mirror suits don't have to be bad writing because mirror suits usually aren't main characters. They had an older woman who knows all the things and she's never defeated, but she has to go and do stuff.
See, but that's not a Mary Sue. Because that character, just because you
Have no flaws. I thought you.
just because you have an OP flawless
Okay.
character within the story, if they're not the main character, then they're not a Mary Sue. Because you can just
Okay.
have that.
I can't
character.
argue that.
I don't know. I don't know the established rules of mirror suits.
Yeah.
So if that's one of the rules, then whatever.
Because the general idea of the Mary Sue is that the world revolves around them. So if that character is capable,
Well,
of doing
then
all
Doctor
this
Who's a mirror suit. That's fine. He's fine with the
no, Doctor Who has flaws though.
Does he?
Yes.
Does he?
killed
Does he not input his own flaws on himself? But does he have flaws? I don't think he has flaws.
The fact that the fact that multiple people have died on his watch when his whole thing is saving lives and trying to help people.
But he could have.
Hell, the moment when David Tennant leaves is the fact that he decided all of a sudden that because he's a Time Lord and he can see time and everything, he can change it to his own discretion.
Yep.
And then because of that, it was like, now it's time for you to die. And then even when he died, he regretted it. And he was like, I could do so much in this form.
Yeah.
I'm amazing.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't want to die. That's a flaw. Just if you sat there and you was like all powerful, all
I don't know
knowing and amazing.
I don't know if
you
that's a
wouldn't- you wouldn't
flaw
even- you
because
wouldn't even
he
be
has
dying
he
at
has
the
that
time.
option at all times.
Yeah, but he
Nothing
wouldn't-
stopped him from like when he reincarnated, like, oh, I can just go back when there and leave myself a note. Like, you could do this and the other and fix
No,
that
but
thing.
is that-
He chooses these things.
See,
It's not forced
that's
upon
not-
him.
That's not in the sense of him like going or remember to do this and do that. And it's like they never said he wasn't cognitive of what previously happened.
Right.
It's just that his personality and everything changed. Hell, even if he did write a note, the next reincarnation might not even care what he previously.
But
had to
that's
write down
but that's what I'm
because
saying.
they wanna
Like
do something
the
different.
flaws are
Yeah,
little
but they
legitimate
literally
thing.
by
Only
having-
flaw that he has is that he gets lonely.
But I'm saying that having that flaw gives you a flaw. A flaw nonetheless is a flaw.
She doesn't know nothing, so if in that case she's not a married suit.
No, if the universe itself moves around you,
Her
that's
flaw
a
is her ignorance.
In Rey's form, in Rey's sense, everything that happens in Star Wars for Rey helps her. Nothing
Her
ever
flaw
happens.
is her ignorance. So in that case, what you're saying, she's not a married suit.
When does her ignorance hinder her?
All the time,
When?
every time,
Explain when something stopped because Rey didn't know enough.
everything.
When?
She got killed.
Who?
Solo.
Nobody died.
Yeah, Solo, the daddy.
How was that an ignorance factor?
Somehow this is her fault
How was
because of the story plot. Somehow,
how
Yeah,
was
she wasn't there at that.
somehow
time,
that
man.
somehow she got kidnapped and captured because of her, and then you want to go look for her. It's her fault, and somehow because of her ignorance.
That's not a flaw. on
I'm
her.
not rewatching this movie for y'all
that's for
to
some
prove this
reason.
point. Like,
That's some reason for Han Solo walking up on his emotionally messed up kid. Well, he had a lightsaber out. Well, about to have a lightsaber out, and he going, "I need help with something." Is this some double talk? Like, you thinking about killing me, boy? And it was like, maybe. And it was like,
Where was she then?
No more.
Oh, she's
patty
still
cake
in
for
ship?
you.
Where was she then?
I don't know.
Exactly. Remember how she got out all of a sudden knowing how to do mind control? Something she's never seen before? And then all of a sudden they let her out?
She did do that.
Yeah. How the fuck that happened?
I
You're
don't
a
know.
Mary Sue. Yeah, you know how Doctor Who has the sonic screwdriver?
Yes.
Because it's a device to help him get out of stuff. That's it. And it's just like with Jedis and the Force. It's something to help you get out of whatever
Right.
problem we give you. That's it. But he still has issues. He still thinks that he knows better. He criticizes humans all the time. He sits there and is literally racist on multiple times.
He's very well written. That's
These
not
are all problems.
I'm not. I am not comparing. I'm just comparing. Only part I'm not comparing Doctor Who to her, obviously.
Yeah, no.
But I'm just comparing the
I'm saying the concept of what a Mary Sue is.
this concept
Yeah.
of a Mary Sue, which
Ray is a Mary
maybe I don't have
Sue.
all.
Yeah, Ray
the
is
knowledge.
a Mary Sue. Doctor Who is just that's the Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's what I was saying with Darth Vader and Kylo Ren is basically the like what you're saying, like him being privileged and him lashing out and being a child and everything like that. That was our villain for those movies. That was supposed to be the big bad guy.
It's a bad movie.
Yeah.
So,
But it's just I'm just saying like just that's what currently they were like
But yeah,
to have as a bad guy.
Yeah.
To have as the prominent figure that you look at and go, I should be afraid for the heroes in this story because they're dealing with this bad
but they
guy.
did all the right things with Vader, not just his personality. He really showed him very
True.
early 70s, 90s movie
Bad guy
tropes.
kinda
Yeah.
thing,
So
yeah.
it's very hard to.
But it's just
It's
the
super
question-
hard
the
to be
question
right.
Essentially, is like why didn't they do that with Kylo Ren? If we're going from a series that essentially
a
got
bad
its
movie.
popularity from that,
It's a bad movie.
but
maybe
it's
a
just
different audience was watching.
I mean, I think that is also. I mean, I know you guys said a lot, but again, even into the male role models, I think different creators from different times, and then we create things reflecting the times we're in. So, for instance, the idea that we get a lot more female prominent heroes and main characters now, which
Yeah.
can be good, and sometimes we do see fault in that, like any other movie. But why do you think that is? Right? We all know why that is. The time in which we're in is in that climate.
right.
So, not to say that we should then also have a lack of male characters, but what's prominent and what's trying to be shown and sold is that of females. So, I think me answering that question is just that. The time we're in right now is not calling for
Balance.
I mean,
Sure, but it's not
my thing,
calling
we have
for
to get
male-
to that balance though. Like we're at an unbalance right now, so they're trying to
according
female
to
us.
who.
Just
And
how
that's
the
but
movies
that's
work.
the question.
It's like
though.
general
yeah.
movies. Like they're
Who is but I hear that, but
Right.
but what it's a rhetorical question when I say who, because it's not the audience. We are always wanted.
I
a
mean, we're just-
balance. But what I'm saying
no.
is
I think us understand that, but no, that's not a.
I think the general
what you're saying is not a
consensus-
common thing, and you're saying it's a common thing because you think you're common, and this is a
Which is
bad
true,
problem
which is
I
true that
have
we
with
do.
a lot of my friends because you
Yeah.
think you're normal. I don't
Yeah.
hang out with normal niggas. First the fuck off, it's like that's first thing. Like, and I know, and we all work with normal niggas, so I don't
Yeah.
know why this assumption of
We'll call them normies.
we're normal people, and we're not. I think we actually had this conversation. You're doing a lot. I think we've had this conversation that we're not normal people, and we was like, oh no, yes I am. And he's like, no, you're not, because I don't, Anyway, but in that statement, I think we need to relish to what we think and not outside for it. Yeah, you gonna just mess up your knees, man.
Those
I
dancer
can
legs.
I think we just need to focus on why we think instead of like it's normal. No one thinks that because you don't know, because you're not even close to a normal person. Just on the fact that you went to college in this entertainment field alone, that knowledge itself puts you outside that normal field. Period. So like focus on what we think, because you can't we can't say, oh, no one's looking for it or everyone's looking for it. They're trying to jam it in everybody's. We don't know that. We can focus on how we feel about it, because we can discuss that, but we cannot, like I told you before, we don't have statistical data to even talk about that makes sense of like a large scale influence. We can just we can see what we see.
Perspective and our opinion for
I'm here with you.
what we're acknowledging. The fact
Right.
that we
Right.
still keep up with movies, cartoons,
Which is
video games.
so unusual.
Yeah, these things aren't normal.
These aren't normal.
But these are things that essentially are predicated and directed towards children.
People ain't seen cartoons since they dropped the Nickelodeon.
Yeah, and it's like in our age. Yeah.
Very much so.
Remember Doug? Damn. It's like, damn. Fuck, I'm doing.
But to Kevin's point, I'm trying. All the thing I can tell you or say to you is, we all know there was a time period where even if they had a good storyline, good plot on some Wonder Woman stuff or I've seen a couple of good female assassin movies type of stuff, that would have been like, ha ha, you're a lady. Who's your love interest? I'm like, what? Like, it would have been preposterous just in the early 2000s.
And that's what
Just preposterous.
and all I was speaking to was that the time has
Yeah.
changed, and that the climate that we're currently in is the climate that's looking for, asking for, and almost demanding more female prominent characters.
Because that's what's being shown.
That that's just and again, my point was to say that it's not to say that you then get rid of or have lack of those male characters.
True.
There's really no reason not to.
Yeah.
I don't believe that's the thing, but go ahead.
Okay. And okay. I'm just speaking my mind at this
Yeah.
point.
Well, I'll argue against that.
Yeah.
'cause
Do you want to?
I mean,
I mean,
that's,
you have
that's
finished your
my.
statement. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
That was me interjecting.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's cool. No
I'm
problem. No
sorry.
problem.
Go ahead.
But yeah, but that's what I see, and not to say that there's so much of a lack of those male role models. Getting back to the specific point you're bringing up, I think what's getting more money, what's getting more attention, is that of those female main characters. I think there are multiple studios that have been focusing that want to showcase more of a male role model. Hell, even in the black community, I think there's things like that that's always been in the works. It's always been there. But, of course, like a lot of things that's not mainstream, they don't have the fun. So I can't showcase this to you, or it's not getting the attention I think it could get.
True.
And that's what I see more. So I actually see, honestly, even in not to make this a race thing or really a cultural thing, but what I'm seeing more so in the black community is that I do see more of that coming up now. It's more of, I want to have the main character, a black man, and these are the things that, like, almost hinting at the traits that a man should have.
Yeah.
I see that more often, actually, now than ever. But those things are not showcased more prominent.
Right.
And it's up to us to move those projects forward. So
You're not making a race thing. They're making a race thing.
okay. But that's what I see. I do see that.
It's not his fault.
Right.
He's
Right.
acknowledging it. Yeah.
but again, to me, is just the climate. The climate is asking for more female main characters.
Like
That's what
Queen
we're seeing.
Sugar. What was that movie? The movie called when they
Queen and Slim.
Queen
Yeah.
and Slim. Yeah,
It's a really good movie.
Yeah. So like stuff like that, I've seen more of than
Yeah.
I don't think I would have, because we get in the mainstream and it becomes like we're the sidekick. We kind of rob a nigga. It's plot to steal a bank. We're always in some bank stealing stuff.
Criminal stuff.
Yeah.
Criminals,
stuff.
criminals,
Slave stuff,
drug
yeah.
dealer. We're not just petty drug dealers now. We're like in suits now.
Yeah.
But same. Or informants.
Have to be a part of something illegal.
Yeah.
Period.
Or if it's not illegal, we're the sketchy one. It's like, like you don't really like John over there. Like, he always got the wise cracking, blah, blah, blah. Then he gets killed somehow.
Turns out John's a dirty
Yeah.
cop.
Have you seen Monster Hunter?
The new
Yep.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no.
Oh, wow. Everyone died in less than 10 minutes of the film except for the main character.
Huh.
Yep. Had Megan Good in this mess and
And
T.I.
Yeah.
Dead.
I ain't know everybody died.
Dead.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
They literally had
It's
enough
not
that
like
makes
I'm looking for them to be alive.
I would have liked it.
Okay.
I would have
Change
liked.
the pace.
Oh, somebody got
Cool.
like,
I'm with
and
that.
it is
I'm
like
just, them as
not only did they die,
Them.
which is right. They died when the main character was semi-unconscious, so you just heard their screams.
Oh, wow.
Like, okay, that's nice. All right, and like they were dead. They got eaten by spiders. It
oh,
was-
that's
So
so.
wait, they all just died. And
They
she
all
woke
just
up?
died and got eaten by spiders. And she was semi-unconscious, so the spider wrapped her up, but she was alive. And when she got
So
out,
it chose to eat the black people, but wrap her up.
ate the
Gotcha.
whole crew. To be fair, it was
Ate
it was like
everybody.
two
It's some
other
Asian people, too, I
It was
think.
like
Wasn't
it was
Asian
like an
guy?
Asian. No, the Asian guy and
So
her
it
was
a
the only main characters in the whole
It was
movie.
a minority troop.
basically.
And all the minorities.
And she was cool with them all.
it was all
All that.
diverse.
She was a leader. Yeah, Sarge. Where are we? We went to a different world. And they did the whole thing. It's like, and then some sand monster got out, and they was fighting that monster, and they got to some rocky caves. Like, whoo, that was crazy. Where are we? I don't know. Like, check his wounds. Blah blah blah. And she woke up in a little cocoon thing. Like, what's going on? Hearing people screaming, they were dead.
Okay.
I'm like, wow, this is fun.
Also, it's not like she was fighting something, got knocked out. It was more so they were chilling. Then she just wakes up in the thing, cocoon,
Yeah.
and people were getting murdered in the background.
Yeah.
Okay.
But at least the monsters look the same, like from the games and everything.
I was like,
that
this
was
is
the huge selling point.
That was a whole weird story. It was bad. But main point, you had these famous people, like arguably more famous than main character. Arguably, used for no reason. You could have saved your money.
Yeah.
If that was just John and Mary,
Right.
you could have saved your money and put it into the budget.
They could have
'cause
put me in there.
You needed it.
Could've.
Yeah. So
For a
I mean, I'm
fraction
glad
of the
T.I.
price.
got a check.
Exactly.
But I was wondering why this nigga scruffy so long. He was like, it was a while. I'm like, bro, like
He was.
Yeah, I
It
know
was
you're in the
all that
pandemic.
role. Why he-
Yeah, I was like, I know you're in the pandemic, but
They do
nigga,
have
but you.
movie makeup for that. Though.
Yeah, but sometimes in the contract they tell them you have to grow this to be
Right.
there. We literally had this debacle with Superman.
Yeah, yeah.
in the Justice
A
League movie.
debacle.
Yeah.
You know the Snyder thing is supposed to be 4 hours.
I mean, well, it's supposed to be like cut into different stuff.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
It's not going to be
full
one
4
whole
hours.
First
thing.
act,
It's
second
like
act.
cut.
Like multiple movies.
Third act,
Like
fourth
it's not
act.
even movies.
Almost
Basically,
episodic
episode
almost.
of a movie.
Act.
Episodes of a movie.
But he said like
Yeah.
acts.
Robert kept saying like acts almost,
Yeah.
but they're not going to call them acts,
So-
but they'll be like that.
So like a big old Titanic.
Like part
movie,
one, part two.
But you're seeing parts of it. Yep. That way you can keep coming back to that streaming site. Good for you.
Oh, they're gonna pop them out different times.
Most likely. I doubt it.
That's
I-
disgusting.
Yeah, I doubt it. It's
I
not
think
going
it's
to
gonna
run
be-
all together. I
That's
don't think
disgusting.
That's
That's
how
gonna be
Disney
one
Plus
thing.
made that money with Mandalorian. You don't just release it all in
Very
one
true.
chunk. Yeah.
Same thing with
And
the
we
boys.
stayed.
The second season.
Oh, that's different company, but yeah.
Yeah, well, they're like just making more money. Netflix, they stuck in that.
Yeah.
Well,
But we could talk about different shows. Mandalorian's one. He was a good male real role model
It
character.
was. It was.
To
Yeah, it was.
It's a group. Grogu.
Grogu. I mean, like you saw how he changed, becoming not so much emotionless or anything, but how he shown attachment. Where
hell, literally
Mandalorians-
defied his own religion
Yeah.
to save.
Yeah,
the
take
damn
over the
thing.
hat. Yeah, the
Yeah.
hat shit. Yeah.
you did that like 3 times. Though.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Now.
So, what's
at least
the-
they didn't make a big deal out of it.
I mean,
it was
the-
cool to see
the
him be a worker.
boys-
I like
Sometimes
we can
it's
talk about
okay
the
to eat
boys.
pork.
That's nothing.
Sometimes.
It's nothing. The main character who got his girlfriend sliced in dice. He's
male role model?
A male
he stuck
robot?
up and was like, I am fighting for this. He literally got his normal.
No.
Jesus
You-
Christ.
no,
Jesus.
no.
You can let
The
your girl
guy-
die.
no,
huh?
I'm
more
Give-
living
don't give a fuck, huh? Like, this is wild.
Who's constantly emotionally needy. Literally ended the series with stating the fact that he's going to be incredibly needy towards a woman. Like always is
Stated
in
the
trouble
fact.
and is constantly
Yeah, I don't know about that.
like
I don't know if he stated the fact.
Yeah, he did because he was like I'm always clingy on the stuff. He was like, that's why I listen to those Bon Jovi songs. That's about.
Oh, yeah, he did say
He was
about
like,
that
I'm
Bon
always
Jovi's.
clinging to the past. He said because my mom used to listen to him, and then she walked out on us. And he was like, and I keep listening to him. And he was like, and I'm not even sure if I even like him like that. And he was like, but I just cling
Oh,
on
you talking
to
about the
it.
main character, not
Yeah.
what's your name?
Who you talking
Butcher,
about?
No, I thought you were
Oh,
talking
God,
about Homelander.
Homelander.
Yeah, I thought y'all were.
Oh, no.
Homelander.
Because I know we're talking about role models, and of course he's not. But then y'all mentioned the kid. I'm like, well, he's the only one I know that had the
no,
kid.
no.
Oh, you talking about the actual main character?
Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna do the thing again. Yep, just effing up Daniel's podcast. Way to go, Jaymin.
All right.
Copyright.
Way to
Here
go.
we
All
are.
I gotta do is put it on vibrate.
I mean, copyright is like it's a little of a clip of a song, so that'd be weird. But no, like that's okay. I don't understand.
Isn't.
Why is that not okay? A
Hold
person act like a person.
Jamie,
That's
what are you
not
saying
acting like
as a role model to who? And what person?
To sit there and literally state
That's
and
a-
have a
That's a
person,
good role model.
That's
Who?
not a good role model.
Talking about the
What-
guy
what's
I
a
like
good
from
role
the
model
boys?
to- huh?
Talking about the dude I like from the boys? The one that...
You talking about Butcher?
We're
No,
talking
not
about
Butcher.
The main character.
You
The
talking
one
about
who
the
got
black
his...
guy?
The girl
With
got
his
ran
wife?
through.
I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He's a role model to who, though?
Two people.
Who looks at that and go, I want
How?
to be like that when I grow up?
For me, Jesus fucking
Oh my
Christ.
God.
That is a little weird.
be
Now
like
I'm
him?
kind of confused.
Pause.
Like that's weird.
Pause.
He want to be a white
For-
boy with privilege.
You wanna be a white boy.
For me, that he's what I said
Who
earlier.
needs an
he's
emotional
stuck-
anchor?
Everyone needs an emotional anchor.
Like
The
constantly.
fuck?
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't
realistically,
think
If you
sometimes-
don't know you have emotional anchor, you have an emotional
sometimes
anchor.
you need to man the fuck up.
I don't
And it's like
know
you've been
who-
That's a
shit.
dumbass sickness,
That's
and that
not-
needs to die.
No, it doesn't.
Man the fuck up to what?
Man the fuck
You
up.
are a man. That's all the man up you're
Exactly.
doing.
So you need
Having
to
responsibility?
man the fuck up.
Is the dumbest shit. It's like it's literally the dumbest shit
You have
because it has no
responsibility.
fucking
to,
meaning.
To live,
It's-
you have to do this. And so in order for you to live, you have to I have to do a job. I might not.
In
like the
order
job,
to
but I need
live,
do the job.
I'm going to
Man
live.
The fuck up.
Oh, that
you
is-
got to do the job. Man
Again,
the fuck
when
up.
I say that's dumb as shit, I
It's not
literally
dumb.
mean it's dumb as shit because it has no real basis. It's based on whatever who you are. So I hate sayings that don't mean anything. Man the fuck up means completely different from you to me to him to what. It's not a real thing. It's just some shit to say. So whenever someone is not adjusting to whoever they are, that means you as an individual not adjusting to how I feel that you should be. I can say some stupid shit like man the fuck up.
You sure can. And you know what? In order to get over
Stupid
that, man
shit.
the fuck up. That's how you get over that. You man the fuck up.
And it's stupid as
because
shit.
to sit there and to sit there and go, you need an emotional anchor in order for you to conquer any and all challenges or whatever that's going on in your
Didn't
life.
say that.
I'm saying like that's.
But
a
emotional
thing.
anchor is an
But
emotional
it
anchor
depends
that
on
everyone
different people.
has.
Yeah, and there's certain
I
people.
don't know
out
where
there-
mine is.
What's an
like,
emotional anchor?
Just
That's
that's
a good question too. Like I know what it is, but I don't
Let's-
know what mine is
don't-
if I have
Yeah.
one.
But I would just thinking back is on the Dave Chappelle.
I mean, I go to my
special.
dad for questions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I talk to
and-
people. I talk to you guys.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and it's like I have people who I speak to, have guys who I hang out with,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. I've had people in my life pass away, had people in my life get murdered, all this stuff. But it's like I still continue to keep living. And like I said, thinking back on Dave Chappelle, one of his stand-up specials, when he was talking about the guy whose job it was to go around the world eating foods who killed himself.
Oh,
Bourdain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like he went around the world killing himself. And then Dave Chappelle talked about the fact that he knew a guy who had a job at Foot Locker that he used to know from school, had a bunch of kids, was basically in debt, living a life that he couldn't stand, super depressed. But not once did he ever think about killing himself. Life is life. So there's no opposition for anyone to sit there and go, this is hard. Because
Depression is depression, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but what
depression
you
is
can-
something
but
different,
what
though,
you
yeah.
consider hard, and the fact that you have a luxury to go, I'm able to be depressed about this, is totally different from a kid in Africa who has an AK in his hand and has to murder people. Because
That
guess
is
what?
difference of
He doesn't-
circumstance.
That's a different mindset, though.
Again, you man
It
the
is.
fuck up.
It is a different mindset.
This-
However, the
shit
circumstances.
happens.
I see what you're saying.
But
Yeah,
no,
shit
that's what I'm
happens.
saying. This saying like what he's saying is false and
I'm not
incorrect.
saying that it's false and incorrect.
And- no,
you can't
I'm-
say that's false and
can-
incorrect.
can I finish?
Simply
Can-
because
can-
of
can
the
I-
fact
can I
that
finish?
there's no
Can-
way
can I-
in the
can I
world
finish?
that you can possibly
I'm gonna answer that
prove-
question for you, Jaymin. He's not done yet.
He's
I'm
not
not,
done
I'm
yet.
not done yet.
I mean, because the example you give someone is just a different mindset.
Again,
That's it.
Because other shit happens. Because shit happens. It's life.
You
No
damn
one
near.
is-
It's a chemical imbalance. First of all, like
It's
literal
not,
real
It's not
depression.
a matter of just how depression is.
What the fuck are you talking about,
life.
huh?
I'm talking about life.
Yeah, he
Whether or
he
not-
never stated anything.
whether or
No,
not-
he is standing Amy Dorbay who had depression.
Right, he
he's
did bring
saying
up
like
him, who
he's
did.
saying
I brought
that
up him.
he has the luxury of being sad, even though someone in Africa that just had with the AK can't be that sad.
Right.
And it's like that. No, first of all, that
I was
person
talking
may
about the
be
dude at
sad.
Foot Locker.
And I was saying,
No,
like,
he brought up.
I was saying,
Even
like,
even
from what the
even a
Dave
guy
Chappelle
with
story was.
even the David
And then it
Chappelle
was like,
story,
and he-
someone with responsibilities who has less luxury and time to feel a certain type of way, that's called emotionally blocking things off. And this is what he will call man the fuck up. I'm putting air quotes because I still feel that man the fuck up is a dumbass statement. Okay, so the man the fuck up is because usually people emotionally block things off, right? And if Anthony Bourdain might had an opportunity to really understand, like I'm sad for no fucking reason, and that's called depression.
It is depression.
You know,
yes.
so he
Called
might
depression.
he might had time to actually go into like why am I sad, and sometimes that doesn't lead to healthy outcomes.
It's also
Same
true.
with
But
I don't know
he
his name,
chose-
Chris Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park.
the main- the
yeah.
main
Chester
He
Bennington.
Chester has been going through depression for years.
his
He
life.
talked about it. He wrote music about it. He had people to talk to. Yeah, he kids. This nigga had a healthy lifestyle, but depression, and he still killed himself.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So to say, should Chester man the fuck up? Yeah, he did in the grave, nigga. Like he's dead.
No,
Like what
he's
you
dead. He killed himself.
Like,
he took that out because he felt that was the only way for him to get over whatever he had
Right.
going on. Whether or not there were other options, there clearly were.
And he
because
had
his
money enough to have the other
yeah,
options.
but he chose not to explore those options because
No. He did explore the other option. It didn't work for him.
Okay, it just
because
didn't
that's
work.
depression.
It didn't work for him.
Some people can't be chemically fixed. So this is their end is to kill themselves.
And
it's
it-
not nothing about manning the
Again-
fuck up.
Again, whether or not that just something didn't work out for him. He explored all these different options and whatnot.
Yeah.
Nothing was to say that you just can't keep going. Like if your end goal is to literally kill yourself.
Yes.
Because you are just this fucked.
Yes.
Mentally or
Yes.
whatever. I feel that you should explore, not only just explore options and go, none of this is working. Damn it, then find something that does work.
He did.
In order for you to
He found something that worked.
And that was killing himself. And so again, to kill yourself.
And that's his option. And that's his option because that's his life.
But killing
not your
yourself.
life.
But
Ain't got nothing to do with you.
But killing yourself.
Yes.
And his own option is to sit there and have the strength to pick up or get any object to want to end your
pills.
life.
I don't think he did anything crazy.
I don't know how he murdered
I don't know.
killed
I don't
himself.
know either.
But to actually do that
Yeah.
is manning the fuck up and going that I'm not going to take this no more. Just whether or not whatever the action
I see what he's
was.
getting at. I see
Yeah,
what
and
he's
it's like,
getting
what-
at.
But do you see how it's changing?
It,
You see how the definition is changing regardless of situation. Those states. That's
what
why.
I'm saying is that's what
this is
life
why I
is. Life itself is hard.
There's nothing.
Regardless of what anyone else
There's
is going
nothing
through.
about
He
that
was
statement
going-
that means anything unless whatever you put to it. That means it doesn't have a meaning.
It does have a meaning.
My first.
You're saying because you don't believe in it and you don't find it has
No,
a meaning.
what I'm saying
meaning
it
that has
doesn't.
no value.
It is a worthless statement that people say. Just the people say,
It's-
I hate worthless statements
You feel that it's a worthless statement.
because it has no meaning.
But I assure you, I literally know for a fact that this is something that helps a lot of people get through bullshit.
because they're emotionally, a lot of
Because
people.
You literally have no other choice. aside
That's
from killing
emotionally.
yourself.
That is emotionally cutting
Because-
things
so
off.
If you don't want to kill yourself,
But
you know
that's
what
the-
you should do?
but that
Tell
is the
yourself to man
problem.
fuck up.
But it's-
because
that-
you have no other out for whatever
But
it is.
that's what I'm
going
saying.
on.
Like,
Whether or
because
not
that
you
statement
feel it-
even exists makes the problem worse.
Motherfucker, there's always a silver lining is a dumbass statement.
There's always a silver lining.
There's not
Or
always
the
But
cause
you
in the
can
goddamn
you
statement.
can you can point out whatever is a silver lining. You can point that out for a man the fuck up. There is no grand statement. It's just whatever it is. For literally a silver lining is literally finding a silver lining, meaning finding something good in something bad. Period. That's
Yeah,
a change.
but if you can't. If there's no way for you to find,
But you can
anything
always
good,
find a silver
because
lining.
That's how these
It's literally the statement.
Because there's nothing good for them.
That
to
was the
find.
silver lining.
How?
They stopped being in pain.
Then they man the fuck up and killed themselves.
Jesus.
That's
You know what this reminds
dark
me of?
podcast.
Like, this is why I enjoy watching Daniel and Jaymin.
I don't.
I do.
You can take my place.
I'm no, because this is why Jaymin, as you see me, like I'll clock out.
Yes, I've seen
Jaymin
you.
actually enjoys this.
I think he does.
Enjoy's a strong word.
I think
He doesn't understand this, and sometimes it's wild to me that you almost don't even know. I can see it in your face. Like you need this.
I
You
don't.
even know how much you actually need this.
Is this his emotional anchor?
Don't get me wrong. No.
No,
It
is.
no.
Because
I would much rather.
now.
Hold on,
I would much rather
hold on,
y'all
hold on.
all y'all help me sew
Because-
some stuff up than do
Look,
this.
look, look.
Trust and believe.
Oh, maybe so. But here's the thing. I've known Daniel for some time now.
Okay.
Daniel is only Daniel. He's only been Daniel this whole entire time. And as I'm watching you, it's like y'all are really y'all are making argumentative points.
Shaking. Is that how upset I am?
I'm not shaking.
Right.
I am
Daniel.
literally
I know
upset.
how you are.
What am I just shaking for?
And this is why I enjoy it, because only Daniel will go this length with Jaymin. I'll clock out. Daniel will keep going because he has a point to
You're
make.
forever
and
neutral. So
it's not even that. Certain conversations are not worth my time.
I know, yeah,
because
I know.
we're not making. It's not even a conversation. What y'all were doing, I wouldn't do, because it's like, well, hell,
We're
at
not
this
going
point,
anywhere. No
right,
one's
we're not
getting
going
anything.
anywhere.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe what I believe, and I'm not going to believe what you're going to believe. Why am I continuing this pointless conversation? Makes no sense.
it's fun.
But and that's why I know
It's
you
not-
will.
it's not funny. And I'm legitimate-
And then Jaymin has the issue that he has to prove that you're wrong. Jaymin doesn't. If Jaymin doesn't believe in what you believe in, and if you're trying to make a point that does not make sense in Jaymin's head, Oh hell, Jaymin can't let that go. Jaymin won't let that go, and that's why I know you need.
I don't
this.
need no. No.
I have been observing you on these podcasts for long enough to know.
No.
You refuse to let things go.
Man is
But
observing.
truly,
Detective right
but
And that's why I
truly,
sit back and I'm like,
No.
This is why our podcast is pretty.
no. We're not sliding with this.
Go ahead.
It's not the fact that I need to be right or I need to prove a point that you're wrong. It maybe has something to do with that.
Oh, okay.
But they're
Pick one.
it's both because like
one or the other.
I'm gonna be transparent, very honest.
We appreciate it.
I don't feel I'm a certain way. Okay, I don't.
I think you might explain it because I don't get.
Okay,
what you
when
mean.
I'm gonna further
Okay,
explain,
cool.
but I generally don't believe. Not that I make bad decisions, but I am very conscionable of the decisions that I make.
Okay.
Even for the people that are around me. I don't think you were here last time when we was talking about people
Life?
around me, right?
No,
So
conversation.
I know for a fact, like some stuff we say in funny and jest and jokes,
Yeah.
but some thoughts are actual thoughts. I have no tolerance for bigotry, homophobia, anything lesser than treating people like people. I don't have people like that around.
Hold on, real quick.
Around
Well, let
me.
me finish.
I have a question
Uh-huh.
about the homophobia stuff.
Uh-huh.
Does it bother you when people say gay? Because I say gay a lot, and I only.
I don't know. I don't know if that's bothered me, but
because I'm not.
if
I'm
you're
not-
conscious, if you understand that you shouldn't say that around people that might be because of defending them, just
No,
in general.
not at all. I don't give a damn. I use the term.
No, that's
as
not
a-
what I said.
Okay,
so
yeah.
you didn't even hear what I
Yeah,
said.
no, I'm saying, but I'm saying like.
No, did you hear what I said? I
No,
said,
I'm saying, I'm about
do
to
you
explain
know? You said, no, I don't give a damn. That means you do know, you just don't give a damn. That's
No,
the two different
What
statements.
I'm saying is like because of how I'm saying.
Are you ignorant to the fact or do you acknowledge of the fact?
No, I'm saying how I use the word isn't in a sense of like I'm not using it as a derogatory term.
So you
to
are
discriminate.
cognitive of information
But I'm saying, like,
of the
I use
fact
it,
that you're
but
saying.
Like the N word.
Yeah, much like it's just like that. It's
And just
a
like
part
the
of
N-word,
vocabulary.
Yeah, that's the
you
point
wouldn't
he's
say
like,
around
okay.
if you wouldn't say it around some black people if you had full knowledge of what that word meant to them.
Huh?
If you were not black and you were saying the
Oh,
N word,
oh,
I'm not black and I
right.
would say the N word.
Can
See,
we
but I wouldn't-
can
I
we
wouldn't-
even have scenarios
wouldn't
like
even use-
that?
I
As
wouldn't,
if
but I'm saying
we're
like, I wouldn't
another
have
race?
grown up with that.
That's
I'm
that's
saying,
a
like,
that's a very true point
that's a-
though.
I wouldn't have grown up with that.
but that's
Very
that's
true
not what I
point.
asked.
No, but the mindset changes
I
as a
wouldn't have
different
had that
individual.
mindset because
Right.
I grew up saying the N word.
Right.
So
See,
I can't,
and that's why I don't
grew
like
up
when
saying
we
nigga
do
all the time.
comparisons like that. When like, well, if you were a white guy, would you?
Yeah.
But I'm not though.
I'm
The audacity of me to think of someone in a different position that I'm not. That makes no sense. My brain doesn't even understand. I understand when we try to make statements like that to say, well, hey, if you were a white person, would you? Like, motherfucker, I'm not a white person though. Like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, I do understand that we're supposed to somehow imply that I should be able to take on or the characteristics. of
Hopefully, I
thoughts.
wouldn't.
Right, but
But
we
you're
can't-
saying that you don't understand the
we're-
ramifications of you
but
being
you-
another race.
But it's like
That's
you-
what you're saying.
But you literally
I can't. I understand the ramifications.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but that wasn't what you asked.
But
asked
he brought it
if
up.
I
Okay,
was a
okay,
white
okay.
person.
But I'm saying you have knowledge of the fact that that is offensive.
And that's what I was about to say. The point that he was making is not that you were saying the word in a certain way, but if you were around gay individuals and you knew that they don't like that word, would
Right.
you still say that?
Yes, because I have. Simply because of the fact
People
that
you
that's just-
knew?
It's yes. It's
Okay.
in tune.
Well, that might not be.
It's-
Who were they?
but
Who
it's
were
in-
they?
My brother's gay. I'm not kidding. My
Okay.
older brother. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nah,
I thought you
nah,
were going to say,
nah,
oh, like, Jesus Christ. I was about to say, what? I was about to say,
But
I was about to say, nigga, what?
It got so quiet.
I was like, oh, you said, oh, you told me Ed's gay?
That's fucked up.
No, I just
Wow.
been like, I just been like, I didn't know Ed was gay.
Yeah, no.
And if you're listening,
My older brother.
but your
He don't listen to
brother.
podcasts, but yeah, my older
But your
brother.
brother.
But like I've been around people that like family that I
so
that I
quiet.
know down here. My brother's in Memphis, I believe. Yeah,
So he
my
moved
brother's
out of Chicago?
Yeah, he should be in Memphis or Florida, something like that. Yeah, but I've met other family and whatnot. But it's just in
So
viewing-
basically, your friend's black. So okay.
Yeah, no,
well,
no, it's not
not
that.
like that.
That's not an excuse. I never say that. It's not. I don't go like, well, my brother's.
well,
gay,
I didn't
so
say that was
can
an excuse
gay.
for you. I mean, you made a statement, and I was just clarifying. That's what that sounds like.
No, but I'm saying
I'm not saying
I-
you made an
But
excuse.
I
for it.
wasn't. I'm not. I haven't been around that family like so much that it would be something where
You would say normally.
yeah, and it's like I've been saying it, and then when I started to be around that family, that's why it just comes out. So when it's like, hey, like don't say gay, and it's like, nah, I would legit have a conversation with it because it's like, all right, like we're sitting here like talking, and then it's like I'm saying something, I go, oh, okay, something happened, I go, that's gay. And then
But
like,
I guess maybe you don't have those type of conversations that would make
Okay.
you say that. Maybe
I mean,
like, how have you had conversations where you're like, that's kind of gay? Like,
this is so odd.
like, because I don't know if, like, again, he's older than you. I don't know what kind of like, I don't know what y'all talk about, right? So, would you or would you not have those type of conversations where you would have to say that? And not to say that you have to say gay or anything, but like, would a conversation come up where you're like, oh, that's kind of gay? You know what I mean? In the sense of, because I feel like we only use certain words because, or more so a circumstance, right? So like the N-word or gay or something like that. Even I say gay or retarded. I'll say that too. But it's only in reference to something I'm talking about that I have passion for. Games, movies, or something that's funny that was circumstantial.
True. And
I only have those conversations with friends. I don't go out and have those type of conversations with anybody. So that type of verbiage doesn't come out.
True.
So I have to be, so in order
But
for
I
that
guess
verbiage to come out, it's a
comfort thing.
It's a
because
comfort
it's like
thing,
the
without a
people
doubt.
that I'm around at that time, I would be comfortable with. Like really, the only incident in which it came up and someone said something about that was because it was someone who was gay that came into basically a pre-existing conversation I was having with family members. And they walked in and was like, hey, that term is... And then I had to sit down and actually talk with them and explain exactly, my verbiage and what's going on. And it's like, I understand that you might get offended with this word, but I'm not changing my vocabulary for how I was speaking beforehand in order for you to be comfortable at this time. And it's like, because that seems insulting to me. And it was like, hell, if I
and you know what? And I it's good you brought up that point because I feel like not enough people take that in consideration, or maybe, and I would like to hear your thoughts on it because of how you stand on that. But like switching up pronouns and stuff, like it's a little bit, I don't know, it's a very finite line. It's something that can easily stepped on and crossed, and it's habitually stepped on and crossed. But changing up verbiage, like if a young lady who is now in transition, so now this lady is a man, and he is like, well, I want to be he, him,
True. I understand.
I don't do that. But what I will do is call you by your name. So if you were a young lady and now you're a guy and you say, hey, my name is John, I'll call you John. But what I won't do is call you he or him.
The pronouns.
I'll just call you John, and I'll make sure I keep in mind John.
Realistically, if
because
you're
I'll say whatever name you want, but I'm not changing my pronouns. I'm not doing that. Because in what I'm saying in reference to that is, to your very same point, well, now I feel uncomfortable. So I have to be a part of your change in order for you to feel comfortable about who you are. You should have comfortability in who you are, regardless of what anybody says. Because that's where that inner love comes from. It's from yourself. I shouldn't have to be a part of that. Now, you're part of society, so I will be respectful. I'll call you by your name. But I'm not switching my pronouns.
Also, you're a man now, so you should man the fuck up.
Well, what is your thoughts? What is your thoughts on that, Jaymin?
Well, we didn't have a similar situation happen, but it was a while ago.
Me?
I know, right? Remember when we was in school and remember Jade, the white medical,
vampire. Yeah,
the vampire,
yeah.
right.
What?
And
Long story. Long story.
and then like people were like kind of beefing with him just purely because he was just good at it. Good at his visual communication degree, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really
People just like
talented.
legit beef. Like they was they was mad. Salty as shit. Haters and shit. And
Because he was just good.
and
He does the paint. Well, I don't know if you.
I don't think
the
I-
painting.
yeah. But remember when Greg came in? He was like, oh, yeah, fuck, I'm not calling that guy Jade. He's like, because he felt a certain way about his name. Like that's not his real. Some about not his real name, whatever. But that's what he wanted to be called or whatever. And we was like, they want to be called Jade, nigga. Remember that? You remember that?
This.
And it was like,
okay.
that's off-putting. Great doesn't come to my house. That was strike one. The several other business shit that he did, it irritated me. Was strike. Like I'm real fine.
Seems like Greg's a bad person.
And, like
He's talking about a guy who goes to our school, who used to go to school with us.
I don't remember.
Oh,
You might not know.
Maybe you don't. I remember him.
yeah, he sounds like Greg a bad person.
He bought some of my shirts, and I need to actually thank him for that.
Was it visual communications? He's in visual communications. Yeah.
Oh man.
And the thing is, like, I don't know what that comes from for you. right, Kevin? I'm speaking to Kevin right now.
Cool.
I don't know where that comes from for you because you say now I'm uncomfortable, but I don't know why you would be. It has nothing to do with you. And if a motherfucker wanted to be called Cyril and he, fine. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. But like, whatever say at work, if hopefully this is not a friend that you feel this way about, but if just your coworker, whatever, then only time they would really come in, it was like, hey, you seen Cheryl? I'm like, no, she over there. It would not bother me none. To me, it's almost a principle that has no purpose. That I'm holding something accountable that has nothing to do with me in that sense, right? It again means nothing. I don't have any value system on another human being. For me personally, I know a lot of people in my life have a lot of problems with certain things or other things, moral, blah, 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 because they put so much value and they think their value matters to other people. Your value matters to you.
Yes,
Your morals
yes,
matter to you.
yes.
Everyone has different morals and
Yes,
values.
yes.
As another human being in another human space, you have to recognize that.
Yeah, opinions are like
you know,
assholes.
so it just becomes a problem because when you're so morally deep, when you're so morally deep, it then leaks out into things. Then you have to look at yourself like, why do I care? I don't understand. Like, I'm not taking away from anything. My specialness, is not affected because I'm my own value. Like I said, I'm my own value.
Yeah, yes.
And somebody might be just fragile. Everybody isn't
Yeah,
strong.
everyone-
This
yeah.
concept of strength and mental strength.
It
Some
varies.
people will cry like a baby in a therapy session first day, and they might be thinking they're the most mental strength in the world. So like that. Again, that dumbass man up means literally nothing to me because like everybody has their limit. Everybody needs help, and if they're going through a physical and mental change, which that transition stuff is something wild when you
I've
look into
heard.
it. Like chemical wise, like they almost damn near giving themselves cancer. Like it's heavy, and if you physically feel like this or death, and it's like which is a wild
something-
stance.
yeah,
That's
it
a wild
is.
stance to have. Like, bro, like chill out.
'Cause
But
you can just
but
love who
that's
you
not
are,
me.
but yeah,
Right, that's not
who
me.
Are we to say that
that's
about
not
that
me,
person?
right? That's
Yeah,
like
I can't say
there's
that.
people out here always been getting fake titties since I don't know how long.
Yeah.
For years since they came
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You know, so
Despite
like
all the
you know,
negative aspects that could come with doing
all
it.
the time.
Yeah.
Like men,
So
women,
they manned the fuck up and did it then, right?
man, like
I'm just kidding.
it's like men, women, like they all been for years.
Yes, they
you
have.
know,
Yeah.
so I don't get it. It's not my place to get it. My mental state is not in that state where I felt like I should have had a cute vagina pussy down there. Like I just said, it just wasn't me.
Me either.
And if it was me, that would have been a thing, you know. But you know that wasn't me. Like I don't even know how it would feel to lose family because they feel certain type of way. That's another.
What do you mean? What?
Lose
Oh, like when they're
literally lose
if they
family.
die?
Like they,
Because of
no, like
no, 'cause
they,
of
I'm
the
out.
sex change,
Like
and they'd be like,
I'm
oh,
down
I
the street
can't-
from you, but also get out my house. You disgusting little thing.
Oh, yeah,
like
that's weird.
like that.
To me, that's
like
weird.
That
that happens.
Yeah, I know it happens a lot.
Literally all the time,
It does,
especially if
yeah.
you live in the South. That literally happens on the side. So I could. I think I'm mentally strong to an extent. I don't know how I will feel because I feel like my family's lit. But I haven't been in that situation. They could be whole shitbags. Like, turns out y'all horrible people. You know, so I don't know how I would feel if it's like my mother and father won't speak to me no more. My brother said, like, nah, I had a brother. I don't got this bitch ass female, blah blah. I don't know how I would feel in that part. Like, I'll be out here, this bitch. Like, I'll be out in the street on this shit for real.
I have an aunt that's kind of like that.
She's
Right?
transitioning.
She's black. You say she what?
No,
Oh, you mean you're
just
talking
mean.
about
You talking about mean
No,
or
like her,
transitioning?
no, her,
Which one?
Her-
Which out she on?
You
Okay,
said
she has-
just like
she has-
that. We're
she has-
talking about, like, 8 different
she has
things.
she has 4 kids, right?
Okay.
2 of them are gay,
Uh
and one is now married to a white man.
huh.
And so
My auntie on a white bitch, but I can understand her point of
She's
view.
like-
But go ahead.
she's like over it, like, cause
What
she's-
you mad about, the white or the gay?
both. So her
Pick
youngest,
a battle. Pick a.
her youngest is a girl, and she refused to believe that she's gay, and it's clear
I'm
as
eating this
day.
pussy right now, mom.
Right. The other
Why?
the other guy,
No.
he's gay, and it's clear as day. And like so he's in the
So she's
the
in
girls-
denial about this.
yeah, she's in denial. Her husband is in, well, they're both in the army. They met in basic training or whatever.
No, that's early on.
Right. And so she had came down to visit, They were living in Texas at the time with her twin brother who was gay. So they all came down.
Actually, happens more than often, to be honest with you.
Twins, which is weird. That's the thing apparently. But yeah, so she wouldn't let him come into the house, so they had to stay. This is when I lived in Roswell. So I was like, well, y'all can come stay with my house, you know, I don't give a fuck, but whatever. And so I was like, so what's going on? She was like, yeah, my mom doesn't want him to come over because he's white. And I was like,
That's
real?
hysterical.
Like that's my auntie. Like,
But where's your auntie been
That's
staying?
literally an episode of Fresh Prince
she's
of
been
Bel-Air.
staying here.
No, like where she grew up and where she been.
Columbus.
Okay, that's real black.
But she moved. Well, my aunt's husband is in the military too, so they moved around a bit.
Yeah.
But she's been around, so there's no reason for her to like just.
I mean, I can understand why older
not like him.
black women and well, sometimes black men, but older black women most of the time feel a certain type of way about you dating outside your race, and not dating outside your race, but dating a white person. They used to rape and kill them, and it's a real thing. Like
That's true.
like school, like there are people they might know were kidnapped, raped, and no one did anything about it.
This trauma.
Because
That's very real.
because by the time their age, they're growing up. That's like that wasn't a law.
Right.
Raping black women, that wasn't a against the law type of deal, literally here. So it's like I can understand where you be like, why you dating a white man now? Like he have you on drugs or this out here whored out and shit. Then you gonna come back. So I can understand their skepticism. About the
But
white people.
That was kind of extreme though, because they've been together for like a minute. So it's like
I know.
they got a
And
kid together.
people don't mess with in-laws like that for real. Some people just don't like you. Like
Some people
you
just-
suck.
just are that way. You know, it's like they grew up the way they grew up. Society made them, or however they made them.
And sometimes we forget that the environment and society has a big influence on
Right.
people, man. Like sometimes, really, who you are is based on your environment and the people around you and your circumstances. And some people, that's why I don't hold any hate towards anyone, even racist. I hate no one. Because I know a lot of times it's part of the environment. If you weren't a child, I know you're a different breed. You're a different breed altogether, brother.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. No. Because I understand that that's you based on circumstance and environment. Sure, if you're older, maybe you can change. But hell, even there's a limit on change. That they say, well, you said not to bring statistics, so I'm not going to bring that in. But I know that it can be more challenging as an adult.
Yeah.
In your 30s, mid-30s at that, to change something you've always done.
Your
Hell,
entire
even
being.
and to make a change about something you've done your entire life, that requires
That's
a certain
hard.
type of strength, man.
That's hard.
I think we
though.
all can say has some kind of testament to wanting to change something, and it's like
cutting out sugar.
This is hard.
That shit hard.
Yeah, especially once you find out what sugar,
I
sugar's
know,
everything.
right?
I'm like,
Everything.
I'm not gonna
What
not
was
eat.
this water? Then you
Right.
find out water really is not great. You need some minerals and shit. People throwing
Yeah.
salt and shit. Like what is this?
I know.
You need alkaline.
Right. It's like so. Yeah. So I get like a limited understanding of black women from the South who are a certain age because literally this country was massively different 50 years ago. Like massively different. So I can.
Civil rights wasn't that long.
Right.
And maybe people in the North don't comprehend like what really went down. Like when I tell you kidnapped and murdered, literally you did not go anywhere by yourself. Like this is not a you scared going in the dark.
Maybe that's
Man,
why parents
no.
have always told, like, even I remember my
Yes.
mom telling me and my brother, hey, when y'all go somewhere, go together.
Go together.
And maybe that was like that. Like somewhere in
It's a
her,
trigger,
like,
right?
Yeah, it's like y'all
Yeah.
stick together. Like,
People
you
will
know.
literally disappear. Like people came down from the north to help with the civil rights stuff. Literally disappeared. Cars found in bushes. Like this is no like one time thing. This is like during that time period, even towards like Oklahoma, those around states when there were people further back. This is like their parents. This is like 2 generations ago, right? So it's like their parents when not when slaves just got out, but like after the new president, he was he put a lot of allowed the politicians to be black and stuff, and because they were actually doing policy change and stuff, citizens murdered them. Like there were several 300 something cases of murder. It was so much that they had to bring down the federal government, like military, to come make sure they won't keep killing people in such droves like this. And then I think they changed where they didn't really influence how many political people is like black or whatever. So that's why I was like at certain time periods a whole bunch of black Republicans, and then they were gone. They're dead. They didn't just stop. They got murdered. You know, so like this
I'm
country
on your
doesn't.
side.
And that's when Republican was a cool thing. It wasn't like a bad thing, you know. So like people, that's what's like people don't understand. Like you can't just say, "Oh, well, y'all are doing bad because there was more Republicans back in the day than is that." Yeah, dummy, they got murdered, and people stopped doing that. Like if you can't say you what one thing else instead of you completing the story,
Right.
You know. So there's more cases of reasons why people are black women. You see black women say real racial thing like, "Oh, you like that movie, nigga? You gay?" type shit. Like, I can't watch a movie. You went out with your friends for to a restaurant. Y'all niggas gay. I'm like, we can't go eat, nigga. Like what?
Right, yeah.
But when you're brought up to be cautious of certain things,
Yeah.
it's when it's subconscious, it shit's hard.
Yeah.
Because not only do a nigga gotta explain to you that you fucked up, you like, no, I'm not. Then it's like, you know how you did A, B, C? Why'd you do A, B, and C? I don't know. You probably did A because you saw C somewhere else and you thought you'd go to B, but you can't go to B. You had to go to C. Like,
Right.
oh wow. So I'm probably doing yes. So it's difficult to really explain to someone like you're fucked up on a deep level because
On
of
a
your
deep
environment.
level. Yeah.
Has nothing to do with you. Like
Right.
I know this one chick who dad is a Muslim, which kind of really doesn't have to do with anything, but does. And her mom, she's mixed child.
Okay.
So she got issues with that too. So she never
Your
felt
friend
comfortable.
has a
I'm gonna call her my
issue-
friend. That's someone I know.
Oh, someone you know has an issue about being
I'm not
mixed.
even gonna go that deep into it.
I'm saying this person has an issue about being mixed.
Placement, mixed. What I've heard.
Okay, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Mixed people have some of them, not all of them, obviously. I don't have a weird displacement of
Oh, white or black.
white or black.
Gotcha,
type of
okay,
deal.
yeah, okay.
Especially when they're white or black. Even different cultures, but different
Yeah.
cultures for different reasons.
Right.
Like you might be too black to be Asian if you're Asian type of deal. Like with that,
Yeah.
that might be a little
Which is-
different.
yeah, it is, yeah,
But like
something
for
else,
black
yeah.
and white, it's more like, okay, I grew up, I have white family. They're my family,
Right.
but I can't take my niece out and people ask who's that child. It's like
Yeah.
that's my niece. That's a white baby. Where you get that white baby from? You kidnapped her, like which
Yeah.
happens,
Which has happened
all
yes.
the time.
Happens all the time.
Kind of seen on the news too. Yeah, it's funny now because they're like, yeah, they said I kidnapped. They called the police on me. Da,
Oh,
da,
yeah,
da.
the black guy when he was babysitting.
I think I heard know what
And
you're
he was
talking about.
driving when he was like, no, and then the mother was like, no, he's the babysitter though.
Mm-hmm.
Like he hangs out with them all the time.
Sir, are you okay? Are you? And they'll literally talk to child like you're not there, like, and it's like, well, we trying to make sure everything's safe, but you ain't do that to everybody else with all these other
Yeah,
kids. I just
that's true.
racially look different,
Right.
so like you're judging me on my race. Didn't want to call you racist. You're weird. It's just like,
Hey Johnny, did you order some Oreos? No, then I guess we got a bad cookie.
so stuff like things happen for a reason, and that's going back to. I don't know why you would feel some type of way. Because it has nothing to affect you. I don't know why. That's something you have to figure that out.
Well, and to this testament, I mean, I'm cool.
What?
Because as I said, I will announce you by the
Yeah.
name that you give me. It's just
What you
switching up
doing?
my
You're doing a lot
pronouns.
than more people. Like
Yeah, and
more
I just
people
don't
would
even do
more
that.
people would
Yeah.
do the him her than just like, oh, you want to be called Jessica James? I'm not calling you Jessica James. Like
Yeah.
people were unwilling to call people by a different name by
Yeah.
doing he or she. So you kind of that's why it's kind of
Oh,
threw me through a loop.
backwards?
It's like that's the least word. You ever did? Yeah.
I've always heard like what Kevin.
It's
said,
always
opposite
like the
shit.
name's been the heavy thing. It's just like he, she, they thing has been popular because everybody's doing it, and everybody's doing it because like if everybody does it, makes it easier for other people who actually prefer it. So if I go he, him, you're like, oh, duh. But if we all do it, then
I get that
right,
the Twitter,
then you
I
won't
see
be
that on,
bothered.
Instagram.
Yeah, you won't be
Yeah.
bothered if
Fuck,
like
why did you put
they
that?
have to slash and everything.
Right.
I go by he him.
it's like, yeah, duh, you've
It-
always
they-
been he, him. And, you know, and everybody's like,
Green eggs,
they's
no ham.
grammatically incorrect. And it's like, bro, like, who the fuck cares? We're not getting grades in this bitch. This motherfucker just asked you to call them they because they don't feel in a certain spot, which, oh, I'm gonna tie this bitch in. This goes back into this man the fuck up because the whole man aspect of it is you can't, they feel uncomfortable because they feel they don't fit into this bubble that society created. This bubble's fake. This
What
bubble
bubble?
isn't real.
Who's they?
What bubble? And who,
society.
Yeah, who's they?
Society.
The
When-
bubble and they is society.
Yep. I'm getting.
Okay.
The bubble
Let's
is
follow him.
no.
Let's
The
follow
bubble.
him.
The bubble
confused.
is
I'm confused
the bubble
too.
is the women and men. Or
Okay.
what did you? Now, of course, you didn't make it. I'm not looking at you like like you made it, but like
I only got here like 30 years ago.
I went at the board when they was like, yeah, women do this, men do this.
But
We
that's
don't
what
call
you
that
talk-
a thing.
Okay,
And a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
people, that's why they want to switch up because they don't feel comfortable in that thing.
Gotcha.
Like you agree, like you said earlier, like you should just be comfortable who you are. Period.
Yes.
But people, for whatever reason, like identify as things. I don't get it. Not my business to get. But that is one of the reasons why the people want to switch up and change stuff because they, like I hear a lot of ladies like they're not into men. They just don't want to be called him, her because all their perspective of what y'all considered a woman, female, whatever you want to call it, is not them.
Okay.
You-
And I guess for me, it's like
okay,
I hear that.
So they're not in any of the. They don't feel they're any of the category other than having the lady parts. They don't feel they in
So,
that
like,
category.
the
Is that what you're
non-binary type stuff.
Yeah,
And things like that. Yeah.
or him, her. Like they like I do all the guy stuff. Da da da. Like I
They don't feel welcome. Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's the
which
point.
is a weird thing because I'm like, why do you need to feel welcome to these strangers? But they ain't nothing to do with me. That's how
Yeah.
I grew up different. Apparently, my parents put enough of
what's-
Nature versus
self-worth.
nurture type of thing.
Oh, don't get into that. That's a whole nother podcast.
But that's what I
So
think. That's what you're.
yeah,
that's,
because
that's how they.
it's something
how they
in them.
grew up.
Yeah, so it's like that could be not nurture. That could be nurtured,
Yeah.
and then a lot of, and we talked about this last time you were not here. But because we were trying to talk about stuff like people don't even comprehend how deep nurture is and how
Yeah.
deep nature is.
Yeah, they're
Like,
very-
and people want to talk about, oh, that's just in their natural nature. How do you know? Because we don't have this. The last study we did have, that it was from some German Nazi, was trying to take babies and just feed them, and like not really do anything else. None of the babies lived. They all died. And literally, the
So all you wanna
doctors,
do is just
literally,
give babies food. and
literally,
then-
the doctors was like, a lack of love. Like that's the only thing they could come up to because like we did everything else. They made sure they slept, rocked, doing all the stuff that's necessary for you to live, but none of the babies lived past one.
Oh wow, like
Yeah,
that. Oh
like
wow.
that. So
Okay.
they like even when
So
they got the experiments got stopped like in the months in like when they were like 5 some months and they rescued the babies and did all the normal baby prison, but it was too late.
Oh,
None
wow.
of them made it. So
Wow.
we don't
Wow.
know what pure nature is when it comes to humans. We
Or
all
pure nurture. Oh, that's the one. That
no,
we do.
nature. Yeah,
Nature's the
nurture.
one.
Yeah, nature is like nurture.
So I would think that
Now I'm
I would
lost.
think that nature would be the innate things that you're like,
Right,
like
and that's what-
that you're born capable.
And
of.
only thing you can do is like from some chemist is look into your brain. That's the only way we could diagnose that because in a natural environment we don't know because we all been nurtured. We've all been nurtured in
Yeah,
some
it's like,
type of
how
group.
how
Yeah,
we're
some type of
raised,
way.
like, and then essentially going back to this, like how you respond to different things,
Right.
goes in contrast with how you are raised,
Right.
And it's like so it's like essentially like that is your nurture, like you were nurtured to think and do things this way.
Yes.
So it's like you had this mother who stayed around and did this.
Mm-hmm.
You had a mother who stayed around sometimes and did that.
Mm-hmm.
You had a mother who got into a divorce. You only see her like once a year.
Right.
It's like, but we all had something that like essentially is an animalistic sense of something that came on that nurtured us into being something.
Something.
And so it was like with that test, and it was like there was nothing for those children.
No, it's
And
just
like,
food. It's just food, and that's it.
Just basic necessities.
Basic
Yeah.
necessity.
And then it was
Change
like,
your
there was
diapers,
nothing.
stuff like that.
And
That's
it was
it.
like, and essentially, we have animals in the wild who do the exact same thing, and yet they continue to live. But
Sometimes.
but it's like the majority.
Majority of the time they get
the
eaten.
majority of animals
They get eaten.
all take care of their children.
Yes.
And it's like
Some animals. Some
that's-
animals.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Majority.
the
I think
majority of
majority.
them all take care of their children. Like they
Sharks
stick
just poop
they
them
stick
out.
around
Yeah,
their
some of
children.
them-
Yeah, they don't do
they
nothing.
stick around their children long enough to let them know.
You know how they hunt. You know how to eat. All right.
They're
Like-
like, you come with mama.
But that's
to
what.
eat
But
here.
animal. But you can't get grades up because animals usually know how to get out
Yeah,
their mom's
they
pussy. Know how to walk.
instinctively- Yeah, distinctly know what
So-
to do.
But
Yeah.
it's
So-
but then again,
that's the
what
instinct,
it- like,
right?
That's nature,
Right.
That's not nurture.
But there's a
it's
reason
like, at
why
the same
humans
time,
do that. Don't do
you're
that
born
though.
knowing not to kill your mama, but some people kill their mama.
That's not true.
Yeah, you.
Why would you say that?
Have you ever had the idea of wanting to kill your mom?
No.
shit.
Oh, he lied.
Exactly.
I feel like it's a good. Okay, first, no. You put me on the spot number one. I don't like that.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
So I mean, are you going to answer
Killing-
that?
when
Are you
killing
going to answer
came
that
into-
question?
gonna answer the question?
shut up. when killing came in, no, shut up.
literally nature.
Wait,
That
no.
was your- That was your birth giver.
But when
That
killing
is the
comes
thing
in
that
apart,
takes
when
care of
killing comes into a part, like then that's personal. That's whole.
not- it's not
That's
about-
so
it's
different.
It's not just personal.
No one-
There's something.
Who has the ability to kill their
That's
mama
why we have a
instinct?
word for it. It's called matricide. When you kill your mother, it's called matricide. When you kill your father, it's called patricide. It happens,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not supposed to happen. Just like how you can get depressed, it happens, but realistically, it's not supposed to happen. People are born without legs. It happens, but
Right.
it's not supposed to happen.
I don't know where we're
These
going
are
with
just there's things
Me
there.
neither.
There's,
I'm
I'm following, but I don't know.
I'm just saying that there are inconsistencies within different people, whether it's chemical, physical, or whatever. Just
Yeah,
certain
yeah, that's
genomes
true.
and things like that just go awry. Shit happens, literally, throughout life. Shit happens.
And I agree.
And things are
it's
just random.
It's
It's
just
not- it's not-
just there's nothing you can do about it.
Yes.
It's literally just shit happens.
Yes.
So in the sense of nature and nurturing, in the mindset of having someone who was raised and brought up and thought, like you said, in terms of someone who was a part of a family that just wouldn't know that essentially the whole family would turn on them just
Right.
because they decide that they're no longer comfortable with their own sexuality.
Right.
You wouldn't get that from being
Nurtured.
nurtured by your family
By
by,
your
that
family.
because you never picked up on it. You never had to.
You never had to,
And
right?
then, but now that you're on the outside looking in, you get to see exactly what your family is willing to do simply because you do not fit or you make them uncomfortable
Right.
with something that shouldn't even bother them.
Should not at all, right?
Because it's
Ain't nothing to
not
do with them.
It has nothing
Right.
to do with them. But because of the fact that they know you, they're comfortable with you being one way,
Right.
and all of a sudden you're changing.
Yeah.
That means that their opposition towards you has to change as well. And it's a weird defunk, but that's just how it is. And going back
But
to
all that is not nature. All of that is
I'm
nurture.
not saying it's nature. I'm saying
Right.
it's the cross between the two.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like I'm just saying like you're born capable and being able to do certain things that just on instinct alone, because that's how all these animals are programmed. We are
Right.
animals ourselves. We just higher up on the food chain.
That's it.
And it's like we're all programmed to know and to do certain things. And it's like, but at the same time, you have to be taught how to do other things. And like, and then what that study is proving is like having a mother or someone to care about you and to instill some type of affection towards you to help you move along
Has an actual physical
is a
reaction.
necessity.
Yeah, right? Ain't that crazy,
Like,
though?
that's a
That's
necessity.
crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, that's a necessity for
Right.
humans to live.
Right.
And it's like, well, we got fucking
Necessity.
sea turtles who are born on a beach
By
that just-
themselves. Gotta get out.
They come out of the damn sand and they automatically know I want to go to that big blue.
Gotta
thing.
get in that water. Gotta get
Swim.
very fast. I need to go.
I need to go there and I need to swim to this canal.
Yeah.
All the way over the other side of the planet. Till I
Right.
get over 100 and something, so I can come back to this beach to
And-
fuck.
yes.
And it was like, so my kids could do the same
Same
goddamn
shit.
thing again.
Yes.
Who the fuck taught them to do that?
Yeah,
Nobody.
that
They
is
just
Right,
did
yeah.
it.
That's true.
And it's just that's just.
And I
how-
always
That's-
wondered, like, how
that's gene
are,
processing.
You know, it's also
Yeah.
weird. Like, how are animals? I guess it's I guess environment, a chemical thing. Like when they're horny, but like how we look for a mate based off attraction, they can't be doing that because like all of y'all look the same. Like,
Right.
But it's like
It's-
but
it's in
really a
heat.
chemical.
It's
yeah.
literally heat.
Yeah.
But
but remember, like
ladies,
they have certain
but ladies do
animals-
that as well.
Ladies.
Yes,
Women.
they
No,
do.
no.
They
No,
do go
apparently,
in heat, like right before their period
Period, yeah,
starts.
yeah.
They literally go in heat. Like
And
you,
be
it's so
horny,
strong
yeah,
that
There's
they've done.
it was a test done over like since because musk and shit is real. And it's
Yeah.
animalistic and it happens. But the scent of another woman inside your room after you had sex with her, if you bring another woman into that room, it'll make her more horny because she'll want to establish her dominance over you.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's a
But they
thing.
did one where like so if you're pregnant and sitting in a chair, there's more instinctful that a guy will want to sit there.
Really?
Yep. And the female will literally avoid the chair for whatever reason.
Well, what the chair?
Avoid the chair.
Oh, okay.
they've
okay.
done this- they-
so if
yeah.
a pregnant woman sits in a chair, a
Yeah.
guy will instinctively want to sit in that
It's
chair,
probably called, yeah.
and a woman who's not pregnant will
Would just
to
be
avoid that
yeah,
chair.
you just avoid that chair.
Do they know that? Like,
Nope.
So
Have
they'll
no
just
idea.
sit there.
They just naturally.
It's-
And
It's
you
a
think,
motherfucker.
and you say that like, so we can have a
Like your brain's like,
right,
wait,
right,
what are
because
you
it
saying?
doesn't make any sense. There's a room full of 8 chairs, and let's say the door's closed.
Literally got a video on you. Can
Okay, and then a pregnant woman sits in one of the chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Take her out. Later on, we'll bring 2 individuals who are
yeah,
maybe
I think it was
not
like
related.
I think it's like out of 3 out of 4 or something like that, where the guy will sit by that chair in that chair, and where the lady will sit like a different spot.
Okay.
I can smell it.
Right. It's not like
Making them bread.
you know.
That's
So
what I want.
we don't know what that is. Yeah.
Someone who I know she good and ready. She can make some more.
Yeah. They
And
said
the
that
other
happens in ovulation too. So, you know.
Hell, the fact that women's periods can sync up.
Yeah. Literally, right?
That's
Super
weird.
weird.
That's weird.
So, yeah. Right.
At the same time, bleeding? Seriously? I'm glad I
Hey,
got
man.
a penis.
I mean,
No fuss, no musk.
no fuss, no muss.
Unless you smell it.
I mean, then this little muss. You know, go clean. go wash your penis
And
off.
apparently to the phimosis, there's cheese.
Too much hentai, man. Too much hentai.
There's
And
not enough hentai. There will never be enough.
Wow.
we're about to swerve. But
Don't
I'm not-
swerve.
But I won't.
Swerve
I won't.
back.
I won't. But
That was just y'all talking about hits. I was
bring
like,
it
I'm
back.
sure
interested in.
will. I'm
we
sure,
get
but
into
but it's fine.
We've
I
done
won't.
it before.
That's a different podcast.
Yep, I
you know?
won't.
Never
That's a
forget,
different podcast.
We was in
Yeah.
the middle of a goddamn train station, loud as hell.
Really? What
Yeah,
are you talking
we
about?
were when we left school one day, and it was just like at the train station. I'll just never forget. And I was like, damn, we talking about some hentai. And I was like, we loud as shit. And nobody know what we talking about. And I was like,
Hey, man. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Talk about your hentai.
do what you
But-
love. Love what you do.
But I do think, yes, these main characters and females in movies, right?
Yes.
But I would say, but that's one of the things that, in terms of nurturing aspect, when it has with what's currently being showcased in, cartoons and whatnot. And the idea and the opposition of, hey, men have had their shot in all this media and everything like that.
Right.
Let's give women a chance. I'm cool with that.
Which is ridiculous to even say out loud.
that's what
You
it
know
is.
what? We're doing good. Let's give women a chance. Maybe they'll do something.
But that's just it. It wasn't a passing of the torch. It was a literal.
It was like a force.
Yeah.
It was like, give me the stick. It's like,
That's-
no, I
and
don't.
that's the problem.
No,
because
you're gonna get the stick with no budget. It's like what?
and then that comes with the weird legality of what's happening currently in
Naturally, it probably would have happened 20 years from now, 20 or 30 years from now.
if it wasn't
When the boomers are
if
good
it
and
was-
dead.
if it was something that was
I can see that.
that was
I can see that.
necessary for a man to go, well, we're out of ideas, let's let the women folk
I mean,
give
they've
it
been
a try.
out of ideas. Remember, we had a whole movement where they were just picking books
Yeah.
to make movies.
To make
They were
movies.
done. They
In
were,
fact,
people's like,
we're-
oh yeah, that
we're
was weird.
still in it.
No, not even that. I would say
We're in
we're in
games
the
in
time.
anime now.
No. The one we're in is remakes. That's what we're
Remakes
really
of
in.
remakes.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But they're
Because the
remakes.
remakes was the start of the problem. Like, okay, what y'all doing? Like, okay, y'all know. Then he's
like,
like,
there's
we're
not
just
enough
putting
creative
books
individuals to make. Like, what are y'all doing? I don't understand.
It's like, you know, like the 3D
excuses.
Lion King made $1 billion. And that movie is fucking terrible.
I never.
I mean,
didn't
it's
watch
Lion
it.
King. It looks like Dirty Lion,
Yes.
which is weird because
Have you ever seen a real life
color?
warthog?
Yes,
A
but we don't
real
want to
life
see
warthog
one.
is gross.
Why would you?
Why would you make Timon
Why would you do
gross?
that?
I mean, why would you make Pumbaa gross?
And he was already supposed to be gross because he's a warhog
And he's
in
bugs.
the cartoon, and
Yeah.
it was funny because his palette was perfect. You know, but then you
Brown's
made
on brown with a pink.
ugh
And then it's like, but then you make this real life gray thing with hair sticking out.
with this
and
realistic sun. I'm like,
It's
ugh, like no one wants to be here.
I don't want Hakuna Matata no more.
Right.
It
Go
looks
back home.
gross. This is nasty.
That was
Hell,
nasty.
even when they ate the bugs, they were colorful.
Yeah.
And it was like, in the original Lion King, when they
Yeah.
ate bugs, they were colorful.
Right.
And they
So you
snapped
saying
like
they
like
did
crunchy
it.
apples.
Thing,
Like
Yeah.
they just made real bugs.
Oh, I thought
Right.
you meant in the real thing they made them colorful
No,
as
no,
well.
no.
I was
They're
like,
just
just
bugs.
real bugs. And it's like, ew. Don't do it, Simba.
Oh.
Eat them.
And remember, he was like,
"Ugh."
"Ugh, that's gross." It did look gross. I'm like,
agree
"Yeah,
with
ugh." So don't eat
I
that.
didn't look at it and go, hey, slimy but satisfying. You didn't get that. You just went, ugh. What are they doing? And then they're singing Hakuna Matata off key. I don't like this movie.
Right.
I don't like it. Get away from me.
Because they had comedians and not singers. Like
Yeah,
they had,
yeah.
I'm like, bro, this is bad. This is
And it's like, I mean, the original Lion King was smart enough to go, let's get people who've been in theater.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
And it was like, let's get people who actually have played and have range.
who can
and
understand
know
the beats and
things
yeah, all
like
that. And they're good actors. Like,
And then be smart enough to go, hey, you can have an actor and a singer. Ain't two different people.
yeah,
You know, and it was like they got Jonathan Taylor Thomas to play Simba when he was young, and the kid who played Michael Jackson in that VH1 movie,
Yeah.
the older brother from Smart Guy.
Yep.
Yeah, they had him sing. all
Jason
the
Yep.
Weaver.
Yeah.
Jason Weaver,
Yeah, they had him sing all the parts.
still getting checks.
And it's
Like,
like,
good for him. Saw his
and it's like that
interviews.
was ingenious.
Yeah.
But then it was like when they did the new thing, it was like, let's get this kid who did one Tyler Perry movie, and apparently he can sing, and he's gonna play Simba all throughout the childhood. Okay. doesn't sound good. It was like, he ain't really have a backing that can justify the fact that he should be Simba, but you did it, and there you go.
And then people then they advertised it weird, right? It was like live action. Well, it's 3D.
Yeah.
So that's not true. But the 3D was so good. 'Cause, I mean, they would literally took people out to Africa to take actual photos, so they could 3D render that mess in the background.
Yeah.
It was like you
beautiful
spent
looking.
so.
Yeah,
It looked real, and the big problem, people's like, this is like watching a nature film. Yeah, ill. Like you watch a nature film for 30 minutes, it's like, yeah, that was gross in the wild. You don't
you
listen
need
to
that
a
British guy to explain to you what the fuck's going on in
it's-
order for it to be interesting.
Right.
If you just see them moving, then it's like, I don't know what the lions are doing.
I
It's like, but you
literally-
need she's hunting her prey. Oh, she is.
Oh, wow.
Stalking it. Then the camera moves to the gazelle, and they go, oh, there you go.
And then they hit the music beat like, dum, dum, dum. And it's like, oh wow, she's really getting them. Like I've seen a nature film where a wolf pack hunt down another pack because they enter their territory.
Yeah.
And
Stuff
when
like
I
that.
tell you that it was the most gruesome, nasty, long shot I've ever seen from a helicopter. I'm like, okay, because they were chasing this one, and it was like a pack. I was like, oh wow, you gonna chase her out, and that's crazy. Oh no, they really
Like, you have
after
to-
him.
You
Like,
have to leave
oh.
the territory, and then as far as they consider their territory, they just keep
when
going.
when I tell you they kept going until they caught it and ripped it apart. I was like,
Jesus.
holy shit. Like, no one wants to watch that in the movies.
You just get the British guy going, and that's just what happens.
Yes.
Right.
Literally.
If-
And then in the snow. And then you can see
Blood
it,
all
and you
over the
see it
place.
getting
Was it-
tired.
was
That's
it
the
the
that
one-
shit that got me
That's
when it got
sad.
tired.
Was it the one at Yellowstone? The wolf pack that said Yellowstone
Maybe
Park?
because it was
Yeah,
oh.
because that's the one that they always talk about. It's a wolf pack at Yellowstone. Yeah, and they normally have documentaries talk about them.
I was like, that was the
And
most
those things
gruesome
win
shit.
awards. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
But
we
it-
know what we get into.
Yeah.
We watch Lion King for Simba's story, not a nature film.
And then it's like you sit there and go, we want everything to be so photorealistic. You forget the actual identity of what made Lion King amazing is
Right.
that these things had emotions.
Yeah.
They
Right.
showcase so much love and joy, and you got to
Right.
see stuff. When Mufasa died and Simba cried, you
You
children
felt
was
that.
like, what happened,
When they
Mom?"
did that, they pan in and like he felt.
And it was like, and he, brother, help me. And he looked down with the coldest fucking skin in the world.
You knew he's on that. You knew he's on that shit.
And it was like, and they made it shadowy and dark around him. And he, brother, and sliding, help me. And it's like, this cold motherfucker about to do something.
See, I know it. I know it.
Claws come down, and he long live the king. And it's like, I don't even know what the fuck that means, but I know
Right.
he's dead.
And he dug into him and he like looked at him and he popped that bitch out. I'm like, wow,
And
you
it's like a lion face.
the muscles can't help you now, huh? Like just
They don't have emotions. They don't smile.
Nah.
They don't sing and with their mouth all open
That's
and
true,
jump
that's
around
true.
and whatnot. They just look like this. So you see something look like this and
All
you
the
go,
time?
Long live the king.
Yeah.
I'm not scared. It's like, I feel
I'm like, why am I watching
ridiculous.
this?
Yeah.
It,
I just can't wait. I just can't wait to be king.
it,
What-
we
get
cared
a-
about Zazu. We literally cared about that little bird thing, you know, because the emotion pay. He's like felt responsible, but the bird thing, like that's annoying. Eat that. what is?
He kept turning his head because he couldn't see because it's a big old toucan thing.
I'm like, yeah, eat
Then
that, eat that.
Mufasa, and it's like, just kill it.
Yeah,
Why
eat
is
it.
this in charge of everything? He can't see.
So yeah,
That's crazy.
I do feel like it's just yes. We talk about it's the times now, and
Yes.
if we never had a problem, if they. What we have, Xena? Like if they never, if
Here's my
they
thing.
never
we, again, how we're not normal. We have seen some great female like main characters. Like, yo, that was on point.
Yeah.
I got Xena. Who you got?
Oh, Ripley from Alien. I know that's
I got Ripley from Alien.
That's the main one that's constantly
Mhm.
brought up. Ripley from Alien, Tomb Raider.
That was
Lara
a Tomb
Croft before
Raider.
she was,
Samus.
anything.
You talking about
Samus.
Angelina Jolie?
No, not the movies, but the game.
No, we're not doing this.
Don't get me
We're
wrong,
not
they're-
adding
they're-
games?
they're
We-
all-
no, we
they're
gotta-
all,
movie?
all media.
Again,
What do you
you're
mean all media?
Yeah, we're
again,
all talking media.
all media. Yes, it has an impact on the culture, but that's not the same culture. Let's stick with the main
But it-
focus
okay,
of the
the
culture.
chick
from Resident Evil. I like her.
Which one? Which Resident
Alice?
Evil?
Yeah. Is
Was that
her?
right, Alice,
Yeah,
or was that the
There's
robot?
A bunch of different there's a bunch of different.
It's
No,
all-
I'm talking about the
Resident
main
movies.
movies. All the
Like,
movies.
there's multiple main female characters of Resident Evil.
Oh, no. We
the
just
movies,
doing- we
movies.
just doing-
We're doing
Oh,
movies because he
movies.
said only movies.
Yeah, because people
I don't
don't play
care what you
games.
say.
People don't play
People
games.
do play games, and the fact that now we
boy.
have the movie industry trying to bogart into the video game
That
industry.
does show proof
It was like-
that there is
I mean, there's
some
no, you just,
relevance.
it's 300 million people in America. Everybody don't play
I
games.
mean,
maybe a million of
video
them.
games now are profiting off of the
Yeah.
fact that they're playing out like movies. The
Yeah.
fact that they don't look like real things. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what we
that's
got.
we are
Uncharted
but-
games,
But let's just
We
stick
are
to,
ta- we're
let's
talking
just stick
about,
to
like-
female role models
Right.
and characters in movies. That's what
Right.
we talk
I'm
about.
just
That.
saying, like the fact but those characters have impacted a lot of people.
I
Yeah,
agree. We're
yeah,
not
but-
disagreeing
but-
with
Like,
you.
to the
Yeah.
point where they got movies. You know,
Right.
It
That's
was
true.
like
That's
they-
why Tomb Raider got
Yeah.
what she
Like
got. But
Tomb Raider got 2 movies, and now they have the 2 more with the younger Tomb
right.
Raider.
But
you know?
I won't even say Laura Croft
They
from
got
Tomb
2?
Raider. Those
I
were
like-
fine.
I liked her.
I liked
I
Angelina
know.
Jolie.
Well, I know
they,
Laura
they
Croft-
kind of heavy relied on
Angelina Jolie got
her
two.
love interest, but I like
They
the
did. They did. But
you know,
I didn't
I
think
liked
those
it.
were bad, and they allowed her to be her.
yeah.
What's the Hannah? Hannah, is that it? That
The
little
movie
girl?
Hannah? Yeah.
The movie. I like that.
Relied majority of her dad to give responsibilities, but yeah.
But once he was gone, it was all her.
She searching for her dad.
I mean, it's true, but I mean, she's a kid. But
It was
I
like,
thought
yeah,
that was
I
cool.
Motivation is motivation, and then you can do
But-
about that.
But as we talked about this before, they don't. It's not like that happens on the. It's not like that happens
Yeah, I
on
heard
the.
that too.
I did too.
On the, it's my oven. It's at one. It's at 170, but it's nothing in it.
You sure?
They don't do that off the flip side. You know.
Oh, you
like
have
if
the
it's a
young
love
boy you're
interest, the
looking
love interest is
for.
gonna be like the love interest, and we're the main character. Usually with the ladies, like the love interest, like kind of intrinsic on the whole purpose. You know. We talked about this. We,
Yeah, no,
we
they
had
do
this
that now,
conversation.
but it's like, but I guess like with the issue
With Ripley, they didn't. With
At all.
Xena, they really didn't for real, and that's surprising for a whole show run, because she had husbands and men. They were just the episodes. Like
Does Golden
they were-
Girls count, or does that not count?
the sitcom.
You said Golden Girls, and my
Yeah.
brain just disappeared. You
Yeah.
talking about?
The sitcom?
Thank
Yeah.
you for being my friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like them.
Yeah, right.
I
That
like
counts. They had boyfriends and ex husbands, but they were
Oh, they
run
was
there.
fucking.
They were
girls.
fucking. Oh yeah, Blanche was fucking. She was all
they
up
was
in
some
them.
nasty
Yeah,
bitches.
but they came and go. They really weren't main characters. They might have they might be there
Yeah, but-
for an
but
episode.
All I'm saying is like we're just talking about prominent females at the
This
moment.
is what I'm saying. But
Okay.
and that, when we talk about prominent females, like your character's not dictated by other characters. So like, yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
So
okay,
yeah,
okay,
Golden
cool.
Girls were something like that.
I know I'm missing so many. I
Yeah.
know I am.
And then it's just like, and it's like I'm not saying like everybody we should have all of them. Blah blah blah. blah you know, but I am saying like for everyone there was like 20 other shows.
it's
You know,
true.
That's
so it's
true.
like yeah.
But at the same
and the
time-
only reason it was 20 other shows, not because like we just weren't interested. It just they didn't allow it. Like they barely allowed black people to be on TV. It
I mean,
just
not only
wasn't
that,
a
but
thing.
to your point, right?
It's
Like,
called-
who
you
was
can't-
the
you can't-
individuals making movies? It was white guys.
White guys.
So
and that's what
why
I'm
would
getting
they
to.
not?
But that's what
only-
I'm getting to. Like we can't act like, oh, why only? Where's the good male role models? Was like
Yeah.
who was in control?
Right.
And now different people are in control.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's going to
it.
change. So I'm like,
But that's
Racism
that's the problem,
at the
though.
core,
Wait,
right?
That's the thing though. Is that you sit there and go like, yeah, back in the day, white guys were in control.
really not
Yeah,
back in the
So-
day.
I'm saying,
like what, like 10? I think 10 years ago, right?
in
10 years ago?
terms of what we're talking about, I'm using that terminology.
10 years
Keep
ago.
up, bitch. All right?
10 years
Back
ago.
in the day, all right?
10 years ago.
20
White
years
man-
ago, yeah.
White man ran everything. Presently, white man run everything.
Still.
But it's not as fun anymore.
right.
yeah, that's what it is.
They have daughters and they're getting caught.
And so now it's all of a sudden okay, we want representation.
Right.
We want to be showcased
Right.
doing this. We want to do that. Huh? You sound like those blacks. But I'm gonna give you a shot.
We still like we're still trying to get represented.
And I was like, hey, shut up, darky. It's her turn.
It's you again.
her turn.
Anybody's a white woman.
What
Something.
Bill Burr say? There's like white women have stuck behind
Yes,
white men
right,
all these
right.
years,
They act
but
like so
now,
surprised,
All
like-
of a sudden,
Right.
it's I'm been oppressed as
Come
well.
on.
Bitch, Leave It to Beaver mom had dinner ready every goddamn night.
It's ridiculous.
But it's like, okay, so we're giving them their fair, they're giving them their fair shot to do whatever to make.
I won't say fair shot, but they're giving a
They're
shot.
giving them
Yeah, maybe-
whatever.
They're getting better. I feel like they're getting better. Can we
They're-
say that?
yeah.
But it's like, but this
Yeah,
is
okay,
but
I
this is
agree.
the crux of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everything that those white men designed and created to be showcased in movies and whatnot
Mhm.
catered towards white men or men in general.
Yeah.
Yes.
The people who indulge in these things that
I was about
women
to say,
are now
yeah.
creating
Mm-hmm.
It's still
are
the
for
same.
men still.
I don't
They're
know.
not
I
for
don't know.
men,
I
But it's
don't
just-
know
but
for
no, no,
for
but this
for
is a-
facts
this
if
is a
that's
basic-
true.
Yeah,
this
I
is a
won't say
basic-
it's for men. I just say that the audience has not changed.
Yeah, the
it's
audience
still
never changed.
predominantly
I only
guys.
say that because, like,
Okay,
of
okay.
course, the audience changed. They will be in a fucking uproar for it. But this is my thing. Like, I understand what you're saying to a level, right? Like, You make action movies. Dudes watch action movies. You throw some chicks in the action movie, and then we mad about it. Like, and it's like, yes and no.
See, but it's not a matter that we're mad about it that you threw a chick in the action movie. Much like what we said, like way in the beginning of this podcast.
Yeah.
They don't know how to write them.
Agreed.
So it's like they don't know how to write them, and they don't know how to market them.
Right.
And then they're catering to an audience that don't want this. The audience wants what they want.
Right.
But no matter what agenda you're trying to push or whatever message you're trying to send, if your audience doesn't indulge in it, then you've just fucking messed up. So realistically, there's always been, when you go to a toy store, there's a pink aisle and a blue aisle. There's toys for girls and there's toys for boys.
Which is fucked up.
And it's not that, just because they're like these Barbie dolls are in the pink aisle, that means that only girls can go there. No. If a girl wants to play with anything that's in the blue aisle, you are welcome to do it. If
They're
a
not
girl wants
welcome.
to play anything in the blue aisle, in the pink aisle.
What Disney World you living in, my nigga? Like,
I'm
They're
saying,
not
they're-
welcome, though.
I'm saying
I mean,
that
they're not being
no
kicked
one's-
away,
I'm saying
but
no
they,
one's-
There is not
that's
gonna
what
but
I'm saying.
no one's being welcomed as well.
What I'm saying, if you're picking a toy,
Yes.
this is just what I want to play with. Whether or
Yeah,
not
if
just
a boy goes over to the girls on picks up a Barbie doll,
They're not being
maybe
welcomed.
maybe not the parent.
who's stopping them?
Right.
Only person who possibly
Someone in
stop
Toys R Us
them
be like,
is the
hey,
parent.
whoa.
No, it's like
Whoa,
not by
what are
the
you doing?
actual
That's what I'm
establishment,
saying.
right?
So, like, society has never put a kibosh on that. Whether or not,
Well, that's
What
where
the
you're
hell are
wrong.
you talking about?
You're definitely wrong on
I'm
that.
saying,
part.
I'm talking about in terms of society, like seeing it and being like, "Whoa, stop that kid!"
Yes,
He's
Yes,
about to
yes,
make a
yes,
choice.
yes.
that has happened all the time.
All the time.
You have random strangers
All
like,
the time.
why are you in this cow? You can't pick up a dog. Go get the goddamn dog. I've seen
that
that in real
happens.
life.
That
I've never
happens.
seen that.
It's
I've never
like
seen that.
that's
Circumstances
why.
environment.
That's why there's literally blue and
Pink.
pink. If it wasn't how you were saying, it would just be toys.
would
No,
be. It would
nothing.
be.
But it's
Barbies be with GI Joes and they'll be in dual packs. Like,
Yeah, but
oh,
this-
his
okay,
wife and
but
girlfriend, they're
there's
both fighting with
there
guns.
literally
Like,
there literally have been. Well, you can't even really do studies correctly like that. But essentially, it's just there's nothing to sit there and go that girls just can't like the color pink. If that's just the color.
they
pink.
wrap you up in it.
The fact-
They just stopped that recently.
What I'm
If
saying-
that did that, they
what I'm
wrap
saying-
you up when you come out your mother's pussy. They wrap you in
no,
blue
pink,
or
no,
wrap you in
pink,
pink. Psychological, that does something to a society.
It does.
It does.
Like you can't say like no one's really putting these people in categories. They're putting them in categories.
Right. But when you talk to older women,
And if you
go,
go,
"What's your
if you want to
favorite
go,
color?"
if you want to go deep,
But I'm
deep,
saying, like, you can
there's
still
no
talk
reason to
a woman
call
today,
someone.
and their favorite color won't be pink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
So
That's
it's
also
like
true.
so that means that at some point in time in life, they was like,
I know
fucking-
so many women that hate pink because of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they can't stand pink,
Yeah,
not because they have any
basically
personal against it.
everything, because everything that was showcased to them was in
pink.
pink.
Right.
And you can't get away from it. But it's like you're trying to change, in a sense, of a societal standpoint on what boys and girls get from a marketing standpoint. Boys and
Which they
girls,
do all the time.
Boys buy shit that's blue, girls buy shit that's pink. So why the fuck are we gonna change the color palette because just a few of them have
'Cause
an issue with it?
Not a few, a lot.
No.
A lot.
No, in order for it to make a change, it should be a lot, but it's not.
It
The only-
is.
The only ones who are saying anything are a few, while everyone else is just sitting there biting, just going
I don't
along
know.
with the motion. Because if they did,
I can't
like you
confirm.
said,
I can't
we would
confirm
just
or
have
deny that.
toys.
This is what I'm
We
saying.
don't.
But it is getting like
It's
that.
a marketing thing. Like when you see a trailer for a video game, it's marketed towards little boys. It's always has been, always will be.
Not always will be,
I mean,
and not always have. Not for real.
it has. Unless it's
I think
a
it
game,
depends on
first
the
if it's a game centered
genre
around
of the
girls,
game.
they will show things
Yeah.
that were more for girls. Whenever a Barbie video game came out, everything was pink on the
Right.
screen, and you see
But hell,
fucking horses
Barbie
all the
had-
time.
But that's why you. That's
synonymous
why we.
with that
That's why
color.
we. This is you almost like you're in a death loop. Because because that is it's why they're forcing these things to happen.
Yeah, but it's like that's,
Because you're having video games for the majority part only for guys like, well, I like playing video games, like, and I want to kill some people and some stuff. Like, I have so many friends that want to play Grand Theft Auto stuff, which they do play it, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have hated if the main character was female. I'm pretty sure the game maybe the Grand Theft Auto or the community in large were like, oh, why they girling this shit up? And it's like,
Nope.
the main character could just be a girl.
No,
And-
because we've had situations like that happen.
It should make
where
Grand
where
Theft
there
Auto,
literally would be a complete and
Yeah.
total
Should.
absolute change of the
different.
sex
That'd
of
be
a
different.
character, or where you were able to pick.
That's
the
why
change
they got
of
so
the sex
popular.
of a
But that's
character.
why they got so popular. But that's literally why they got so popular of being able to change the sex of characters. They was like, yo, this is dope. I can actually pick a fucking female character to play in this game that's basically all the same story.
Yeah, but most
story
of the
thing.
people who would go and pick female were dudes.
That's
No.
also true. That's very true.
Again,
That is true.
That is a
That is
majority
true.
of
But
people who pick
that is
female
Like
characters.
Cyberpunk
God.
is a bunch of girls
But
in
literally, that's
Cyberpunk.
an option for you.
It is an option.
And what
yes.
I'm saying
That's
is
what
that,
I'm saying.
is that because that's an option, but it's like when you look at the marketing towards the game, because of who buys these types of games,
It's
there's
still male on the characters.
It's for
It's-
men. But it's like
Yes.
women do indulge in these games. There's no like it would be crazy to sit there and go, "There's no such thing as a female gamer." And it's like, no, there are women who play games, but it's like you have to pay attention at exactly what you got going on and what your target audience is and what it is that they cater to. The Last of Us Part 2 game. Last of Us Part 2 game literally has two female characters where you play as both of them. One's the antagonist, one's the protagonist. And literally, the gaming community as a whole the gaming community, not as a whole, the gaming community on the side of the people who buy and purchase the games did not like The Last of Us Part 2.
Okay.
The gaming side that was developed on the media and the development team loved the game. They praised it to high hell. They gave it 10 out of 10. Hell, it just won the WAC Video Game Awards for the Game of the Year. While as the user score for the game that most people played, that they actually got to vote, or like actual gamers got to vote during that game award for what game they liked the most, was Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
But the Game of the Year went to the game that people didn't like, the game that literally GameStop, different retailers had to stop taking returns for because people did not like it. They would like flat out be like, yeah, you cannot bring this game back because that's how much people disliked it.
Okay.
But it wasn't since because it's now you're playing as a female character. It was literally the game.
This is the
was-
inconsistencies
yeah,
of
it
the
was like,
story.
there's
Made no
literally stuff
sense.
in the game
Right.
for people who enjoyed the game. Hell, there's a lot of people who buy games just because it's a sequel.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. Yeah,
Right.
but it's like just because of the fact that it did not hit all the check marks that go towards the people who generally indulged in what the first game was.
But that was a Joel and Abby problem, and that has nothing to do with bad main female characters.
No, yes, it
that was
does.
a Joel and Abby problem.
That's
That was the
you're
whole-
going-
the
you're
whole
going by
ab-
the story. But
Yeah,
it's
that's the
like
whole- that was the
but
whole
if you're going
thing.
about the story from what the first game is, then that game was flawed from the beginning.
Yeah.
by how they did the story.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I just
but
said.
the people who made the video game knew what the fuck the first
Don't
story
care.
was.
I don't care.
So-
And it's funny. It's
so
like
they made it purposely going
we
against
we
the first
we
story.
talked
It's their fault.
we talked about this, you guys, whoever's listening. But yes, sure, all you said right with that game. Sure, that does nothing to do with anything of the characters of being female or the male characters not being good anymore. That's a horrible incident. It's damn near almost isolated because they purposely tried to do something different and didn't work out for them. Boo-hoo. That's the developers.
But now-
That's almost isolated, and it might have ripple effects in other games. I'm not suggesting that it doesn't, but it's literally too early to say.
Well, it already did, simply because of the fact that the Last of Us games themselves, because it was such a breakout hit, it led to the development of all games currently now hitting that symbiosis of basically having movie story plots and focusing more on higher end graphics to make everything look more human rather than gameplay being more oriented and stuff like that.
Didn't this
Now
game came out like a year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but not The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us 1.
Okay.
Last of Us 1 was a
Oh,
smashing
I
hit.
thought you were
Okay,
talking about
I
The
thought
Last of
that's
Us
two.
2.
That's what I
I'm saying
said.
because of the last one.
We're not talking about that
Last of
though.
Us
We're focused
1
on Last of Us 2.
No, I'm saying like the ripple effect already.
No, I'm
happened.
talking about the ripple effect of Last of Us 2.
Yeah, okay.
It has nothing has happened
The ripple
yet.
effect of The Last of Us Part 2.
Not to the fact that it affects other games. It
Yeah,
might,
yeah, that
it might
shouldn't
not,
have.
but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
So
no,
we're
it has.
we're
It
literally
has with something that's
what-
already out now.
Yeah, we're now what's happening currently with the games or with video games or within the gaming aspect of what's going on is that you now have a separate sides between the video game media and the developers from the actual people who consume and buy and purchase games.
Oh, you
To
talking
the
about on
point-
that aspect?
Yeah,
Okay.
to the
So
point
not
where-
any game specific, but just the mere fact of now there's kind of a split between there's a split between the gaming media side and the gamer
Gaming
consumer.
side. Yeah, and this is literally something that happened before within Gamergate and all that, but now it's getting to the point where essentially video games that have some type of that have violence in them or just don't hit whatever necessary check marks someone might get offended over or whatever because it's a video game or whatnot is led with the ramifications of sitting there being either sexist, repetitive, something that's demeaning to women and whatnot. Cyberpunk 2077, despite all the bad things that was going on with that, a major part of that game is the fact that it was criticizing and talking about how promotional stuff will get within that world to the point where they literally was selling juice that had a trans character posing for it.
Okay.
And it was basically like it looked female, but you could see the outline of a dick. And
Ha,
it was like wearing like,
awesome.
and it was like wearing like spandex or something like that.
Okay.
And so
What's the outcry to that?
the problem was the fact that was in there.
What?
Just because it was in there. And
We're in
it
the
was being-
future.
yeah. it
They got
was-
robot parts.
but it
Nigga,
was-
what?
It was being used, and it was being used to sell something. They saw it as demeaning.
It's real juice?
No.
I'm so confused here
Yeah,
right now.
because of the fact that was in the game,
Uh-huh.
and it was in the game, and it was used as a promotional thing, and they were basically utilizing the fact that someone was trans to try and sell something, rather than care about how trans people feel. It was something that they had an outcry for.
So
Cyberpunk.
Did the trans community was offended by it? What you're saying?
No, well, the trans community wasn't offended. Just people got offended
Because they saw
because they
outline
saw
of a
that.
dick?
Because they saw that.
Hold on,
And then
rewind.
because of that, Cyberpunk 2077 had to go in, and that's when they made the change in the game to basically change your penis size and whether or not you want to be male, female, or have no sex at
Yeah.
all. And
I guess what he's trying to get at, Jaymin, and I think you've seen this before, right? So a lot of times for certain communities, whether it was the BLM or even the trans community, you have this weird little group that likes to be the spokesperson for everybody. And when they go crying wolf, even though the community they're supposed to be backing doesn't say anything to that, they get what's done, i.e. white women. So there's
Okay.
these groups of white women that are
Twitter
like,
people and stuff.
all right,
Yeah.
and
Same.
and they don't speak for those communities. Like you said,
Right.
the trans community didn't say, "Oh, we dislike that." Probably didn't say anything. They're like, "It's cool to see.
Right.
That's what's up. We're in a video game.
We're in a video
That's
game.
what's up."
That's what's up. On a can.
But the white
as
but
advertisements.
the white
That's
Karens
great.
and the other white individuals, Twitter people, those behind a computer was like, "Yo, whoa, you crossing the line
this
here.
will
Like, what are you
offend
doing?
someone.
This is going to offend the
Offend
trans community.
Mhm.
Trans community
You
didn't
didn't
say
say
a
anything.
damn thing." But these
Okay.
people said that, and now people are scared to do certain things. Like, well, okay, well that's going to offend. I don't want that in my game.
But again, we're
what-
talking about white to white, which is I don't know anything
Trans
about
community
this.
is mixed.
Yeah.
We're talking about white to white. So like we're like I don't know this community. I want to offend. I want to not offend them, but defend them.
But
But I'm not. We're talking about white to white, so I don't want to defend them. And then we talk to another one. It's probably part of the game stuff. Is like I don't want to be offending two people. And it's like neither of you people had the audacious to talk to an actual group.
Yes.
So now
Right.
you're bouncing ideas basically off of yourself about other people.
Yeah.
So
and it
it's
hypes you up, and it makes you try
hypes-
to
hypes
sit there
me
and
up.
get something canceled or whatnot.
which
Well,
I mean
that's
if-
what they
if-
tried to do, but they missed the whole nuance of what was happening in the game because they don't play the game.
Right.
And in actuality, the reason that they had that in the
And
game,
if it gets canceled, that's on their dumb part.
Well, no,
It's
but-
on all people who play the games to get canceled. If you don't stand up for something, you see some stupid shit happening, then I don't give a fuck about you.
yeah, whatever.
Okay.
But it's like,
Like,
that's not.
if
but-
you're part of this community, right? If you're part of like, yo, I'm in this game stuff and blah blah blah, and you don't say anything when clear people that don't play the games are saying stuff. I shook my shoulders.
What
Like-
if
That
your
also-
power
Yeah.
is not nothing compared to those
Yeah.
who are?
That-
having
Which
that
is true.
outcry?
that-
That's a
trickles-
different state. That's a different
that
statement. Then.
trickles up towards
You know?
like what we was talking about before, where now the new people
Which
who are
is
in
common.
power are the white females.
Right.
So if white females are telling other white females that this is going to offend a community that ain't saying anything,
Right.
and those white females believe these other white females because they think like they do, and then they have the power to tell people you better change this shit or we gonna have problems, then you got to change some shit. But then the backlash of that is that you get lack of sales. People don't want to play your games. A
Right.
whole bunch of people outcrying that what the fuck are you doing to these games that don't cater to these people who are upset about something that they don't even understand.
Right.
The whole reason they had that ad in the game in the first place is because that's one of the parts of the game is that the world is so corrupted and crazy that yeah, they will stick any old trans person on a poster to sell some fucking juice. That's literally the point of that poster. But because no one even decided
Well,
to
I
look
don't-
outside of what was going, no, I'm saying like in the game.
In
That's
the game,
point.
in the game, I think it was like just advertising
No,
and
no,
like
no,
is
that's the they said that like that was the point for that stuff is that like they have promotional things that's like overly sexualized and things like that because it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's that's how.
This is what I'm
the
saying. This is what I'm
world
saying.
is.
Like I think it's like because it was about the corporations and that, and
Yeah.
you played it, if you played the game like that, like,
Yeah, and it was like-
so. I think it's more about like they advertised. What are you saying? Like advertise not necessarily anything, but advertises how the advertisements were literally in your face.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it
And
was
it's
like
so-
literally you can't walk down the door. Like if you play the game, it's like really like legitimate
Yeah.
in your face.
And it's like so
Yeah.
to people who basically
Not
don't
necessarily
play that game and they
anything
didn't
up there. Like,
see
gotcha,
it or,
gotcha.
or register or anything like that, it completely missed the mark. So you have opposition and problems and stuff like that happening, in the wake of things from like The Last of Us 2, killing off a major character who was a popular male character and whatnot, and now it's basically getting to the point where essentially, much like with movies, everything is far more female oriented and catering towards women and powerful women and things like that. But the issue that I have is the fact of, yeah, it's cool that there are powerful females and whatnot, but it's just that there is a huge lack of male characters that are out there that I would even sit there and appropriate or even go like, hey, you know, like this is a character I would be proud of you looking at and being like that's one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite movies. Right. With me, it was growing up watching Spider-Man. And it was the
old cartoon series?
Yeah, the cartoon series that came out like 1994. Yeah. And it was like, I would watch that all the time. But it's like within that Spider-Man series, hell, looking at an episode the other day, it literally had a moment where Mary Jane asked him out, and then Felicia asked him out. And then he was fighting Kraven the Hunter. And at the end of the episode, he was like, it was morning. And he was like, yeah, I couldn't go with both of them. He was like, man, my life sucks. And it ended. And it was like, but it's like, that's who Spider-Man is. And it was like, he can't catch a break. But it's like, he just saved the life of some guy and a lady from a freaking zoo and whatnot. But it's just the fact that, like, I would watch different episodes of Spider-Man and just adore this guy. You know? And it was like, he was swinging, saving people, doing all this good stuff. And it's like, I loved it. But there wasn't anything in this. And it was like, he had his faults and he had his problems. But there was never anything in the series that made me go, oh, because he a man, he bad. You know, or anything that was like, oh, he needs to be overly emotional to this moment. No, he was emotional when he needed to be. He kicked butt when he needed to be. And it's like he did stuff that I would assume or think this is how a man should do things. Simply because of the fact that at that time there was no man in my life, which is prominent for a lot of children. You know, so it's like that's the whole point of a role model. Right. I used to get annoyed going in school when they would be like, write about your hero, and I go, I don't have one. And they would be like, and it's like at the time,
sheesh.
I'm serious. I was like,
got real dark.
It's dark as hell.
It's dark because it's like I didn't have a hero.
Yeah, I never had a
like
hero.
A hero? No.
And it's like at that time, like
I looked up to my mother.
God was my hero.
I guess I was late into that.
Okay,
I didn't really.
Perfect in all ways.
I mean, facts though.
I mean, like realistically, like it was like when I was a kid, I liked Spider-Man, but he wasn't. I wasn't like running around like wanting the pajamas and web slinging shit. Right. It's like, no, you give me the toys and you leave me alone in the room with the rest of my toys. Yeah, I'm gonna tie a shoestring to his arm and fling him around.
Oh, really?
Fling him around.
That's cool.
He's swinging because that's what he's supposed to do. But at the same time,
did you read comics as a kid, or was it the cartoon?
Just cartoon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and it was like at the same time, I was like, yeah, and also Power Rangers. Running around is morphin' time. What if Spider-Man could do morphin' time? Damn, he'd be unstoppable. And it's like it'd be shit like that. And in hell, I probably because of my stupid kid mind. And it's like if you buy me a brand new Transformer, that's the whole day trying to transform that one fucking plane into something because I don't know how to do it. But then you find me 2 months later, and then what? And it's like, what do you need?
Autobots to roll out.
And it's like, yeah, but it's like I didn't look up to anyone and was like, ooh, I want to be like that guy.
Yeah,
or I respect that guy or anything like that. I wrote this is a true goddamn story. I wrote a bullshit essay about how my hero was Martin Luther King Jr. And that literally was like what Chris Rock said in his special. That was my go-to guy to put down whenever that situation came up. Was because I knew the most about him because it always got shoved down your throat when you were little during Black History Month. The main guy was Martin Luther King Jr.
Only one black person they want to talk about.
Yeah, only one they want to talk about.
So
because
many
of that,
others.
Well, they were pro-black. Can't have that with the kids.
Is Martin Luther King or Malcolm X?
No, Martin Luther King. He was pro-black.
Definitely not Malcolm X.
Yeah.
My mother talked about him because that's how.
Right.
But yeah, you weren't really learning.
No.
This. Think about it. Have you ever learned anything in school about Malcolm X? In school.
He was a Muslim.
In school?
Right.
Not really. It's mostly
Martin
outside.
But Martin Luther,
mostly
you did.
outside.
That's how it works.
I think it was like a page.
that goddamn cartoon, My Friend Martin.
Right, they played that in school.
He played it all the goddamn
All
time.
the time.
I used to hate watching it. And I was like, this is the stupidest cartoon ever. Because at the end, he walked down that tunnel and showed him growing up slowly. And he hit a gunshot. And I go, who was this for? And it was like, we got him.
Just when you get great, you get dead. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And it was like, they brought Martin Luther King to the present to show him that, hey, this is what's going to happen to the world when you die. And it was like, excuse me, I am a child. And it was like, well, in the future, you're going to be great. You're going to be a doctor. You're going to be a minister. They go shoot you out. Yeah, stupid motherfucker.
Because you think you're free. I'm like, jeez.
And it was like that. And I
Be
wrote
a
a
government sting operation.
I wrote a bullshit essay, and my teacher, unbeknownst to me,
Love
put it into a goddamn competition. That I
Wow.
did not fucking know about.
Did you win?
I won.
Oh, no.
I look at the essay now, and I go, who the fuck? I was like, what was this? And I was like, this is the most
You still have it?
bullshit- I believe I do. And it's like, this is the most
We
bullshit.
bring-
I know you probably memorized it. Tell us.
No, I haven't remembered.
Tell us.
But I'm looking back, and it's like scribbles, and it's nothing, and it's like it's short as hell and everything. And I was like, this isn't even a real fucking essay. And I was like, how the hell did I win? And I was in Texas.
But the other ones clearly weren't any good, maybe.
Yeah, nobody was good.
Well,
Whatever.
well, how old were you at this time, you think?
I was in middle school at this time,
So we're talking about 4th or 5th?
No.
Middle school.
Middle school.
No,
So
did I
like
say that?
So
Fourth
6,
or
7,
fifth?
8.
6, 7, and 8.
Huh?
Wow. That's
What
very
the
odd.
fuck
to
is
me.
going on?
You said middle
What
school.
dimension are you from?
So back
Give me my
in-
Kevin back. Never.
Oh, so now he's your Kevin.
Our Kevin back. We were group owners.
I'm only Jaymin's Kevin.
He's not Jaymin no more. He's Dave. It's like, so now you
Again.
I paid my $200. But back in
200.
Mississippi. Why are you laughing? Why are you
best.
laughing?
funny.
That
That's
is
a
the
funny way
best
to open a
statement.
story.
'Cause you're like, I'm confused. Also, back
No, I'm not confused. I was going to tell you why I made the statement I made.
because you're Mississippi.
Yes.
That's what
I'm
we're
not
like.
done.
Where he was raised. That's how he was raised.
Basically. So we had something called, you can say middle school, but it was more like, it was called Vicksburg Intermediate School. That was, I think it had 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Then we had, they had 3rd, 4th, 5th, and
Your junior-
6th.
your junior
Then we
high.
had junior high that had 7th and
8th.
8th. Then we had high school that had 9, 10, 11, 12.
It is actually a generation. Well, my parents' generation that went through that, and that county or that school system was just too cheap to change it. But they changed it because it's too traumatic for children that around that age
I
group.
don't understand. traumatic? What's
For
it-
it to be like, because usually the junior high is connected to like the high, right? But it's like a
No.
separation thing.
Nope.
When does your junior high start then?
Oh no, now they had that in Chicago. Like
Right?
my mother grew up in a school that literally it went from elementary school through grade school
Yeah.
and high school. And it was
Yeah.
all-
They were
right
kind of
next to each other.
separated, but it was like
Yeah.
fucking
No,
high school
my
grown ass
building,
people were in
so
there.
Vicksburg Intermediate, that was like 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Separate building. 7th and 8th, separate building.
But
Not
were they
even
near
close.
each other.
I mean, same district.
Oh,
Same
well,
district, so it's not in the same area. Like,
Nope.
So you went to only 7th and 8th grade to go into a certain school.
Mm-hmm.
Was
And
that
then-
everybody in Mississippi?
I cannot speak to everyone. I can only speak to where I,
mean, like,
was.
I meant that's what I meant.
Okay.
like,
yes.
Did
There was
everybody?
only 2 schools in.
That's exactly what I was.
There was only 2 schools, and of course they were always beefing. One was like the more country white school. The other one was like the ghetto black school.
You had
Not
two
gonna
good
lie.
schools.
old Mississippi. It'll never let us down.
Oh, did y'all have the
Ole Miss.
Did you have the white and black prom thing?
White and black.
Yeah,
no,
they-
no. That was a different
Yeah.
part of Mississippi. No,
Okay. Okay.
no,
that was the other Mississippi.
no. This is no. That's the one that Morgan Freeman did that thing, and that was like back in 2009. They were still having separate proms. No, we
No, they still having that. Like,
no.
now.
I thought they got rid of that. I
No.
thought that's what that was about.
no,
Okay, I don't know.
That shit is still
I didn't
like.
follow up.
I didn't hear it. I don't know if it ended. I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, I
don't know
remember-
if it
yeah.
ended or not.
I was like, jeez.
Yeah, no. We had.
What's the
same-
problem? We just got a black one.
They go to theirs and we go to
Ours.
ours.
What's the problem here? I don't see it.
Look, lady, when you put your clothes in the washing machine, do you let the colors mix with the white?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Same. I'm like, jeez.
Because we drinking bleach in this bitch.
We make sure our whites pure. I'm like, okay. But yeah, it's,
Wasn't like that.
get back to what the fuck we were talking about.
When I was in middle school, around
All right,
6,
the whole
7, or
Martin
8,
Luther King thing.
I believe I was in 7th grade. So
In fact, today isn't today Martin
Yeah.
Luther King?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
today. Joe Biden was talking.
yeah, because that matters.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
He's president elect.
Yeah.
he's president.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, happy
Oh,
birthday,
Jesus,
Martin Luther. I know you're past now, but we appreciate the struggle you and
What the hell was that? What go? What did you say?
That was
Happy
so,
birthday,
That was
right?
so inappropriate.
I said happy birthday.
I didn't. Okay.
I'm putting this up tomorrow. Just gotta approach it.
I didn't know
They'll
what was
know
going
we
on.
recorded
It was
today.
weird because it seemed like he was talking to
You did?
Daniel.
I thought he was talking to
I
Martin
was
Luther King.
looking at
I thought he was
Daniel.
talking to Martin Luther King. I'm like,
He was, bro.
okay.
No,
His head was
looking
cocked this
down.
way. Happy
No, I'm
birthday,
saying,
Mark.
you're talking about Martin Luther King,
Yeah.
but it seemed like you were directing it towards Daniel.
I'm speaking into the mic.
Okay.
You weren't even paying attention.
I was paying attention. I was
You're not.
multitasking.
I thought he was talking to Martin Luther King, but then he said
No, I
he
just
passed
said
away.
happy
I'm like,
birthday, and I was like, I appreciate you for the things you've done
Okay.
as far as the people and the struggle you went through. Yeah,
Mm.
I do appreciate that.
You
do
should have
appreciate
ducked.
you should have. He didn't. He didn't die. He didn't die from that.
Yeah, he was.
I know, he-
Yeah, it's
went to the
suffocated.
hospital,
Right. Yeah. So he should have had guards, but he probably
I
did.
saw the
they were-
picture and they was all pointing.
They probably knew the guards. It was the literal government that suffocated this nigga.
That's
Hell,
true.
we're literally getting a movie about the guy
Right.
that like betrayed one of the major leaders of the Black Panther.
Oh yeah, we
movement.
can.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking
That
about
was
Martin
that was
Luther.
Black Friday. That was Black Friday.
No, that was.
I mean, that was a play on it, but that was Black
Black
Tuesday,
Monday?
Black Monday. What's Black Monday? John Jeter?
No, well, he wasn't. He was just part of the Black Panthers in another group somewhere else.
But the same concept
yeah,
happened.
same,
That's what I'm saying.
But that probably did happen,
And that's why they make a
everywhere else.
documentary because it literally happened.
But no, the one is it's called Judas and the Messiah.
And the Messiah, you know.
Oh, I heard
Interesting
about
name.
that. Yeah.
But
Straight
yeah,
up.
It's about Huey P. Newton, and what happened with that. Interesting.
Crazy. But yeah, so role models in the for real sense. That's what you're getting to.
Going to the essay
Yes.
that happened. Yeah, my teacher put in the essay. I won a competition. I got accepted to the National Juniors
Honor Society.
Honor Society or Young
I was
Leaders
guessing, I'm
Association. Yeah, it's like National Juniors Young Leader Association. something
Jesus
like that.
Christ.
Yeah, took a full expenses paid trip to Washington D.C.
Oh,
That's what's up.
wow.
Yeah, I
what's
got
up.
to see. I've been in the Capitol,
Oof.
before
Oh,
the other shit.
He was an inside man.
I've been in the Capitol. I got to sit down with like the governor of Texas.
Oh,
and,
wow.
The governor and like another senator of Texas, something like that. Had like a breakfast thing,
That's
and I was
cool.
sitting there the whole time going, "Man, I wish I was over in Illinois." Because I'm from Chicago, and I was like, "Yeah," and like I'm serious. This is how I felt back then. I was a kid, but like I seriously,
Yeah, you
I
don't
was-
respect anything
I was
as a
looking
child.
I was looking at the senator and governor, and I was like, I don't know who these people are.
Mhm.
I have no reason to know who these people
Right.
are. I gotta go back to school on Monday. I was like, and I was like, then I had a teacher. The teacher sent an essay. He was like, I want you to write about like your experience. I was like, I don't want to do that. I was like, you gave me the. I was like, you don't give me extra work after you had me do. That's not fair. And then I was like, well, I was there. They had me do work, and I was like, what are you doing? And I was
They
like,
had you do work.
Yeah, we was like writing and doing stuff. Weird shit. They made us make up a play. Oh,
oh wow!
It
You
was
seem like you had to do a
was
lot of
like-
stuff.
It was like, why? Just why? It was like, was it a learning experience? I was like, I don't know, but
Maybe he had to write a play, and look at him now writing novels.
Yeah.
right.
That's where it started from. Daniel.
And he was
In
bullshitting.
fact,
And he was bullshitting.
So
he was great.
I've been lying my whole life.
His flex right now is ridiculous.
It's immaculate.
He's like,
It's immaculate.
ugh, I've been to a Capitol and won a competition by
Hey,
accident.
check this out. I had breakfast with the governor.
Governor.
It was
I don't even
nothing.
know him. Illinois. It's like,
Oh, boo hoo,
Golly.
boo hoo me.
That's all.
on my worst day, bitch, I'm in D.C.
exactly.
It's like, all right.
Have you had dinner
Nigga,
and breakfast
at
with the
best, I could
governor?
run a whole company.
Whole
Nigga,
company.
At worst, I could run the whole country. Get out of here.
Literally, that's your mindset.
And also mentioned I also got to like walk to the White House, and it was got to see it up close. It was like the president here, and I was like, man, fuck that nigga. And I was like,
Who was
man,
that nigga when
it's
you were
hot.
Who was
Washington?
And
George?
It was, Bush.
Bush? Yeah.
Washington.
I don't know. I said that.
It? He did say Washington.
I don't know. I said
What do you think I went?
the W came up my brain. It was like, and it was like George, right?
Not only did I
But I
go
think
George
the
Bush,
middle name
and the
is
W
Washington.
came up.
But I think the W is Washington. I think his name is
I have
George Washington
dyslexia.
Bush.
Shut up.
I think his name is though George
Yeah, it
Washington
is.
Bush.
I know it is.
Oh, okay. I'm saying, like, so you weren't completely
My
wrong.
brain just like, well, you meant Washington. It's like, no.
Washington. Not only did I go to the
Wrong,
Capitol,
George. Hold on.
they sent me back in time.
No, he's just trying to call you
They
old.
even
That's
built
all it
the
was.
White House in Pennsylvania.
Right.
God damn.
God
He's
damn.
just trying to call you old. That's
I
it.
met George, and I was like, man, they gonna.
I'm
fuck
older
you
than
up.
him. Am I older than you? I'm older than you. Like a month. When's your birthday?
October.
Yeah, I'm older than him. so I would be calling him old.
What year? What year?
90.
Okay.
He's 90, dumbass.
I fucking know. I didn't know. Okay.
We had several conversations. Like, oh, born in the 90s. Yeah, that's where they make the best ones in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
All the rest of them just,
Yeah.
it happens. But
Those people. Look at them now.
look at him now, struggling.
There's a
I don't know who I am.
There's a reason we're having this conversation in the first place.
That is
The
horrible.
bastards.
Jeez, that is horrible.
No one
Man.
understands my feelings.
Man.
Man, the fuck up.
They can't help it. It's in their nature. So there's nothing to man up to. You know, they were just born not in a perfect decade at the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to be king. They'll never get to know that. They got a knockoff version.
Yeah.
I mean, they can watch the old movie.
Sure they can.
They don't get
you know
it,
the
though.
Disney Vault is real, right? I didn't know that was a thing because in the 90s, they just made all those movies come out.
Yeah.
So for the longest, I thought that Disney animated movies came out like a year after year after year.
I thought so too.
Yeah, they don't. Peter Pan came out in 1954. I didn't know that. So I'm watching Peter Pan the whole time, and I was like, damn, so they was just racist like a couple of years ago, huh? I was
Racist like a couple of years ago.
This is in the 50s. What are you talking about?
They was racist a couple years ago.
Hell, I recently rewatched Peter Pan. There's a whole song called "Why Is the Red Man Red?" Then yes,
Oof.
they make the Native Americans sing
rap.
it. And they
Wow.
talk about the fact that one of them saw a pretty Native American and made him blush, and they just stayed blushing for the rest of their lives.
Wow.
Wow.
It's just
Europeans are awful.
that was a song in Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
we not. Yeah, Disney's. Yeah,
always-
he's awful.
always
Yeah,
horrible.
he's horrible. This is great. Great animation.
We never
Great,
did-
great animation.
Anything racist. What about that movie that's literally about a slave talking to animated characters that you guys banned internationally around the world?
What about Pocahontas or Machu Picchu?
Huh?
What?
That's her name. That's her name. They literally cut it down to Pocahontas. Pocahontas is fake. It's not a real name. Her name.
She was 14 when she met them.
That was a rape. There
She
was.
didn't have sex with John Smith.
He wanted to have.
They kidnapped her.
Yeah, they
took her to
kidnapped-
England.
yep.
She was a prisoner. She was basically a hostage.
Yep.
To make sure that the Native Americans kept straight while they were gone, and then they just never returned her. And she married a white guy.
Married.
Oh,
She married the other
That's a
guy.
strong word.
She married the other guy from the second movie.
Yeah.
She
A
never
white guy.
married. Yeah, still a white guy.
Yeah.
She never
Yeah.
married John.
I wasn't
Smith,
Mel
but
Gibson,
yeah.
so it was
Right.
a white guy.
It's a strong word. Married. You mean
Right.
held prisoner by a ring?
Hell,
I guess.
The second movie has the audacity to show the dude that was the bad guy in the first movie. He walks up, grab Pocahontas, and start dancing with the bitch, and like laugh at her face, like, "Look what happened to me." And it was like, "I'm still
Nothing.
rich and white, bitch." Nothing.
Crazy.
And I was like, "This movie is wild. Why would they make this sequel?" But everything got a sequel. And
Everything
they were all
got a
terrible,
sequel, yeah.
except for Lion King 2.
I just heard about Lion King 2 was pretty good. Yeah,
Lion King
yeah,
2 is
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
People don't like it, but people who say they don't like Lion King 2, I think they're stupid.
I think they're stupid. You
I end
know,
up saying different things. I was like, I think you're stupid. Because I like Bambi too.
those. Are you checking the volumes, my guy? Because those bitches look loud. Reduce the volume.
Hey, no,
Because y'all are
I
loud.
I turned this down.
That's y'all.
they're awfully loud. I don't know.
You gotta. I can't even.
You know what?
I can't
Fuck
even.
it. Just
I can't
leave it.
even. I
It's
can't
my
even.
podcast. It's fine.
We're gonna be yelling.
They're gonna get all of the big
Right, they
daddy.
get all of it. Yeah.
All of the big daddy up in them.
So, but yeah, I really do think it's more for perspective. I can only speak on movies, can't speak on games. I don't play games like that. My games I played, Star Wars or Knights of the Old Republic, you get to choose who your character was. They had a male on the cover, and their sequel was also good. They had a female on the cover. You can still choose who you were. So I'm biased. I played Jade Empire, great game. Didn't get to choose who you were. You got to choose what kind of type of character you picked. Yes, you did. Never mind. And that old Mario games and Smash Bros. Like I don't like. I'm not. I can't really. I have no brain set of what modern games are like, so I can't speak on that. But I played. I watch movies,
Yep.
so I can talk about that. And movies are good. Movies are bad. Majority of the time. I don't really. Sometimes when you see it forced, I can see them writing bad.
True.
Underworld, love the movie. But you can clearly see they wrote it kind of bad. And then when things went awry, when the one characters didn't want to be in the movies, they had to try to fix it, making it a little worse, but tried to fix it.
Yeah.
You know, so I get it. Like,
And that was a like offset issue,
Right, there's
rather
an offset,
than-
yeah.
that led to the movie having problems.
Right.
But that's another character
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I
she is
never
another
I
character.
never looked at the main chick in Underworld and was like like why is she doing all
I
this
never
stuff?
Right.
did. Yep.
She pushed the narrative.
She wasn't the strongest vampire.
No.
She was incredibly loyal to the vampire race.
Right.
And it's like when she found out the stuff that she found out about the werewolves, and it was like, well, this is kind of a game changer. And other
Right.
vampires were like, fuck that.
Right.
It's like we don't like them.
Again, this is like not knowing your family's racist. Like, it's, or not racist, but homophobic, something like that. So, like, she was completely like, well, that's not, he's new. He's
Yeah.
a victim.
Like,
Like,
he
I'm saving werewolves from the victim. So,
They're
like,
cut his fucking head off.
I'm like, but why? Because he's an abomination. Abomination. And it's like, wow.
I think we're skipping some levels. We just
Right.
met the guy. He didn't want this.
He didn't want this. I was there. They literally hunting this nigga, kidnapped this. I was
Hell,
there.
in the whole movie, in the first movie, her whole main goal was to wake up the other vampire. That they were
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not his turn to get woken up.
Right, right.
She was like, well, we need him because he obviously know more than your ass.
Yeah.
And you tripping.
And you
then she
tripping.
woke him up and he was like, you tripping. She's like, well, obviously,
Whoa.
somebody tripping.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like,
She
this
tried
ain't
to. She
my
tried to wake
fault.
up Victor because Victor turned her, and she trusted him because they never ran into this hybrid issue before.
Yeah.
You know, all her werewolves around her time were evil. We're just werewolves. They
And we
didn't.
just
They
been-
were not people. They were just
We're supposed to be
werewolves.
gunning them down.
That's
but it's
it.
like, this was a dude who had no stake in this.
Nothing.
And then he got turned into whatever this
Right.
is. Like, what do we do? We should kill it. Whoa, that seems extreme. I was like, we
Right.
don't know what
You're not
this
gonna help
is.
him a little bit, and then she didn't even know he was bit for real until the blonde girl told her. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, they bit him. I'm like, that's a problem. They just like, I'm gonna have to lock you up in this house because you still didn't do nothing. But when you turn, then you kind of my enemy ish, you know. But I'm gonna get to the problem. It's like, oh, did you kill the guy yet? He didn't really do nothing yet. Like, you know, it's like so it just spiraled, and he became supposed to be this hybrid, but he was ignorant of the world. So she was still there and needed to help him, you know, through the second movie when he killed the originals. But anyway, it's like he did that, but then when he outside stuff happened, when he didn't want to be part of it, they had to change storylines and all this stupid shit. But, you're right.
Well, hell, I mean, even the concept of like the first movies before, everything went pocket. Like it was like he was the hybrid. He was basically like
sorry
being
hybrid.
presented to become this crazy OP character. That's
Yeah.
like the
Which
best of
I
both
like that.
worlds.
I like that.
And it's like still when you watch the movie, the focus is on her.
Yeah.
It is.
And then it's like he don't know shit.
And he
it's-
still, even with all his strength, he was new, and he was fighting somebody that was experienced.
Yeah.
He was losing, and she had to cut this nigga head off. And like, ooh, I had to make a decision to cut somebody that turned me and was my mentor,
And
or
I
to save this.
trusted and respected this new guy.
For this
And
new
it's like
guy.
simply because I just feel strongly.
If you
that
even
this some bullshit.
psychologically register that, like, I know this man for hundreds of years, and I'm gonna have to kill him
he
for a
been
nigga
treating-
I knew for this weekend
And he been treating me like a daughter because I look like his past daughter.
that he murdered,
It's crazy.
which I find about later. But you know, I'm like, this shit is ridiculous.
And an equally good third movie.
Yeah, it was a good first movie, good second movie. Especially the second movie to me really dove into the story, which made it really good. And the third movie was the prequel, which was good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so
I'll kill you. I love that scene. I just love
Yeah.
that scene.
yeah.
Hell, I saw that movie before I saw Underworld.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
you
I was
ruined
like,
it.
I was like, well, I
You
gotta see
ruined it.
Underworld.
Completely
I
ruined
mean, they
it.
kill him in the first movie.
They
and I
do
was
kill him in
like,
the first
oh.
movie. That's what I'm saying. You ruined it. You're ruined for yourself. Like, oh no, they killed
I
Lucian.
was like, this guy's amazing. And
He was
like,
amazing.
I did it. Knew it. I made a freak. Shoot me quick.
All right, that's crazy, but that's rare and far in between. Like,
Yeah.
I got that. I had that movie. I like those three. I watched all of them because I do that. But the first three definitely I love. I like Ultraviolet,
Okay.
the cinematography of it and the pacing. It's gold. Like you can literally turn this mess mute and you can feel the beats of how they go into the places. Like talk, things that happen, move, action, move. It's like it's
Not you say that. Kill Bill. That's one.
Kill Bill, right?
Kill Bill.
Right. So like,
Yeah.
and she had really
Beatrix Kiddo.
literally her main interest was Kill Bill, which the whole story really evolved about this guy, but it was about her killing that guy. You know, so even those are like very far in between.
Yeah.
Like usually it's the same motif. Most likely, they're kind of got to be like this loner-ish woman,
That's
blah blah
true,
blah.
yeah.
You know, but which is fine.
But it's like, but it's the
Which is
same.
fine
But it's
for
the
me.
same for the men characters.
That's
You got
also
the
true. He's-
dirty
most
the
of the time
dirty
he's a
hairy
loner.
the dirty
A lot
hairy
of-
characters. Rocky was a loner.
Well, he
Empire that
had,
built up. He had
um,
Adrian, but he
yeah.
was abusive and he was damn near retarded.
That's funny.
It was
all
in the
funny.
beginning, like he was, and then it was like the only friend that he got was a black guy that was then murdered.
Yeah.
And then he was just out of strut, and then most of the people that he trusted and he loved started dying as the movies kept going.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like and
Old
then
age, man. What
Rocky
you
was
gonna
always
Old
just
age.
about that box. I gotta keep trying. Man. Well, and then you have like some of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. My favorite one, Commando, is my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. He's a single father, and his daughter get kidnapped, and he just does dope shit. And it was like all in the while hurrying up to save his
That was
daughter.
Taken before Taken?
Yeah, and it's better because essentially he tracks down his daughter, but the scaling of it was a hell of a lot better because essentially they kidnapped his daughter because Arnold Schwarzenegger was just that type of soldier, and they needed him to kill the president of another country, so then the dude who they annexed out that country should become the leader again. Yeah, so he's like, I want to send you to go kill the guy that you helped the government put in power over me, and until you do that, I won't return your daughter. And so then they wait until Arnold Schwarzenegger gets on the plane and everything. Arnold Schwarzenegger counts down the time in which the plane will land in the other country, kills the guy that's guarding him on the plane, escapes from the plane, and then spends the rest of that time trying to find his daughter before they get noticed that he's not in that country.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the greatest. Always say definitely watch the director's cut. Hell of a lot more violence. It's like you see him
I
kill
just
a
watched the
hell of
clip
a-
when he just killed a guy on the plane. Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
He sits there and he
He,
tells
like,
her just to
hit-
see,
he-
and he hits him, then he puts his arm over his
It
neck and
snaps his
snaps
neck.
it. I have this movie.
And
I
put
love
a
this movie.
blanket on him and a hat.
And
I'm
he-
like, this
then
is
he
awful.
then he tells the stewardess, my friend's really tired. Don't wake him for the rest of the trip. And then as soon as they land, the dude turns over and you just see this gray dead dude. And they be like, ah! And it is an amazing movie.
1985. That's before my time.
He had no friends by himself. The only thing that he does is that he gets this black lady to try and help him. And basically, he be trying to explain his situation to her. And then she, like an actual logical person, finds a cop to tell them that Arnold Schwarzenegger's after me. It was like, this guy got a gun. He's telling me this crazy story. He kidnapped me and he brought me here saying he chased some guy. And then the dude that sees him, and then because it's before cell phones, the dude's like, give me a quarter. Oh, God, it's him. So he has to go call his boss and be like, Arnold Schwarzenegger not on the plane. And so then he's trying to stop him from getting to the phone. Amazing movie. Really good movie.
Okay.
But a movie that I looked at, and it was like everything that he was doing was just under justification of, I'm getting my daughter. I don't care what happens. I don't care what I'm doing. Hell, he tells a guy in the movie, he go, I'm going to kill you last. And like, he was like, hey, but hurry up before something happened to your daughter. I'm going to kill you last. And then the guy looked like, yo, he joking, right? And then that's the same guy he tracked down, and then he be like, remember when I said I'll kill you last? He said, yeah, you said that. I lied. Amazing line. But just those movies, all like essentially all those fit, like they fit certain check boxes.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like now movies are trying to fit other check boxes that are more so about equality or proving something and whatnot.
Because that matters now.
Yeah, it does.
Like back in the
But
day,
like-
back in the day, like blowing stuff up and getting what's
But that's just
coming
it.
to
It's like,
somebody
who
mattered.
exactly doesn't matter too, because when they keep
It
hitting
matters
those,
to me. I
but it's
matter.
like, when like those check boxes get hit, and then people don't come watch the movies, what is happening? Because
People
it
watch
seems like
movies.
They're missing out on the whole aspect of why people enjoy these movies in the first place. Where even if you put a female character within the male character's role, why people still wouldn't fall in love with it? Because we just proved that there's plenty of female characters. That
I won't say
people like.
plenty. We like name like less than 10.
I mean, there's,
We
it's-
did.
it's a
We
bunch
didn't.
of
We don't have a
characters.
list ready.
We
Yeah.
don't have a list ready, but
But it's like
list-
it's enough. But I mean, like, at the same
plenty
time,
is a stretch.
Just because there's a
we
bunch
named
of,
some.
but I'm saying, but even though there's like a bunch of male characters,
Of course.
that exist, that don't mean all of them are good or
No.
remembered
Yes,
or anything
without a
like
doubt.
that.
Right.
Without a doubt.
You know, there's like hell, Harrison Ford on The Fugitive. I like that movie.
I like
I don't
Fugitive.
remember his name, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
I
that
don't
movie. But it's like just
It was Harrison Ford and the other old guy, right? The other white guy.
Mm,
Tommy
no,
Lee
it's
Jones,
just,
right? I thought it was,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the one.
Tommy
yeah.
Jones
He was the
chasing-
cop, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
chasing.
Yeah, seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like they made a sequel.
Mission
which is
Impossible
just,
was a movie.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible.
You know,
I don't hate those.
I don't
think
hate
they're
those.
okay to me.
The first one would that
course, that
run
first one
that
was
long run scene during the city. I'm like, someone catch you guys.
Oh.
It lasted like gotta be 10 minutes. I'm
Tom
like,
Cruise
this
can run his ass off.
It was
'Cause
like-
the last movie when he goes after Superman, That's my favorite scene in the whole damn movie. And it's the part where he's under the bridge and he's just booking it. And I was like,
No.
he's not normal.
Not even the last one. The one before that, when he jumped on that plane on the outside and it flew off.
That he wanted to do.
That
live.
was him.
Yeah.
Right.
I seen like they did the back scenes by
I saw
like they
that.
had like green screen stuff on the plane, but like literally that was him hanging on a plane. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're dumb. This is what.
The stunt man, Jackie Chan to do it.
He did. And
Remember
did
he
the
broke
same-
his ankle
Yeah,
when he ran
broke-
on. He literally someone was in the like what in the window like when he ran and he like tripped a little bit. No, that he really hit his ankle, broke his ankle.
And he still held on to
Yeah,
the
he's
plane. That's why we
No, not even on the plane. I'm talking about when he's running over those buildings.
Oh, okay,
In,
yeah.
in the desert shit.
Yeah.
He literally broke his ankle. I'm like,
What damn, what is it? Rumble in the Bronx, the Jackie Chan movie.
well, that's different.
yeah.
Jackie Chan. It's Jackie Chan.
That's not different.
We're not talking
But
about
again,
a martial artist.
I mean, even those
who
characters.
has to hire his own stunt team around him? Like, we're not talking about
because how crazy his ass
Man,
is.
Jackie Chan, though, but
It's
They
Jackie
call
Chan.
him brother and everything. It was like this motherfucker. Insane.
I remember that what movie was when he was fighting that Taekwondo dude in some facility where he fell on coals.
he's talking about Drunken Master.
Joe Drunken Master.
One of my
Bro.
favorites.
Real coals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
They really
On
went
fire.
when he really had to get off. They really had to stop, cut,
Yeah,
and
and then-
bat this nigga down.
Spray his ass and everything.
He-
and then it
when
was
he
like,
really
that's
fell-
a pause for the filming. And then it was like, I'm hot. But he did that.
They did
his
that-
most,
they
his
did
most
that
dangerous
slow-mo.
stunt is on one of his police story movies, and it's when he jumps and slides down a pole, and there's like a bunch of electrical lights and wires, and he's sliding down, and you see those things exploding.
Yeah.
and like fire.
Uh-huh.
That's his most dangerous stunt. He says that's the stunt that scared him the most out of everything he's ever done.
Don't do it.
Yeah, and it's like he did it. He was going through glass, lights, and everything, and just sliding and falling.
Cause
And
that was
it's
that was
like-
when he slid on the damn building.
Yeah.
Like he slid down. I remember that. Yeah.
I can't tell you what the hell that movie about. I was like, but I know what that damn stunt is.
I was like, he slid on glass. Like it was like, wow, this is a watch. Like this is really him doing this. What? Yeah, but he's a different breed. That's a different breed of human. That's why when people go, you did like pull the meme up when it's like everybody with their stunt person
Oh,
he's
yeah.
by himself. That's why you do that. 'cause
He's Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan.
But it's like, but I mean, like, even how, like, as many Jackie Chan movies as there are out there, my most favorite is Rush Hour.
Really?
Well,
My most
You're
favorite
American.
Jackie Chan movie is Rush Hour.
you're American.
I mean, if I was to go in terms of like, I want to sit down and look at Jackie Chan, is Rush Hour.
Why-
If
why-
you
why
go-
Rush Hour?
If you go, because I like Rush Hour.
like Rush Hour too.
I
Why?
remember the not Rush Hour 2. Yeah,
Rush Hour
Rush
2
Hour
over
2.
one?
Yeah.
Over one.
Over one?
Yes. Because they
It was
knew
more
each other,
comedic.
Because they knew each other and it was more comedic. That's
Okay,
true.
okay.
But it's like,
And you're a funny guy.
And
Yeah, that speaks to
I
your personality.
remember,
Speak to his personality. Like
I remember so much
team.
about that damn movie. But if I was to sit down and go like,
Like,
what's my
one is
favorite
better.
martial art movie with Jackie Chan, then I fall into that realm of essentially when it asks, like when asking you, Kevin, like, what's your favorite movie?
Oh,
And
right,
it's like
right.
there's so much stuff that I emulate and pick up from Jackie Chan doing stuff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people like Drunken Master among anything. when
I
it
like the
comes to
earlier
martial arts
thing
stuff.
he
I
did
do
too.
when he was
Who am I? I like Who Am I?
I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
I love
Rumble
Who
in
Am
the
I.
Bronx.
I don't know if it's Who Am I, but no, it's not Who Am I. It's like he was I don't know what he was, but he wore white all the time. He had a Mitsubishi. And some girl was getting kidnapped. He was trying to help her, and right. Let's go say something. But this was early when his uncle was directing his stuff. Like this was early on, like because he I remember I can bring up a fight saying
Was it the touch?
Jackie Chan boxing.
Oh, we said earlier.
Is that
Spicy.
Meals on Wheels?
Yeah, it's either Mills on Wheels or what's that one where he's
Yeah, it's gorgeous. No, it's called
gorgeous? Okay,
Yep.
that's the movie where
Yep,
he just
yep,
fights
yep,
that
yep.
dude.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
they hit
yeah,
each
yeah.
other, and they both of them go cross-eyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that was a good movie. That was like a genuinely good movie. That's the first time I seen the Asian chick with the chin, and she
Yeah,
has
I
a
know.
distinct chin. She was in my wife's a gangster.
I know,
3?
I know who.
My Wife's
I know who
Against the
she
3?
is.
Right.
She's in a bunch of movies.
She's in a bunch
Yeah,
of
she's in
movies.
a bunch
But
of
that's
movies.
the earliest
Yeah.
when I seen it. It was like was in 1999. I was like that was the earliest I seen her. And yeah.
That was
a good
like I mean, hell, one of my favorite things with Jackie Chan martial art wise is Fearless Hyena, and that's one of his early.
Is that the one I got where he learned all the different styles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do the 4 different ones,
Yeah,
and it's like
okay.
they're based off different emotions and everything.
Oh.
And I like the fighting styles that he do throughout that movie when he was like pretending to be a master, beating up people and whatnot, and he would just come out doing different stuff. And it's like even how's he approaching how to fight people, like and then like the bad dubbing from back in the day, and so it was like, and it was like
It's so
Chinese
weird
people
hearing
talk
his
like that.
right. It's so weird hearing his dubbing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Her chin looks normal.
Let me see.
No, you got to see her talk, like a flake. Her
Yeah,
chin,
but-
her chin like bone is like
You gotta
different
see
from her
the
chin.
puppet move.
Yeah.
If you want to know how the puppet works.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and then if I go towards Jet Li, my favorite
Unleashed.
distinctive,
Unleashed, right?
my favorite distinctive Jet Li movie is the one.
Yeah.
But my
Yeah.
favorite movie of all time, martial art wise, is The Evil Cult, and the main character of that is Jet Li.
Mm-hmm.
The Evil Cult. He was born unable to do martial arts. His mother and his father killed themselves in order to save him. Wow. And then he basically. I have that movie. I love that movie.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you watch that
Yeah,
movie.
that's right.
It's one of my favorite. I believe you've seen it because they do a bunch of like magical power stuff at some point.
Maybe.
Yeah, and it's one of the early things I've ever seen that instilled that in martial art films, and that's why I liked it the most.
The
And
favorite film of mine is I think Hero, and
Really?
the favorite film,
Hero
yeah,
was good.
Film
wise was good.
base. But the
they
favorite
didn't need to
martial
stay there
arts.
for that damn arrows thing. I always hate that part when they just stand there, and I was like, I get it, but whatever. It's like run.
But and his favorite martial art movie was is either Unleashed. I like Unleashed and how the style was,
Yes,
but
same
it's more I'm going a blank. God damn it! It's
You look like the one type of guy.
not one. It was early. Is the earliest stuff. You know. Is he
Didn't
was.
do a lot of the ones
Oh
when
no
he
no
was,
not early stuff. His latest stuff. When he got poisoned to death. When he got poisoned to death.
Fearless.
Yeah. I like Fearless.
Yeah.
Fearless. I like
When
that.
he was
Oh,
portraying
yeah.
the
Right,
life
right,
of the master.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But it just
Fearless
like
was really well filmed as well.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. Huh.
Wait, Jackie Chan was in Fearless?
No, we
Jet
jumped
Li.
to a whole nother Asian, sir.
Yeah. Jelly.
I didn't hear Jet Li.
Yeah,
I thought it was
Jet Li.
Fearless, and I was like, wait.
and one of the things I loved about Unleashed was how that movie is so raw. That's
is.
what I
That's why
liked
I
about
like it.
Unleashed. It's so raw. When those people be fighting at the store and he's just tapping the melon,
Yeah.
and right, and then it's like he don't care. And then it's like unless that collar come on, he ain't doing the goddamn thing. And it's like that's so raw. and then the guy who was the British dude,
He didn't win nothing.
He didn't win nothing.
Ooh, white people so racist. I
such an
just can't. I
amazing
can't
actor.
stand y'all.
I hate how good of an actor he was. And then
He's
he
still
was
done stuff.
dead.
He
did?
did.
He's dead.
Jackie Chan, Jet Li's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
dead.
Jet
And then
Li.
the
Oh,
Jelly's
what-
the white guy.
The white guy.
Who white guy?
The British dude who had him under control, that had the collar around him.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
The one who,
Yeah,
the one
he's
he
dead.
played
I've seen him
Mario.
in things,
He
yep.
played Mario in the
In the
Mario
Mario, yep.
Brothers movie.
What?
He was
He played Mario.
yeah in the
The
Mario
one
Brothers
with
movie.
John Leguizamo?
Maybe
The
I don't know
one
what
that
white
people
man.
don't-
Nigga, you never seen Mario Brothers? Nigga,
No,
this
Jaymin.
is totally different from Surfing. This is totally different from Surfing. This is the Mario Brothers.
Hold on.
This movie is notorious for being one of the worst video game adaptation movies of all time. But damn it, if I don't like
Mario.
it, the Mario Brothers movies.
You never seen Mario, bro? Oh, he pulled it up. I was trying to get the white guy.
I'm trying to get the white guy. Mario main character.
Mario.
No,
Wrong-
put the
wrong.
Mario Brothers
Bob
movie.
Hoskins?
Mario
His
Brothers.
name is Bob
movie.
Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins. I didn't know he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
He died in 2014. Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, I know who he is. He was in Unleashed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
he's
the one who
white
had
guy
the
with
collar.
chain. Yeah.
He's the main dude.
With the collar.
He's Eddie Valiant on Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, he's Roger
Yeah.
Rabbit.
Yeah. I'm not. I was like, you right?
And
That's-
he was one of the Lost Boys in Captain Hook.
No, he was Smee.
Or Smee. that's
Yeah,
what
he
it
was Smee in on the Hook.
He was one of the pirates.
Yeah, he was
Okay, okay.
the Captain Hook's right
Yeah,
hand
yeah,
man.
I
Smee.
felt like it. Yeah.
He said that Dustin Hoffman put the gun to his head. He was like, without Peter, he said, I'm just
Damn, he
kill
got
myself. He said, don't stop me,
2014?
Smee. Don't stop. Smee, stop me. He said, get your ass up and stop me. He was like, I got a gun to my head. What is wrong with you?
Wow.
And then he was like, oh, what about Smee? What about Smee? Smee's me. What about me? And then he was like, what about Smee? What's Smee gonna do with me?
He was in Super Mario.
he was like such an amazing actor.
Captain Hook.
And it was like,
A lot of stuff.
yeah, and it wasn't until after
Mermaid.
he passed that I was like, damn, he was in that, and then like it didn't register, and then like that. And
Enemy of the State.
hell, his character in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is such.
It was so
that's one of my
iconic.
favorite movies of all time. That's one of my favorites. It's like if I had favorites, that's up there. But
And what was the other one that Brad Pitt was in? Was Brad Pitt in the other one?
Who?
The one that was earlier than that.
Yeah, with the sexy and
Cool World.
Cool World. Yeah.
That was the opposition.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
That was when Brad Pitt was younger.
Yeah.
Was Brad Pitt was in it?
Yeah, he was the main
He was
character.
the main dude.
Oh,
he was.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
died. He was like a cop that died.
No, I'm thinking about the other one where it had that detective dude.
That was Brad Pitt.
That was Brad Pitt.
That was Cool
We're
World.
talking about with the half naked chick. She was hella aggressive.
And she wanted to have sex with him because she believed that if you do that, then you could become real
Yeah.
and then go to the real world. That was Brad Pitt.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was Cool World.
Oh, Balto. He was in fucking Balto.
Balto's a good movie,
That was a
boy.
good goddamn movie.
That was a
He
good
was the-
movie.
Boy,
was the,
trying to save them kids.
He was the uncle. Damn.
Bruh.
The goose or whatever he was.
Yeah.
That new Balto. Ah, I can hear
Damn.
the
Oh, wow, that was him.
Yeah,
huh?
I can hear the voice now. Jesus Christ. See, that makes you upset. It's like
I know
you-
we're talking about older movies, but I mean, still, daggone, what is it? Milo? Something in Company. What's that one with the cat and the dog? Nope, Something in Company.
Otis and Milo.
Oliver and Company.
Oliver and Company. Yep.
Oliver and the animated movie?
Yeah, I like that one.
Oh.
No, but I feel like it's not
Oh.
talked about.
Yeah. I think because I think you're in a I think they're in a competition with All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah, that was the animated movie that Disney released that lost.
Yeah.
Because normally Disney always got the Academy Award every year whenever they release a
That
movie.
was better
But
than the other one to me.
Dogs Go to Heaven?
Yes, to me.
You're high. And it was a good. And I'm an anime. And
I know,
shit was
I know.
beautiful, but
I know.
oh no,
To me.
Hallelujah! 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 Hallelujah!
like that.
Let the music last forever.
Man.
Hey,
Come on,
just-
Kevin.
I'm just saying
All
which was
Dogs Go to
better. I didn't say I didn't like it. I didn't say it wasn't good.
Right.
It's just not better than
In
Oliver's and
comparison,
Company.
I mean, everything
course I
about
like that.
everything about Oliver and Company
I
is
like
like
Fox
it's
and the
yes.
Hound more.
Yeah.
You
but
get
Fox and the Hound is just-
Cheech to play a goddamn Chihuahua.
Aristocrat.
Yeah, that's racist, but it works.
Fox and the Hound? Boy, that was that.
What?
Fox and the Hound?
Fox and the Hound.
Yeah, nigga.
Is that
What? Right here.
I'm a hound dog.
Fox and the Hound?
How do you not know?
That right there.
That's a perfect,
Oh yeah.
that's a perfect movie that establishes the whole differences on like
Yeah.
your upbringing and what you're supposed to do and
Yeah.
friendships and whatnot. It's like
Yeah.
that was a wonderful way of tackling racism without showing racism.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like,
That
well,
right there,
technically it
boy.
was racism, but just you don't need white people and black people to do it. Just need some animals.
Zootopia was a real racism.
I mean,
That
Zootopia
in
was
your
definitely.
face. It was like in your face telling
mean-
you this means racism.
I mean, that's how.
Carnivores
That's how.
are you could pick.
That's
Yeah, carnivores are black people and herbivores are white people. Because the white rabbit almost pulled the
Yeah,
piece
yeah, you
on
better
the
back
fox.
your-
Because all he
your
did was
fox
just
ass.
show some.
Arr,
All he did
like-
was show some teeth. And so she reached for the piece.
Well, I would blast
He
your
was
ass,
like-
back your ass up,
and he
nigga.
was like, "Now look at that. All we done been through. I done saved your life from a butt naked panther.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
we done did all this shit, and you gonna pull on me? Come on now.
Pop your ass, you gonna back your ass up. Like, hey, she had those tendencies for her family taught her. Like, it was,
like, well-
it wasn't nature. It was well,
It was nature.
was
it, they
nature. It was
no, they was nurtured that was their nature
Yeah.
because they held their passion like they're wild animals. But we all wearing clothes now, but they're wild animals. Watch your back. And then she literally was taught this, watch your back. Bullied by a fucking foster when she was a child. Watch your back. so like you did some sketchy shit, nigga. I'ma blast your ass. Nigga, send you to a great beyond, motherfucker. Like, fuck you talking about, nigga.
You to the great
All
beyond.
foxes go to heaven.
Not you. They gonna think you a cat, nigga. You going to hell.
That's crazy.
But like Oliver and Company, like again, Cheech is a Chihuahua. His favorite part of the whole damn movie.
Oh, yeah, he
He's
was.
like, hey,
Chihuahua.
Dodger man. He was like, what we gonna do with this new gato, man? Come on.
Yeah.
And
The movie was
then
good.
he wanted to fuck the poodle. And I was like, and he was like, hey, I'll catch up with you guys later. And he ran away because he wanted to take a bath. It was like, he want to get clean.
Right. That's all he had to do
Yeah,
too.
that's all
Because
he
she
had to do.
wanted. She was like,
And
"Hey,
he was wearing a sailor suit. He was like, hey, man, she was like, I got to get out of here. But
But yeah, I remember the movie Homebound.
Homeward Bound.
Homeward Bound
which one was that?"
with the real animals.
Michael J. Fox played a pit bull. Some white dude played a golden retriever, and some chick
I
played a
don't know.
cat.
Yeah.
And that movie is
Mwah.
amazing.
Man, literally
they
amazing.
didn't make not one. They made two, and two is in the city, and one is in the forest.
Right.
And God damn it, I enjoyed both of them. The youngest son got the pit bull. The oldest son got the golden retriever, and the girl who's in the middle had the cat. and none of them got along, but they had to in order to get the fuck home. And they met a giant mountain lion. A porcupine hit the pit bull in the face. Yeah. That movie is great. And it just, the oldest boy just, and it was like, come on. like the family, like, it's a dog. And but it's like, all the kids are like, and then they like, damn, we probably should like do more stuff with our kids. Because it's like, they were like super dependent on these animals. And then it was like, and then with the golden retriever, it was even worse because it was like how old he was supposed to be.
He ain't gonna make it.
Anytime.
Right. I was like, wow. They really forgot their pets and shit. It was like, well, shit happens. Parents in these movies be like, ugh.
It was like, why would the animals like find how they find them? And it was like they moved
across states.
Like,
not across state, but like across the country. Yeah. Like they weren't in the same state no more. Like I was like, these.
It was like, and they went and freaking found them. And this happened not once, but twice. And it's great movies. Great movies. It was to watch.
And then I remember it was a while ago because I had the VHS Otis and Otis and Milo was Otis and Milo.
Otis? Was that it?
That's a cat and a dog too, right?
Cat and dog. Yeah. Okay. Milo and Otis. Okay, really? The Adventures of Milo and Otis is a 1989 movie directed by. Boy, I'm telling you. You need to watch this movie.
But I believe that movie is known
I like
for
A Dog's Purpose. That right there.
Yeah, but boy. I believe like that movie is known for like the dog in that movie. Like they went through like 9 of them because they kept dying.
I mean, pugs. Yeah. Like first of all, breeding pugs is disgusting. These niggas can't breathe. Like y'all are literally like we want to smash face in an animal. I'm like y'all are awful. White people in breeding are the worst thing ever. Like y'all talking about PETA, like bro, like everybody wants scream PETA, but y'all still breed them animals though. I'm like that's so wild. Like why do these animals exist? Because we want them. What? Like that is so wild. Right.
Ligers are a fantasy. They're supposed to be a fantasy.
Man.
And they went, we're gonna make this tiger and this lion
fuck. Right.
It was like,
oh, wow.
And it was like, yeah, they're born and they can't have kids. Huh, that's weird. And it was like, no, it's not. God didn't want them. And it was like, that's why they're like that.
That's why they like that.
We're going to figure out a way to do it somehow. And it was like, they grow like 11 feet long.
Right.
And it was like, those things are monsters. And nah, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We just like breeding stuff, making stuff up. Oh, and then now they're cloning and trying to get back animals. Like, first of all, y'all gonna mess around and clone something that got ultimate chlamydia, and we all gonna die because one of y'all nasty white people gonna try to fuck one. So like, I'm not with the shits.
Mean, it's either they clone a person and fuck it,
or
they make a robot.
They clone people. Cost around like $11 million.
I mean, like pocket pussies are already real. You stick that on a robot that can walk and talk and do stuff, and it's like, hey, females got to fight for something. And it's like, then it's gonna be a real gender war.
I don't think females have to fight for them. Like people who want to have a real physical connection with.
Really ain't got to put up with women bullshit, which is a lot of factors in which keeps women like a lot of women.
I know what you want to do.
Yeah,
I just.
Well, I'm just saying that's a game changer.
In, breathe out.
That's gonna be a huge game changer.
Again, me and Kevin are talk stuff like this, but like a lot of those relationships you're talking about are not really good relationships to begin with. So they'll just cut that out.
Yeah.
Who cares?
But no, but
what?
that is the point. Though.
That's
what
the point.
Like, if all that dude wants to do is fuck.
Right.
And it's like the fact that he's in a relationship is just so we can fuck.
A byproduct, right.
It's just so we can fuck. But it's
I
like
agree.
now I have an object that I could just fuck.
I'm with you.
Right. That's
We're all on the same train. You just on different cars, my nigga.
Right, that's it. It's just at the head of this card is the fact that he didn't want a relationship anyway.
Right.
He's in it so he can get something out of it, which is some box.
Yeah.
And to your point, which is the point that we already established, is that, well, hell, then get something that's not a real person and you'll be happy, and that's what it is. What he's saying that it's not going to affect too much because those who want a real relationship will still have a real relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So nothing. No, women don't have to fight for anything.
Right. We're getting to that same point. Like they don't have to fight. The people who want to be in a relationship, they're gonna be in it. The people who are faking it. Yes, it's gonna be a whole bunch of breakups, but those weren't real. They might not have known it.
Yeah.
And that's the only
for
point.
2 years.
No,
Like,
that
nigga didn't know your middle name. He didn't like you. Like, and there's a lot of ladies out here that really be dating people that don't like them.
That's a goddamn Jay-Z song. I'm talking about like taking a woman all over the world and everything, and then he go, "What's your name?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "That was Beyonce." I was like, her name was hard to pronounce because I didn't know it when Destiny Child was over it. I was just like, the main bitch from Destiny Child. Come on.
No. They seem like a trap. I'm not getting on board with you, guy.
What's your name?
I'm getting off this one.
It was a goddamn hit.
It was a hit.
Yeah.
And he made another song called "I Got Girl," and then he married then he cheated. And if Beyonce keep making albums, I go, please stop cheating on me.
it was a one thing. I think it was
More
a
albums,
one-time
more like
thing.
if I find you, I'ma kill you. It's so like
pretty much what it
that's more of a thing than he stopped going out. He's like I see.
Well, you making more money.
That's why that's why
so when he go out now-
Solange beat him up in the elevator. And that's why she just sit there and just watch him on slime beat up.
Now he had a spider on him. She was trying to get it off.
You got that spider.
Oh, it's in my face.
I was like, man, and it's funny because like back when they earlier like though like they were like they're sisters. They're like they're not like oh that's my no they like you talking about sister I'm slip my beat your ass. I was like in the interviews like they be like oh yeah but that's my sister and I love her. So like and then like that's the end of the conversation like so what about do you feel bad that you hit albums like oh no that's my sister Beyonce and I love her. Like, look at you like, bitch, don't ask me no fucking question. I was like, y'all niggas are really from Houston. Like, this is no joke. So, I thought that was funny when, because I remember when she got quite a fight, like, what happened? Everyone was trying to figure out what happened in the fucking, the Becky with good hair, like, so you cheated on Beyonce. She told her sister, obviously, and she beat your ass in the elevator. Like, this is embarrassing.
But, I mean, what could he do?
Right. Like,
He touched her.
what?
That's fitted to life.
I mean, and yeah,
Maybe.
that's weird. Like, that's weird. Like,
What's weird?
we're gonna beat up Solange. Like, it's like, yes, I beat her. I fucking fucked that other chick.
I mean, if a woman,
Did you not see her attack me? Yes, she attacked you.
Right.
So when I hit her back, right, that's wrong. But she was attacking me.
I mean, but
right.
that's the
mean,
that's the problem.
I mean,
it's
she
not
shouldn't
a-
have put her
the
hands
first-
on him.
No, first of all, it's a conundrum only because they didn't establish anything.
What do you
Me,
mean established?
don't put your hands on me.
Oh,
Any
you're
sort
right.
of
Yeah,
senses,
you're right.
I will
Yep.
kick you in the face. Ha 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 ha. That is not a joke. My face is not laughing.
Right.
He was like, yeah, I did do what I do. I can't believe you did it. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, true.
There was no established like,
And
don't
that's
you
the point.
motherfucker put your hands
Do
on
it
me.
again.
Yeah.
What could he do?
If
Even
established-
that was established to
But I
this
mean,
point,
even if it's not established, you don't go and hit somebody randomly.
this is true. This is true. But he's just saying, in his sense,
Woo! Randomly on the street, somebody thought they were crazy. I'm like, don't do that again. I'm gonna put you on the girl ass.
See, but you're talking to
established.
I'm saying if a motherfucker if somebody just walked up and knocked your ass in the face, like off rip,
I get knocked out.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go sleep.
That just happened.
Jimmy just be taking a nap. That's all.
That just happened. But if you
Put some pillows in the cover on my nigga.
But if you happen to
you,
have ovaries when that happened, that's a goddamn national tragedy.
I mean-
what the hell did this woman do to deserve to get knocked in the face by this crazy person? But if you was a dude, you just got knocked the fuck out.
If you saying if it was completely reversed, like Beyonce cheated on JC and like
I mean, it's
and
not-
Jay Z
listen,
brother was like,
But
you
it was-
motherfucker.
Yeah. Like, he has every right because that's a full grown man to fight back. But as long as that double standard exists, it exists.
I mean, only reason it exists because of muscle density.
I mean, it's just, but I'm saying, like, it's not that. That's the
That's
reason why.
no.
it
Hear
exists.
what I said. Only reason that exists because of muscle density. Because if you are a person of UFC standard and or 6 foot, if you 6'2" or more, you hit me. We full fighting. I don't care. I don't care if it's also grocery bag.
Boy, what's the dude that beat up his wife on the elevator?
But again,
stabbing your ass.
just on a
What's
just on
the,
a social standard, you don't hit people like that unless you
shouldn't.
feel.
Well, you don't
that
hit
there-
anybody.
But
But unless you feel that there's some type of security or cushion that
Yeah.
you got behind you that keeps you safe in that situation.
That's right.
Because Lord knows that if they did not have cameras, security, or any other thing that would be able to sit there and justify or prove that, yeah, Jay-Z might have put hands back on her after she was hitting
probably
him,
did.
she probably wouldn't have started attacking him.
but what's the
I
dude
don't
who
know.
beat up his wife
Maybe
on the
to his
elevator?
point, I think she might have been cut like that, and she would try anybody.
Yeah. Solange is that's a
She
whole
is,
different. That's a
but
whole
why
different
did
one.
she not do something until they got into an elevator?
We don't know what happened.
We don't know.
Exactly.
They were
But
both
I'm
drunk.
saying- but
I
again-
believe. Yeah.
And
But
then
it's like
probably was a buildup. That might
Yeah,
have
I
been
know. They're probably
And
like
that's-
conversating and talking the whole night, and she
And that's
just
probably why they was
snapped
leaving.
and whatnot.
That's probably why they were leaving
Yeah.
because of this shit.
Probably
So-
You cheating, motherfucker! The
But
Rock.
y'all
Like,
remember?
well, she's not saying anything. Why you talking?
Well,
about
Beyonce was drunk in the corner.
Y'all
And she
remember
know-
the
When you
dude-
know a sibling is on some other shit, you don't. You literally like.
But that's your husband, though.
Right.
So
When you know your siblings on some other
That
shit,
doesn't excuse that. Still your
I just feel
husband.
like
regardless of what the
feel like
like,
that's her husband.
Hey, stop. This is.
but by all means, because of the fact that like, yeah, that's my wife, and it's like, yeah, you don't need to get your baby sister off of me. It's like, what we got going on is what we got going on. You don't need to intervene with this. If you feel that you want to stop her, that's fine.
Right.
But if you're sitting there going like, no, don't hurt him. Like, the fuck? I'll knock her ass out right now, take you upstairs and fuck the shit out of you, girl. It's like, what's wrong with you?
That's
Assert my dominance.
right, certainly dominance. But I don't think it has anything dominant. I just think like.
Well, what's the
he,
dude
you know,
who beat up his wife on the elevator?
Ray Rice?
Yeah.
But he
No,
did
not
it
Ray
so.
Rice. Jerry Rice?
Some Rice.
It's one of them
It
Rice
just,
people.
First of all, she was that big. First of all, she was that big, and he was drunk, I think. And
But she
Are you
put her- but she
justifying
put her
it?
hands on him.
Huh?
Are you justifying
She kicked him.
Yeah, it's like she
But
put
my
her
thing
hands
is
on
like,
him.
that's like
I think she spit
she's.
on him.
It's just like almost like a martial art. It's like when you at a level where it's like
Certain things are
anybody can
reflexes.
get it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
anybody can.
Exactly.
Like I can get mob jump. I'm gonna put everybody down, and I'm like a bad guy, regardless of girl, female, whatever. It's like when you at a certain level, you have to just be cautious of yourself. And he
It's
wasn't
challenging.
cautious.
He's a goddamn athlete. So he spends all his time training.
Like,
and
he's a-
lifting
They have
football.
they generally
Yeah,
have
they do
anger
have-
issues.
yeah, they have
I know,
issues.
You know, so my thing is like all that compiles to like that's why everybody says bad, not because it's like yeah you shouldn't be hitting ladies because again body mass. My thing is body mass, not of like they're ladies with their ovaries. It's like it's
But
more
that's the societal
I mean,
look
because-
towards it and everything.
yeah because again
Yeah.
we're 2 generations back. Like they didn't have rights.
Yeah.
They were just in the house, literally. Stay in the kitchen, not a funny thing. That was a thing they were forced to do. that's
Sean
only
Connery
tuning. That's
on Sean Connery live on air.
Right.
Said, and when my wife get out of hand, I smack her around once in a while.
And
And,
it's
everybody
like-
was like, Sean Connery beats his wife, and it was like, ain't not a goddamn
Yeah.
thing anyone can do about it. It was like, wow.
This was, and it's like
Sean Connery.
and it's literally like 2 generations back. And it's not. This is not no great grandma. This is literally happened. So it's like, yes, they didn't have any rights. So like, only people who like you don't hit your wife in public because the damn she can't do shit. Like she literally had no legal option.
Yeah.
So,
but
yeah.
now they have
This
legal
is-
recourse. And
But we still
there's more rights. And
we're still in
things
the
like
mind
that.
frame because
But-
our parents raised us and their parents raised them. Like we're not 4 generations out of like. You don't know how to
Yeah, no,
farm.
it-
You don't know how to
you
farm
progress-
crop.
you progress-
but your family did at one point.
Yeah, but you progress as time.
Me and my
Yeah.
family was something else or something.
Man, yeah. I don't know if you are.
My grandparents had animals and shit like that. all-
it's cool.
all over
farm
the
crop, like I
place.
said,
Yeah.
like you know how to farm.
apparently traumatized my aunt and my uncle because they was outside playing and my granddad just like grabbed the chicken they was playing with. And they was like running around in the yard when he grabbed it, cut the goddamn head off, he chopped it, and then was like pulling off the feathers. It was like, we gonna eat this tonight. And they like, and they're like, what the fuck y'all screaming for? And they're like,
My grandma had a story like that, but she a bull got out and she had to wrestle to the ground.
A bull?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Your grandmother.
literally. Now, like you talking about, man, fuck up, like literally. like, so
and they say ain't no strong females out there.
right.
I mean, hey, there you go.
Wonder
Again,
Woman? Like,
huh?
Right.
She's a
I
lasso?
grew up in a whole matriarch, sir. Like it's a whole thing. So it's like
But it's just that mindset now of just it's not even of the rights factor. And it's like that's
Yeah.
a thing. But it's just the
But it's
simple-
like Whoopi said, don't put
simple
your hands on
idea of-
nobody.
Yeah, it's like you don't
Goes
go
both ways.
around
Yeah, don't
telling
put your hands on nobody.
or when you're talking, and be like, you can. There's words, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Right.
And it's like that person stand up and he bigger than you. It's like, hey, all right,
All right, our conversation has changed now. But
you look like
but because
you
they
can fuck me up.
because
But
they
it's
they
like, I'm
know
still mad, but
they look like because people in a relationship they push boundaries and
Yeah.
we don't set boundaries. Like everything's
True.
cool, you can say all that, you can point the fingers in my face, but you start slapping me around and I throw you and slink your ass down. Don't look at me crazy tomorrow. It's
Was,
like
Chris Rock, in like one of his early stand-up specials, he was like, "Yeah, I don't believe in hitting women, but I'll shake the shit out of you." And then he was like, he said a girl say something, she was like, "Fuck you and your mama." He's like, she like clenched up, waiting for the hit. He was like, when the hit didn't come, she just went wild. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I fucked all your friends." And then I was like, "Yeah, I was tossing silence, John." And then he was like, he said, "Y'all don't believe in hitting women, but I shake the shit out of you." He said, "What the fuck wrong with you, tossing salads?" And then he was like, "Bitch,
Right.
you crazy?"
and I'm not gonna say, but I'm not the type like, oh, I've never hit women, stuff like that. Like it was
I don't know
it was
what my button is. I
it
don't
was
know.
a TikTok thing where it's like basically they were saying, what if you saw your mama get into a fight? I'm like, and the guy was like, I'm knocking lace fronts off. Like, yeah. It's like at that point, like with
It was
somebody
a
I
one-on-one
can't,
fight?
I don't care what it is. Okay,
So your mom
If-
has a one-on-one fight.
I don't
you
care
gonna
if she's
jump
in the complete wrong. I'm gonna say you better stop because if I come over there, I'm stumping your ass out End of conversation. That is the last.
That's a one-on-one fight, my guy.
See, literally,
It's
people in the
your
comments
mo-
was like,
it's your
"Oh, that's what." I don't give a
It's your
hug.
mama, dude.
Like,
It's a one-on-one fight, baby.
Damn it! If there's
What?
a wolf in front of her, I'm just like,
No. I said if it's between
I'm telling
her and
the
another
person.
woman.
yeah, and she's
and
in
her-
the wrong.
and my
it's
mama-
like, yeah, by all means, it's your like you should have the foresight to be like, I need to get my mom out of the situation because something might pop off. But at the
Don't get me
same
wrong,
time,
but if my mom is
what he's
handling
saying,
herself-
if I go to the bathroom and some pop up, which my mama can pop off like that, so I go to the bathroom. Oh, shit's happening. get up, get off.
I like that he had to get down there. Like, they're already on the ground.
Mama, yes. Like I think I'll be on the ground doing. I'm gonna pick you up. It's like just like we gotta go. Like hey, stop.
It's over with.
I'm gonna stump her out, like, but I'm definitely gonna break it up and also hit the other person. I'm also hitting the shit out of the other
Me too.
person.
Look, it's over with.
I did.
All right?
I did.
Look, we danced.
And I'm-
dance, okay?
So you fully aware and prepared to be hit back if it does happen.
I'm prepared for her son or her husband to come out the woodwork. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like I'm fully like, you really want to do this? Cause I stab niggas. Like I'm just,
Well, you open palm.
All right, I said
I have a knife. I'm just like, I
You
have
ain't
a
never
knife
gonna
on
see
me.
it coming.
They really are.
Where is that?
They really are.
Is
Like,
it in the pocket or my sleeve?
it's like my sleeve's up a sleeve.
it's in.
I'm telling you right now, I got a knife on me. It's like I don't see it. It's like you won't be prepared. Like, I break up a coat hanger real quick, stab it dead in the throat, and pull that bitch. Like you'll be leak. Like you're going to be in the hospital. You can say, oh, you knocked him out. Like you're going to be in the hospital, so you need to be
The
careful.
after effect is like like I know for damn
So
sure.
the
Like with me,
metal
like, my
rod
mom
go
would
through your
know,
rib cage?
Like after this,
It's not
like
gonna
then
be
me and
fun.
you got
I
problems.
imagine
You caused
not.
me into this situation for you doing some dumb shit. Now we got problems.
Yeah, and I
You walk
literally had to tell my mother this. Like, listen, like it was something simple, but she was like getting a little kind of banter argument between a cashier because it was a place where you can bargain down prices.
Oh, the same place you get the carpet from?
Yeah, and he wasn't having it for whatever fucking reason. It was like, I just got all my shit like $20 down. What the fuck going? I got my shit, and then she was behind me doing it. So like, and she's like, well, I'm not gonna get it. It was like, all right, bye. And you can go then. I was like, all right. And we was leaving like, hold on. And I was literally about to go back in the store, but like somebody was pulling out towel. And he was like blocking the entrance. Like, you got is literally saying.
Go back to him and do.
Oh,
what?
I was gonna say what you didn't have to motherfucking do. Speak my motherfucking mother, and it could have been whatever what it was that day. Oh, this nigga's in the hood. Like, I'm like, the owner is black. This nigga's like some messing up. Like, bro, like I don't know where the fuck you think you from, but you gonna get dragged to Cleveland. Like, I don't know who the fuck you like. It was about to escalate. It was
gonna get dragged to Cleveland.
it was gonna escalate that day, But literally, I'm like being blocked by the only entrance because the dude was pulling up. Like, and I went back to the car. I was like, can you for me just don't get like he was kind of like but don't go back and forth because that's a guy. So like the more disrespect he get, it's disrespecting me because literally I came from you. Period. He didn't mean to do. You disrespected me by association. That's why I'm like going. I got a lot of female cousins like you can't wear certain things with me.
This
like,
is why you don't go out and like try to be with, like hanging out with people or something because you seem very confrontational for no reason, my guy. You seem like you're always on edge and ready. Like
a lot of anger.
Is there
A lot of
something you want to
anger.
talk about? Like, why are you angry?
You're so angry.
I'm not angry.
New podcast.
You can't say that. You just told us a story
You just went,
where
my
there was
motherfucking
nothing.
mama.
Right.
I'll drag your ass back to motherfucking
Right.
Cleveland.
After it was over.
After it was over. All right.
She could be winning.
To me, once you walk out the door with your mama, that's it.
Right. That's
That was
it.
was
But
over
you was
with.
like,
And then
You
you
be
be
gonna leave the dude
You wanted to go
leaking,
back.
and you're gonna stab him through his rib cage.
You wanted to plant
You are
that
very
flag down and
precise.
say, "Bop,
I'm-
my mom, biatch."
I mean,
he was
again,
ready to die that day because anything was liable to
He
happen.
got a knife. You
Right.
don't know where it is, but it's somewhere.
And you don't know if he got a gun or a knife too. So he
won't
was
go.
he was willing to die
He's with the
over
shits.
something that
I do
ended.
carry
He is
a knife
with-
at all times. But
As you should. It's crazy out there.
He is with
again,
the
we
shits.
talked. We broke off the conversation, but we talked about like I don't really make a lot of bad decisions. So the people around me,
They make bad decisions.
no. The people around me, I choose to be around. Just like when we was in Westwood at Westwood.
Right.
Like people's like, oh, Westwood suck. I'm like, it don't suck because I go here. It is the greatest school right now. Like I don't know what's after or before, but this school is good right now because I don't make bad decisions. And like and the teachers were pretty good. Like I learned some shit from this school. Like you can hold this school is shitty after or before I was here. Like, but the time I was here, it was not a bad school to be honest. Same way with my friends. Like I don't have bad people, bad shitty people around me, or they're not around me anymore. So like, I personally take care of people who are around me, and I'm not gonna let nobody physically or thinking they can, attack y'all or be disrespectful. I'm not with the shit. Like I'm a loyal person.
Of course you're not.
So like,
right.
I'm just not.
I will say that's a nice sentiment to know about you. And like, yo, if I'm out with Jaymin, he
is
down.
right.
Whatever the fuck gonna happen.
He is not with the
Jaymin's
shits.
down.
Y'all wasn't with
Kevin's gonna watch. Jaymin's down. Because Kevin wants to know detail. Damn it. Fight.
I didn't,
It's like,
if it's a one-on-one, you got this.
look, if
It's
it's a one-on-one and it looks like I'm
Daniel.
It's time to break it up. Right.
Help me.
To break it up.
Daniel, it's not gonna be one-on-one.
you were
Stumping
down.
it. I would.
You were
What?
I don't understand.
I'm breaking their kneecaps. Don't worry.
Just wait for the signal. Go.
Even if you get fighting, you don't see me. Don't worry, I'm getting something to come back. Like I gotta grab a brick or something. I'm breaking kneecaps. Like they not walking away from this.
They harming my Daniel.
Hold on. Our Daniel.
It ain't stop. Our Daniel.
Because
Oh, you know him too. Now, this is different.
I remember I was out with Daryl and other people from school, whatever.
Which Daryl? Daryl White or the other guy?
Not Pinkston.
Okay.
And some taxi drivers like cut us off and shit. And so I'm here, what the fuck you doing? And they look like, what the fuck? I'm like, y'all what? I guess I'm a one person with the shit. I'm sorry. I don't know, that's how I grew up. I'm sorry. That's how I grew up.
I guess, man. I guess, bro.
What the fuck? Whoa. I'm driving.
Right.
I'm driving.
I'm like, Jay,
Nah, fuck that. Pull up on the side of that nigga right now. Pull up on the side of that nigga right now.
I got the tool right here.
That's crazy.
I don't think I'm a hothead like that, but because I'm by myself, totally cool.
This is why
I don't get offended.
people like Jaymin don't need a gun.
With y'all, with my
Yeah.
friends. You gotta ask some stipulations to this.
No.
People like Jaymin definitely need a gun. This is how you stop confrontation. Hey, I got a gun. All right, no more fighting.
No more
He gonna
fighting.
shoot
I got a
somebody. That's how you stop
Because by
confrontation.
myself, I remember I went like, how you do the black person nod, whatever. I was walking up the train to the Chamberlain train station. And I was like, and lady looked at me like, the fuck you looking for? And I was like, whoa. And I just laughed it off because I don't give a fuck.
It was a black woman. And she
It
said,
was
"What the?"
it was a whole old black
She
lady.
said all
She was
that.
like, "What the fuck you?" I'm nodding for. I was like, "Yeah, wrong." one.
She been doing that all day. You know she been doing that all day.
So I'm
on
like,
purpose.
I'm like,
'Cause
okay.
She mad.
So,
that's how
they
that
just
works.
started. I got off at 7:00 in the morning.
That's that nature nurture shit. We all know in our DNA what the nod means.
Right.
We all know.
Hello, nigga.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Hey,
it.
how you doing?
She didn't get that training that day.
Man, but she was off. But it wasn't nobody, just me. I literally laughed off the fuck wrong with her. Have a nice day.
So
Like,
whenever I don't get it, my mind says just what a dick. And I was like, I was being nice. I lifted my hand.
I lift my head and they just keep looking at me.
and then
I'm
it's
like,
like,
what are you
what
doing?
the you
Give
dick.
me
and I accidentally do that at the airport, and I need to stop because it's the airport. I don't know
Yeah.
where y'all from. And it's like, and then the white people are so weird. I'm like, I don't know why I did it to a white person again. He like you don't know what you're doing. Like, get the fuck away from me. I wasted
When
my
I do that
nod.
to white people, they get it.
Where though?
I would do it in Fayetteville.
They might be nervous. Do they smile too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they smile? Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
they
know you
nervous.
don't
That's like,
smile.
please don't.
Cheek-
Just like that's like, please don't kill me.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Oh, okay, I'm okay.
I voted for you people.
Yeah.
He didn't wrong me.
We used to play skip rope all the time in my neighborhood. Please don't hurt me.
So yeah, but I do the airport, and like even the people there, I don't know where
My
they
son's friends are
where they
black.
work for, where they live at, because just because you work in the Atlanta airport, you could be like from up there, and they're just weird. And I'm like, ugh, I keep wasting them on me.
He said, "Oh,
It's just off. Like that's the worst feeling, nodding,
said,
and you literally
ugh.
somebody look you dead in your face and keep walking. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm like,
just what a dick. Like you,
for what though? Like
so
you didn't have to
rude.
do that.
you know what this meant.
I don't
Yeah.
like when I speak to people and they don't speak back.
I hate that too. Because
Well, I
Like
don't like
ladies
when I'm-
or just
Ladies,
everybody.
everybody, but like
Really?
I say it
even
again louder."
Ladies too, because especially like at work, like I guess because they're all younger or something.
Yeah.
And I'll about to walk past them, and I'm the type I like to make eye contact before I say
Ooh,
something.
yeah, make it weird.
That's weird.
Like, these girls don't do eye contact. What the hell? What the hell's wrong with you?
It's
what
because
is it,
it's acknowledgement.
the go-to phrase
Could you
whenever you
ma-
speak
could you
to
ma-
a woman is, I got a boyfriend. It's just that's just how.
Has someone hit you with
society's
that?
turned now?
No. Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
like,
I'm only saying hello. What do you?
Yeah.
What do you? I got a boyfriend. I'm like,
I
what,
swear
what
to
do
God, that
how
happens.
you
Before
say
you even
it?
say hello,
How you
there's-
say it?
This is how you.
I always,
Yeah.
when I see him say, hey,
You try to hit eye contact. Hey, how
But
you
it's,
doing?
it's literally
No,
just.
I'm not saying. I'm like, hey, how you doing?
I mean, are you not looking now?
because I'm tall.
Okay.
Is that what that is? I'm looking straight because
That was a tall joke.
but a lot of them always look down. I'm like, all right, you're gonna
Yeah,
be
they're
weird.
too much. You're doing too much with the,
And
the
I
whole
didn't
eyes.
know that again, like you said. I think it's I think I found out like even certain Southerners as well as just younger people. Like I said, it's the eye contact. They don't like that.
Too much.
Yeah,
And it's like, what?
I can't stand looking.
You
at
know,
someone.
you had to been trained to do that. It's really not a super natural thing.
To do it.
They might tell you like,
It's-
look
it's a-
at
it's
look
a
at me
weird-
when you talk to me. Anybody did that?
Yeah.
It's
okay.
a legit.
Yeah.
It's
Literally
a legit
almost.
anxiety thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people.
It's a
like,
lot of pressure.
Just do it on a random person and just stare at them. Watch them freak
Well,
out.
first of all, it's staring.
Well, I mean, like you just like see someone that you know.
That might be true.
Like,
Because when I was at Advance, people wouldn't look me like in the eye. They would like kind of look away. I'm like,
I
the fuck
hate-
you looking away for?
I hate having conversations with people and looking at them in the eye for a long period of time. You guys be over my house. I look in my fucking corner. I do it all the time. And it's just, you probably don't think that I am. It was like, oh, you're thinking
Yeah.
I'm looking at someone else. I get tired of looking at people.
Yeah.
Well, I get it when it's long, because even I'll do that too.
Boy.
It's like, all right, we've like even here in this conversation, right? If
Yeah.
we're 2 hours in, I'm not gonna keep looking at y'all. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean,
I'll look
how many
somewhere
times
else,
I stare
like-
at this goddamn pizza box.
same here, same here. Because, yeah, but it's like we're having a conversation. Like even now, I looked at the bag of chips. I'm like, I don't to keep looking at you or you. It's like whatever, but
That's
it's
weird.
But it's in passing. I will probably never see.
And that's
you
a whole
again in my
stranger.
life.
Exactly, that's a whole stranger. And now you got to stare at for a little bit because he's staring. They like, why you staring at me? Oh my god, what's he like?
Like,
"Yeah, hello,
someone-
like, oh, why you saying hello? I don't know this nigga. Like,
I would say try it out like one of the days where you go to church and speak to some of the people.
I haven't been
that
to
you talk
church yet. I don't know if it's open quite yet.
No.
Well, like
Right.
when you see any
Okay.
person that you know,
Okay.
and then you start talking to them, just think back if you can. Just go, all right, let me look at them longer than I normally do.
they
And
go,
see
they
the
go,
reaction.
they gonna do
will
like they
look
gonna do the
away.
thing in like in the darting like what the fuck?
Like, they'll be like, what is wrong with him? And you're gonna, and you're like, you just look away, and then you're like, oh, thank God, he's normal. And it was like,
I
first
mean-
he was a robot. It was like, now-
a robot.
yeah.
Well, I mean, again, when I think subconsciously and consciously, there's a threshold of okay, I've been staring at you long enough. As we have this conversation,
Yeah.
I shouldn't be doing it anymore.
Break
So,
away.
but if I break that, then clearly I'm being weird.
I do that. I used to when I like worked at Best Buy, and like I would talk to my supervisor and like have a conversation with him, and it's like this dude is staring me dead in my eyes, and I was like, he's looking me in my soul. I don't like it, and I would like look at the floor or look down or whatever, and it's like I'm having full blown. I'm still talking to him, and it's like my head is facing him, but then I start going like this, and like that, and it's like it looks like whatever I'm talking about, I'm lying because I'm avoiding eye contact, but it's like that's just natural for me. And I always hate like when you see movies and stuff like that bring it up. And it's like
Yeah,
if they
people
avoid,
look down like-
if they avoid eye contact, then that means they're lying. I was like, well, damn it, I tell the truth and I avoid eye contact. And I was like, and then when I lie, I tend to look at you to know. If
Right, because
this
I want
is
you to
working.
believe me. I want you to believe me. Like,
I swear to God, I didn't do nothing. And I was like,
I'll start crying on your ass. I was like,
she was
but-
dead when I got there, Your Honor.
my poor baby.
Government came and took my baby.
So yeah,
I
that,
didn't do nothing. What is it? Weird. People are weird. You
but
just-
yeah. I've definitely done like the. Just like look completely down, like Then I was like, why am I looking down? Like anyway, just move on.
I've had to. I looked at someone who's not looking at me, and then they look at me because they
Oh.
can feel me looking at them. That's a scary
I mean,
shit.
I've
for
done
me.
I've
I
done
hate
that
that.
too. Was like, especially and more so if it's a young lady or something like that. I'm like, she look kind of nice, and then she'll turn around the moment I say that to myself. I'm like, what the hell are you looking at me for? Like and then look that way, Mike. I'm over here doing me. Like, don't look at me.
She's breaking the matrix. Oh boy!
She heard the code.
But again, for me, I don't mind like if I am looking towards somewhere and then someone happens to turn and look at me, and if I happen to, because a lot of times I'm not making eye contact, I'm just looking in that general direction. They look, I'll look at them. I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, you looking over here? I'll speak. That's
Yeah.
my thing. If you look at me and I'm not paying attention to you, and I feel you looking at me, I'll look and say, hey, how's it going? I'll just, hey, how you doing?
Kevin's a
Hey,
different
how's it
one.
going? I'm a serial killer.
Right, Kevin's a different one.
I'm like, okay, well
like
then
this
keep your
skin.
serial killerness over there, sir or ma'am.
Yeah, that's a different one.
I don't answer the pronouns.
But to me, that
I
it
answer to
only
the
shows like a sign of like
The serial killer.
human. It's a sign of human that I can It's almost like
a
it's
sign
in-
of human.
It's a sign of human to me if you make eye contact because it's like it's an invitation to make
What are
eye
we robots now?
contact.
What else are we?
Weirdos. So if you
We established this in the beginning.
yeah. So when you make eye contact, it's more of an invitation for me to say something to you. If you don't, then clearly I'm not supposed to say anything. That's how I read it. So even if I wanted to say something to somebody, if you don't make that eye contact, then I'm like, well, clearly you're either thinking about something, or you're going through something. Either or, you kind of want to be left alone. And if everyone felt and thought that way, no one would really talk to one another. And that's how I honestly feel like that shift because so many more people are absorbed in social media and just in just more behind the screen stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it's coming to. Where people, which I've seen already, social skills are whack.
Yeah.
Social skills.
And I love it. I love
I
it.
can't-
It's retarded. I'm going to say it on. It's retarded and it's stupid.
It's so
Please
stupid.
write out a
It's
sentence
stupid.
before speaking to me. Yeah, get that shit prepped. I love it.
Seriously.
Retarded.
What do
love
I
it.
say to this black man?
So
Oh my
retarded.
God,
It's
I'm
like-
an African American Siri. Do not
Like,
cancel me.
bruh, man.
Hashtag YOLO.
Please let Siri top your shit. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, I just find it so retarded, man.
And
But it's just me being me.
And again,
Yeah, I
it
do.
builds up that whole anxiety thing. And like, well, a lot
Yeah.
of people say that, it's like, yeah, it was like that lack of social skills. Yeah, you will get scared if someone approaches you and start talking to you because it doesn't happen normally.
Right.
But
Anymore.
it's like, yeah, I grew up in a time where like people just walk up all the time. Hey, how's it going?
Right. Of course, I'm biased because I had both.
Yeah.
Right. I was literally. My mother was in my opinion, an extrovert. My dad loves extroverts, in my opinion. So those environments, very social, and
Yeah.
I never saw Saturday at home. We was all out doing stuff. But me personally, as a human being, like lock me in a cupboard with some books and snacks, I will be fine. It's like
It's like because we have that duality
and,
going on.
and I
We're
really
able to
do
thrive.
think that's a genetic thing because even my mom was like,
so?
my mom was like, well, mom, as a baby, I didn't want to touch me. That's a weird thing. Like family to come up like, what you doing? Like it's like niggas like, oh, I'm trying to back your ass up. Like be cousins that I know, like, nah, don't. I come up to you. Like a cat. Like I
Is
come
it
up to
safe?
you. It's like,
Is it what? Is it safe?
my mom, like,
Yes, it's
all through
safe.
even
Is it
preschool,
safe?
even through preschool, like, hated it. All through elementary, like, it's like I don't like these. You come on complain about these kids, like, but you a kid, you a kid. Like, I don't like those kids. Those kids are kids. Like you lock up your living
Kids
place
that are like me. There is no kid like you. That's the problem. Put me
So-
in the cupboard with the snacks. Damn, that's all I need.
I love going to my grandma auntie house and going in my grandma room watch TV. That was just a perfect like hey, all right, let me know when the food gets a thing and then I'll pop in like from literally Arthur up like from like literally was like 8 or something to like an adult. I'm like we come over hang out. I'll chit chat for like 2 seconds. And then I will go in my grandmother's room and sit there and watch TV. And then she be in there sometime. I'm like, you want to watch it? I'm like, no, you watch whatever. We just sit, be chilling until it's time to go. Like that's just always been my thing. Like I like my personal space. Is it maybe if it is, it's a real slow leak. I don't know why I said that into the mic, but yeah, he's
It's a slow leak.
yeah, he was
baby.
talking about Kool-Aid, but yeah. So I don't. For me, I think that was more of a nature thing because no one taught me. They actually kind of shunned me from doing it. So like, it's not like something I was taught to do. It's just something I'm just naturally doing.
I would say with me, I basically had to develop social skills on my own.
Oh
Because,
wow!
Yeah,
I would've never had by
I
myself.
literally had to move from different place to different school and whatnot. So I've been back and forth between Atlanta, Chicago, Texas.
Mhm.
So it's always been a restart.
Oh,
whenever I went
wow.
to school. So in order to to have friends, yeah, I needed to have a goddamn personality.
Ah,
so
didn't need
I had
that.
to talk to people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so like basically just I would be quiet, much like how we all got acquainted with me. I was quiet. Yeah,
No.
I didn't talk. like when
Right,
when
yeah,
first met, like
Kevin,
when
how I
we
got
all-
acquainted with you, like-
Yeah, when we all like was back in school, I didn't talk. We all didn't talk. We just in our own zone, and then just slowly we got to know each other, and then bam, there you go. But it's like that's how that process went with me when it came to actually speaking and getting to people. I'd get a feel of whether or not I'm going to talk to you. I could tell who's the ignorant motherfucker in the room, and between like who I can have a conversation about Dragon Ball Z with, you know. And it was like just gotta feel the room for a little bit.
I think it only happened.
Go Kamehameha or Rasengan. I go, those are my people.
They only happened to me twice.
Go talk to 'em.
It was college and it was like high school because I moved to a different county in high school, and 'cause my parents got divorced, all that jazz, and I don't remember. I never tried to like people like I treat people how I people when stuff comes in conversation, school stuff, whatever happens. I remember plenty of times not going to lunch because like. First of all, trash. And also I probably was trying to read Naruto some shit in the library. Like it was not a like I'm not really only thing I liked in high school was like art class. So like I really wasn't about nothing for real. And I got people in my class that matter of fact only had like I had like 2 or 3 friends that had like 2 or 3 classes with that I ate lunch with that came like junior year because I don't know. Nowadays, like I think I told Robert one time, people coming like, "Oh, you remember me? I was in high school." I'm like, I don't know who you are, but apparently, I was like more social than I probably thought I was, you know.
You
But
probably were.
you know,
You probably just being mean.
again, I'm not. This mean shit. It's like I wasn't being mean.
He
just,
dragging niggas to Cleveland.
I mean, you go to a black school, like you can't be soft or nothing. Like you can't shit. Like everybody beat your ass. Like,
but you can't be soft.
you can't be
Those are
soft.
rules.
You know, think nobody crying and shit. Like shit. I
They
can.
probably knocking niggas out in high school.
No. That's not how you get suspended.
Oh,
shit.
you didn't read Naruto?
Right.
Fuck? I'm saying.
People weren't like that. Like I ain't go to my school wasn't that hood. Like all these kids had parents. Like so it. No.
He said
No. But they were
Because I
southern.
think everyone has parents.
But that's not
No.
jumping conclusions.
No. But they were southern parents, so they was like, don't have me coming to your school type of parents. You know, they were like even in high school they were still like you could tell when parents come up like had to be called up there like ooh
Yeah.
somebody gonna get
Who mama that is? Who mama that is?
she look mad as
That's
hell.
your mama.
You know, so
She on her day off.
still got people getting in
I
fights and
seen a
stuff.
kid get whipped by his parents.
That's wild.
I was
Like in high
wow.
school?
In high school, like,
Ooh.
cause he was a bad kid.
That-
And we were in Spanish class too. Like,
Ooh.
why you acting retarded in Spanish? And so
Because he doesn't know Spanish.
we was staying after school. I was staying after school for something. And,
After school whooping?
Yeah, cause it was a meeting.
Dang.
And I just happened to be in her class or whatever, just hanging out. But she was having her little meeting. I'm not paying attention or whatever. And then they left or whatever. And then they was walking out, and the dad like punched him.
Oh.
He was like, "Why the fuck you acting out in class?" And I was like, "Ooh!" And she ran her clothes. I was like, "No, I can't see." She's like, "No, sit down."
Dang.
I'm like, "I can't see though. I want to see." No, stay right there.
See, that goes into a level of abuse. Like
Yeah,
you can't
that's not a word.
you can't verbalize what
Punch in
you
the face
say,
is not a
but you
word.
you
Is
can
it though?
physically because you can't verbalize what you want from your kid. You have to physically beat them, think that's gonna solve the problem when they don't know the problem. Like,
No,
you
he
had-
knew because the
but
next
like-
day he acted regular.
No,
Like,
no,
he tightened up. Like he
He's
tightened
in
up.
fear
Like,
of his
Like he
life.
was participating.
But it's the fact
I'm
that
like,
he
wow.
did what he did in the first place.
Right.
When the parent is the one who teaches him how to
Right.
act when they're not around.
Right.
And
If
that's
they
not
had a
instilled
good
in him.
communication base with his parent, this probably wouldn't have happened.
I think he did. He just
Clearly, he
No,
didn't.
I mean, when he get punched in the face,
No.
then
no nigga punched in the face.
Punch
I
in the
never got
chest.
punched in the face.
Not
Punch in
punch
the chest. Punch in the
He like
chest.
punched him
You
in the
don't punch
shoulder.
a
He
kid in
punched him in
the
the shoulder.
face.
No, I seen
Like,
some.
You
I
see
seen some
a
mama
parent
full.
Ooh, that's an open hand. That's you can do that.
You see
Yeah.
this
I've
abuse? You
seen
see this
boom.
abuse?
I've seen boom
in the face.
Tell
In the face.
them you got hit with a baseball.
Really?
Wow.
Okay.
Well, I guess we're the lucky ones.
That fucked you up.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
I'm all for smacking a kid.
I'm not for smacking kid. I'm for whooping children until they're 12. Cause 12, your cognitive brain is enough. Like you know what the fuck you did. Now I'm taking shit away from you, and we're gonna have real problems. Not like I'm gonna throw you in a box somewhere, but
you know,
like,
your kids like you, like how I was at one point. I'm like, well, take it away. I don't need nothing.
This what I'm
You know,
saying.
like, what do you do with that?
and I was like, bet, let's see. We can go muck in this bitch. We just eating beans, ho. Like,
Oh, so now
let's
you're
see.
even changing the diet.
We'll go there. Like, we'll go there. Like, if you want, if I have a stubborn child, I can get petty. And like, if petty needs, right, if petty needs to teach you humility, we'll find humility in you one day. Don't play with me. I'll send you to Tibet.
I'll
I'll
never
pay for the
forget
ticket.
my history
See,
teacher.
weird?
Tibet.
Oh.
Tibet?
Like, Tibet for a year.
shave your
And
head
forget
and-
your ass was there. Like, I don't.
Like that alcohol?
Jaymin, where's your daughter?
Who? That's right. I do got a
Dude,
kid.
God,
Damn, I'm gonna go check up on her. Hey. Oh, the money right now 2 months ago. Damn, my bad. You should have called. Oh, you don't have my number. Oh, I got. Calm down.
Breaking up. But no, I had a
You gonna have an assassin come back.
I had a-
Dad, you was talking all that yin yang stuff earlier.
I had a
Go,
history
like,
teacher.
click, click, click.
I was like, I'm ready.
Jamin,
knife
I
in this
know,
somewhere.
Jamin, I know you did karate or something when you were
No,
younger.
that was a finger knife.
I know. Again, you.
So you
look,
stabbing?
You just like me. We seen a lot of kung
If
fu
she couldn't
movies,
have
my
life,
guy.
oh, she about that life. Let's play. Let's see what he taught you. Let's see. You
See,
get me?
Jamin thinks he has a fighting chance, which I don't understand why he thinks that.
I'm fine. I'm not. Don't be with the bullshit. Be with the real shit. That's what me.
Right.
Like, if you for real about to chop my head off or some gut me, you're not gonna gut me in my sleep. You gonna gut me fighting. That's what you get. And if you win, you win. If you win, you win. I'm not gonna kill my own child, but if you win, you win. I take that.
I'm after you, father.
And I still my throat bleeding. I still be like, make sure you put my ashes in the sword.
My ashes in the sword.
And I tell her like, good job, I love you type shit. You know,
Wow.
psychological
what
shit.
did it, huh?
Leave that in your brain a little bit.
You passed the last test. You defeated me. Now you can absorb
I give a and think I'm stronger than
before.
than before.
Put my ashes in a sword and carry it with you. Pass it down throughout the generations.
My essence. Just drop that.
I had a teacher that told my mom that when his kid acted up, he wouldn't take the TV or nothing. He would take stuff they needed, like deodorant.
Like underwear and stuff. Oh.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
go to
that's a
school
good little-
stinking.
Yeah, that's
Then
funny.
you get fucked up at school.
You should have acted up. You should have acted up.
They're gonna
You
roast
stink. They'll throw soap at your ass.
you. They're gonna roast you. That's for damn sure.
He would take like toilet
Yeah, but that shit
tissue.
don't go
What a
away.
thing to do though. To
Soap.
get the community involved in your punishment.
See,
that's not a
that's
community.
social. That's
it's
that's
fucked
not
up.
good.
Yeah,
That
no,
that's
it's not.
Because
that's
Boys
that
that
kid
funny.
is going to be an outcast,
Yeah.
period, for a good while. Regardless of if he
Cause
like,
that's like those parents who like oh, you trying to twerk online? Well, look at her grade. She can't wash her drawers. Type like that's that like out of pocket. Like I get it. She shouldn't be doing that shit. Right. Like she can't eat. She can't eat. She can't eat. Brush her
My
teeth
system is
right.
with them beans.
I couldn't hold it.
She can't eat. Brush
They
her
so
teeth
good.
right. Like yada yada. Like stuff like I don't like parents like that. Like just handle your business.
hey, man.
Try to figure out what's the root of the issue because like if you feel like twerking is bad, figure out why. Like it's just a thing. Like I understand what
Hey,
you
man.
think that is,
If
but
you-
it's
if you
not
did
that.
it to your-
It-
your-
communicate. I don't know.
All you do is watch BET.
That's
They
racist.
might be related.
I mean, more white chicks twerk than black, but you know,
Twerking is twerking.
yeah. But
All
again, like they do
Who
more
cares
like
if they do
online
it
TikTok.
bad or good. It's doing it.
That's what
It
I'm saying.
happens.
Like what they get it from, it's not really. But just, I mean, and twerking in itself is not bad. It's a different culture. That's like how like Jamaican islands people. That's how they dance. It's just the context.
It's not exactly how they do that.
Right.
It's incorporated with actual dance movements. So
But it's in context.
But what it's used
Right.
for in the general sense of what twerking is.
Twerking.
Yeah.
Grinding on somebody.
And if the parent feels strongly enough to the point where they're gonna show some draws and some grades because
Go ahead
Right.
and start it. Make
I
that
mean,
pussy party.
those are the
Listen
boundaries-
while
those are the
you
boundaries that-
turn some yang in the stage. Yeah.
Or just figure out like, hey, we're not gonna do that online. You know this. You know Russian. Just take your stuff.
Yeah.
Boom. Is there stuff you don't? You know, it's a privilege for you to have, not your necessity. Jesus Christ. But you know, right? It's a.
Soap is a privilege.
You don't want to. You don't want a clean child. Jesus, that's something you have to deal with.
If you
24/7.
walk around unsanitary.
You're like, who? What is that? Like, oh, that's you. I keep forgetting that.
me. I'm just saying, but it's like it's not.
They're gonna be in your
necessarily
house.
A privilege.
What are you gonna be at?
I don't care. It's just societal wise.
First
you don't
of
like
all,
stinky people.
ain't gonna- ain't gonna lie
Before
to you.
soap existed,
You-
they just used to wear layers.
You
until their
soft.
bath
You're
time.
soft, Robert. I don't know what you're doing on this capping shit. You're not gonna do this to your children.
you all like that.
I don't know.
Come on now, like you just.
Let's go get out.
Parenting, son.
No, I didn't. I just said you're nice.
He sure did.
Yeah.
I just said. I just
did.
said.
Yeah,
I
he
just
did.
said.
Yeah,
I
he
did.
did.
I did. No,
He ain't even got no kids.
I ain't got no
Look,
kids.
What you gonna do,
I
Robert?
don't even got no kids.
What you
Yo,
gonna
bitch,
do?
you a line stepper.
I-
Now we got Kevin as one.
Ain't-
Jaymin is one.
I ain't never
A
said
bitch,
I
you
lied.
a line
I ain't never
stepper.
said I lied nowhere.
They said not live.
Ain't-
A line stepper.
Oh, line
There's a
stepper.
line, and you step over that motherfucker.
Oh, true.
Habitually.
True.
Nah, he didn't call you a liar.
I ain't mean step
Almost
over
got
lies.
stabbed. He almost stabbed you.
It's like,
I would have
He
been
keeps a
stabbed.
knife on
And
him.
then- and if I got stabbed, that means I crossed the line. Then I'm a habitual
Line
line
stepper.
stepper. So there's
Yeah.
Kevin,
You just,
that's
you just
Jaymin,
like,
and
you know,
me.
you know.
And
It's
Robert
like,
sits there watching.
I'm like, I get the hell out of here. Jaymin out
I
here
best
killing
believe if I
friends.
if I go down like a bitch, I'm cussing. I'm like, fuck you, fuck everything. I will stop holding my wound till the blood go everywhere. I go clean this shit up, motherfucker. Best believe I do some petty.
and that's a weird thing because at that point, do I commit or do I try to help you? Because I'm like,
You stabbed him?
right? Do I like? Well, he's stabbed, but he's not dying.
But you stabbed him.
I mean,
what's the point?
that would
He's dying.
been like his chest cavity. He'd been leaking, but he wouldn't been dying like
I'm
that.
pulling it out. And
But if he's gonna be
No,
ridiculous,
what the fuck?
I mean, if he's gonna be ridiculous, do I like? Well, and then like, do y'all leave? Do I have to do this?
yeah,
That's a whole.
I'm
That's a
leaving
whole.
after that.
That's a whole. See. Nah, he can't leave.
Well, his friend is stabbed at his other friend's house
But my other friend.
because he's a habitual line stepper. So his only person who at fault is the one who stepped over the line habitually, and that's you.
That's me. Okay.
But then they'll come in and go, so who was the line stepper? And I go, well, I got stabbed. So at one point, I was the habitual line stepper, but he stabbed me. So that makes
Let
him
me have
the
to stab
prominent
all
habitual
y'all.
line stepper.
And then like maybe stab himself at like somebody came in like leave the door open. Like oh god.
That's a lot.
That's what. Yeah.
You do?
If it's necessary, I don't want to go to jail.
I mean, but my ass ain't
It's
no,
either
I ain't
stab
gonna be
everybody.
No weak punch to, I got stabbed.
I would hope not, you know.
What the fuck?
Then I have to hop over here, grab some more knives. We
Yeah.
should be doing a whole thing.
Yeah,
That's too much. And stabbing
Call the
itself,
cops.
like getting cut. Like you've been cut. Like it's like it hurts, but it's warm. It's like the whole thing. I was like, I don't.
Say it hurt, but it's warm.
Yeah, it's like your blood coming out. It's like really warm. It's almost like you can't really feel it for.
Baker over there, Jaymin. You need to have a conversation.
That's why people go, I'm cold. Because it's gone. No more warm. It's out. You open.
Yeah.
The heat is escaping. It's like when you unzip your jacket.
Unzip your jacket.
That why it's so cold in here?
Because of blood.
Because the blood. That's what
What is
I
the blood of my house leaving? What is going on here?
It's a murder house.
I wonder if you figured out because it's night, it get colder, you know?
Right.
People freeze in the desert at night.
Yeah, all the
can't.
time, literally all the time. But no, I won't stab y'all.
Son of a motherfucker.
Honestly, I wouldn't stab nobody because it's so much that's so much work to fix. You know, like you have to say for cops and I'm black. It's a whole thing. You know, just like or you have to right. I mean, usually when you stab someone out, when
He was about to tell himself.
because cameras, right? I don't want to be wanted because I have a fear of jail now. Not a fear of jail, but a concern of jail.
Gonna get anally raped.
That's like somebody like
No.
stabbing.
Have you seen like
Maybe you need to take the
60
shaft.
hours or 60
60 minutes.
not 60 minutes, but it's like this. It's a jail program that people like security.
Scared
guards,
straight.
So it's a program that like security guards go through. They go to jail for like 60 days or something like that. It's AMC has it. No A&E.
They send a security guard to jail.
Yeah.
They don't,
What?
They don't tell the other prisoners.
Of course not.
Security.
Right.
Well,
And
I
they,
hope
and,
not.
they, and they got like
Backstab.
signals, like so, like they stand in the corner and go like this, and then like they'll come in like, "Oh, is it a Jefferson here? Come get your stuff." And that, if it's getting too intense or whatever, but like you're supposed to say like 60 days or something, whatever. A lot of them don't make it.
It's like for
Not dead,
to
but
be a
like-
security guard there.
No, it's like training type of deal. Yeah.
You got to see what the jail is about. Like, what's
Yeah.
it like? Like you
And
gonna
then like
be-
they,
you
they
gonna be
do like
working here.
they do like Fulton County. They like do the shit like.
Oh, you got me
they
fucked
had,
up.
They had one dude. They had one dude get jumped in there. Not a
security guard got
not
jumped?
Not a guard, just a regular inmate. He
Oh.
got jumped because they were saying he was too happy. They told him to man up. This dumbass concept.
Damn right.
He literally
No.
did nothing. Literally, they was like, yeah, we don't like his attitude, right? I'm like, what is going on? Like, they literally like got behind the stairs and like, and the people like went and rolled him and beat him up and fought him. And he was like, he was literally, you could see his anxiety and panic like in the corner after. Like he was kind of crying, but not that like I'm crying, but it's like that. What the fuck's going like type of shit. I'm like, yo, this is how prisoners that are normal people become criminals.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Shit like, and they had another one where a security guard was getting messed with because the guy was like, "Oh, you're the cute down there. Let me come over." And he was a big old white dude, and he was like, he came down trying to, cause like that first of all, these jails are like overpacked. Like,
Yeah,
did
big
you know?
time.
You know, you hear stuff on the news like, but when
Like, what is it, like one guard for every 100 inmate, something like that?
and they're like
Yeah.
these inmates are outside, like you know how they have the little bunk beds in the cells. They have bunk beds in the cells and bunk beds out the cells where like where you eat and stuff at. Just like they're like they overpacked like that. I'm like they have like little cots and like. Y'all just out here, like just sitting there. And so he was sitting on his little cot or whatever, and the other dude came back and like scooted another cot next to him, tapping his pants down. He's like, "Come on, let me get in there." I was like, "This is so weird." So the guy had guy stuff and did like in the corner one like, and it's like, "Is there a David in here? Like, come get your stuff." I was like, "Yeah, I couldn't do it."
Fuck that.
I was like, "This is." That shit was funny.
Yeah,
as
Pull
hell.
up in
I know,
him.
I know this is a show and everything, but I ain't getting raped from nobody.
And have them film it and
ain't
put this
getting-
bitch away.
I don't give a damn about the $1 million. There was no $1 million. You were just supposed to do this. The
Right.
fuck?
Oh, they was gonna get paid?
No.
That's what I'm saying. He thought this was.
There was no money in it.
I don't give a damn what the cash prize is. There's no
No
cash
cash
prize,
prize.
sir. This is A&E. We just do this.
Right. I was like, this is shit crazy. Then they had like clips of like fights and stuff, and motherfuckers got stabbing people with shanks. I'm like, ugh, this is so much work.
I started laughing when I found out like a bunch of them have like up to date phones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Little
And
TVs and
it's
stuff.
like they're not supposed to, but they do. And hell, there's a bunch of them that's on TikTok.
Right. I was just about to say, it was a TikTok. This thing had his TV, like a game or whatever, and literally the caption was like, "Wow, he has everything but freedom." I was like, y'all, y'all are doing a lot. I was like, yeah, that shit was crazy. It's like, yeah, they doing line dancing. I was like, y'all are grown men. Sit y'all asses down.
With contraband.
Right.
It's like you're grown.
I remember one. It was like Instagram Live. They was like, it was like they was talking in person, and the person in the comments was like, what he say? It's like, y'all gonna go to jail for this. We in jail. That's it. I was like, this is wild. Yes. Well, that shit is wild. But no, I mean, like in real, like getting back to the topic, way back.
Was the first topic?
Yeah, I don't really have a I don't think I really had like a role model other than my like dad.
Oh, the other
But
topic.
even then,
I had
my
that-
brother was more of a cool guy. That I'm like, yeah, he doing all the cool things, got a job and a car and all this stuff. Like, other than that, like, I don't really have like a role model, like a human being I looked up to.
He was just roasting me and you about not having one. Ain't that some stuff?
I mean, like, other than my like literally my brother, that's something I could think of. Like, my dad too. Like, he's cool, but
But you had
always
someone
working.
to look at, and just you had a.
I didn't idolize people.
I know you're
What is
not idolizing, but you had a sense of exactly like, hey, this
This
is a
guy.
person. I can strive to, be like this person or do something like this person, but essentially, this is what I look at and I go, hey, they all right.
Right,
Like
right.
the main topic out of everything, in the sense of how I feel of what's going on currently throughout the stuff that I'm currently looking at and how media is changing throughout the different forms of entertainment and whatnot, is that we have a huge lack of that.
But I
With-
think people should get. I don't think role models shouldn't exist outside, which they do. But I don't think they should exist outside of reality where you are.
But it's just there's a lot of people who basically grew up and emulated and had role models be stuff like Superman,
Mhm.
Captain America, and whatnot. Like we
Psychopaths.
have a huge fandom of people who grew up looking and reading at these characters because they probably didn't have a father figure at home.
Mhm.
Parents went through divorce, their dad wasn't around all the time, or just there's something that they looked at, grabbed hold of, and was like, this is an
Yeah.
all right guy.
Right.
And it was like, he stands for truth, justice, and the American way.
Right.
I would do the same because I like this guy. Hell, even with me, I didn't like Spider-Man as much as I do now back when I was younger.
Mhm.
I wasn't gaga over him. I didn't know the details of the shit that I know now. But I would look at Spider-Man and I liked him as a character way more than any other character because I would sit there and look and I noticed stuff that was happening with him. And I was like, he has schoolwork, he's balancing dealing with chicks, and he's saving the day at the same time. That guy's awesome.
Okay.
He's all right. But I really can't name or see any cartoon or anything like that that's out present that I would sit there, like, if I had children, I would let them look at.
Paw Patrol.
And they would. What?
I hear good things about that.
Paw Patrol. I mean, it's kind of establishing kids to get used to the police, but other than that,
Yeah.
Paw Patrol.
I mean, yeah. I
not
mean, most
necessarily a bad
stuff on most stuff on PBS because PBS has never strayed from their norm since back in the fucking
Yeah.
60s from when they've been doing stuff.
Yeah.
Hell, if anything, it's just their lineup has changed because time and animation and the money that they have now has changed. Dragon Tales was an awesome show.
Dragon Tales was an awesome
I was
show.
in middle school, and my little brother Edward would sometimes look at it back when he was in elementary school, and I was like, Dragon Tales all right. I was like, it ain't like Sesame Street when I grew up. I was like, but this isn't all right. Then I was like, and Sesame Street would come on, I'm like, this is the same Sesame Street like when I grew up. I was like, they just talk about the same letter P. I was like, they getting in on this shit.
It's like in Wheezy, something part.
But like,
no two heads
hell,
are better than one.
Grew up watching Mr. Rogers, and
Yeah,
No,
he was
no.
fire.
exactly.
Yeah.
As boring as it seemed, it was like at the time
It was
when I
entertaining. Like you just.
When I was
It
little,
was. I
like,
used to think like
I was
everything
like,
is like the
this is-
color palettes are very bland and pastel,
how he
and it was.
talked.
Hey,
Except for his
everybody.
sweaters.
I was like, man, I was like, this is so boring. I was like, damn, but he got so much to say.
He got so much
I
to
was like-
say.
I was like, what that mailman bringing over? A videotape showing how they make erasers. The fuck? I was like, I never knew they made erasers. I thought teachers just handed them out.
Man, when I tell you
He
how
said,
it's
"Wasn't that
made,
fun?
how it's
Seeing
made, fuck the whole world up, bro. You
How
be
the
like,
actual show? How
yeah,
it's
you be
made?
like, yo, it did what? They do what with what? I was like,
These
when-
are people's jobs.
man,
Lady just sit there.
they
and
make
watch,
Twinkies. What the fuck? Like, bro,
Yeah,
it,
that's favorite show.
Lady just
Man.
sit there and watch candy get wrapped up in Crunch bars, and she just push it. And I was like, that's a whole job. I was like, she just
when they
push
made
candy
like the,
bars.
like candy canes and that not the candy cane, but the peppermint like little square thingy. Brain was still trying to figure out what was happening. Like they rolled this Laffy Taffy stuff out. They pulled it in the mood. I'm like, what is this? Then it got hard all of a sudden. And they just went through a machine and like
Yeah,
it's
they're
like
cutting it.
I'm like, what the? And it's like, yeah, they put it in the bag and they expected. I'm like, what is this? I'm like that was wild. That wild.
And that's how it's made. This motherfucker doing witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
This is Salem witch trials on this show. The whole show. Witch.
I remember when they made vinyl. I was like, I was wiggity whacking. I was like, this is magic. This was magic.
I always when it first came on, I was like, they breakaway episode is gonna be when they show hot dogs. I was like, when they show how hot dogs are made, and I was like, that's gonna be it. Ratings gonna go through the roof. Everybody gonna lose their goddamn mind. No, you gotta see it.
I only eat natural hot beef hot dogs.
Season 5, the season finale of season 5.
Okay.
I got some actually.
But it's I would say it's the lack of having that because even when I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of characters that I would sit there and simulate or look at and go like that's a positive male role model or something like that. You know, and it's like it started shifting around that time because most of the big butch-like guys and things like that in cartoons was 80s. He-Man,
Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
G.I.
hell,
Joe?
Yeah, G.I. Joe. Literally
The
every
70s or
every dude on there. was just-
I mean, no, I'm like, I've heard people watch G.I. Joe. I've never watched He-Man. Yeah. Well, not He-Man you talking about?
the original one.
Oh, see now. Yeah, you back there. Yeah. I don't know.
It was
I've heard
I'm
about these
saying,
shows.
I know like these characters existed, but it was one of those things where it's like just because they existed at one point in time doesn't mean that they don't have to exist now. Like it's cool.
Do we need them?
I'm saying just to have some type of grounded symbolism of like essentially what I'm like talking about in the very just something to be like that's a positive male role model.
Really
someone
positive?
someone who's not essentially that's
G.I.
that's
Joe straight
going-
murdering motherfuckers.
No one ever killed anybody. That's the dumb
Their
thing about
intent
G.I.
was
Joe.
to murder
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
but they were shooting lasers and everybody missed.
That's why everybody got AK-47s now. Because, like, G.I. Joe never hurt nobody. Like, yeah, but those are bullets. They made it green and yellow because they couldn't get past the census. They're
when I
not be
found out about G.I.
confused.
Joe, I was always confused because I wanted to know who was Joe. And I was like, who's Joe? And I was like, look, I'm looking for G.I. Joe. Is it the one with the beret? But they're listening to the dude with the blonde hair. So
Yeah.
he's Joe, but they're all saying, go Joe.
Yeah.
Who's Joe? And I was like, there is
Who
no
was
Joe.
Joe?
There is no Joe.
What was
That's
G.I.
just-
What
that's
G.I.
just the
stand
name
for?
of that's just their name.
Yeah.
They're just G.I. Joe.
Not even the military.
Yeah. And even the theme song, G.I. Joe, real American hero.
Right.
G.I. Joe. That's it. That's all it's is. It's like it's just all of them.
Yeah.
Every single one.
I think we're getting a little away from propaganda, so I don't think we need to reinforce that. Like,
Not that, but I'm just saying like that there were characters that exist at one point. That there were characters that exist that essentially had a grounded network of essential essentially just, okay, this is some form of a responsible adult, of an adult man.
But a lot of shows don't have that period.
I know. And it's like they
Like
don't.
no
It's
one's
a lot of them-
responsible. No one's good. Really,
A lot of things now are
more
focusing
realistic
on,
comedy type of stuff.
they're doing a lot of emotional things.
Because
A lot of
Bob,
stuff are,
I respect Bob.
Bob the Builder?
Yeah, Bob Burgers.
Oh, Bob's
Yeah,
Burgers.
I
Okay.
respect him. He got a wife, Linda, with children, take care of his kids. You know,
You know,
he got a
but-
job. You know,
but it's
struggling. He making it.
It's a comedic show. Like
Comedic
he's
show.
constantly being ran over by his kids who sit there and walk all over him, even though he wants them to
I mean,
inherit
but
his business.
they-
They got no interest in it, and it's like he loves his kids, but it's like every.
But he
once
has
in
a
while-
good, clean communication base with them.
Yes, he
though.
does.
Yeah, like
And it's like-
almost not realistic.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's
Like-
like there's a lot of things that like you can perceive as negative, and there's a lot of things that you can perceive as good.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, but it's just that not in a sense of making a Mary Sue of a character, but just having a well-grounded man character that someone can look at and be like, hey, like that. I would like to be a guy like that. You know, much like how people did back in the 50s when it came with Superman.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like a
But-
lot of
yeah.
people. Yeah, just,
Yeah, Superman trash, but you know.
yeah.
Okay.
I know this.
Oh, yeah, it's like-
you know this.
I didn't.
But it's just-
I want to do. I semi want to agree with you, but I, you know,
But I'm
like
just saying, it's just
that
how
general
how people
respectableness
Yeah, of that character.
I completely understand that, and
Of
it's like,
not-
but now we get into like maybe we can make a character that's actually good. That might have flaws, but he's an actual
Yeah.
good person that you can look
I
up
mean,
to.
even with Superman, it's like people attached themselves and they latched on and they adored Superman. That's
Yeah.
why he is DC's golden boy today.
And I
You
watched
know,
the animated
of their
series like
big
everybody
three.
else.
Yeah, and it's
you
like
know?
he was the guy. People looked up to Superman,
Right.
and it's just the fact that now I'm seeing a lack of characters that are even worth being looked up to, because there's so much with trying to give them flaws to make them more human than it is to give them positive traits that teaches or instills something into
Right.
children. Hell, looking at all the old Disney cartoons they used to have, like Winnie the Pooh, Little Mermaid, and Aladdin.
Winnie the Pooh was lit.
Yeah, and it's
Like,
like
ain't
all
no
of those shows literally
But
had.
psychologically, something's wrong with Christopher Robin.
Yeah, he's a crazy child.
I don't know where he at in this
Heffalumps and
room.
woozles?
Somebody's beating Christopher.
Someone told him the word elephant and he went heffalump. And then they told him weasel and he went woozle. They're in the forest.
He was
They're
beating.
gonna
He
kill
can't,
me.
move, he can't move half his jaw. That's why he can pronounce those words.
Heffalumps and woozles. They're going to kill my friends, Daddy.
Oh, bother! Like this, something's wrong, with Christopher.
Oh,
Robin.
you
Oh,
saw
God.
the movie Christopher Robin?
Nope.
Where he started
The newest
talking,
one?
the
newest
real life
one?
one? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
I did
started
not.
talking to, and like it was the stuffed animals talking to him. Fantastic movie.
Okay,
If
it's
you-
on my list.
Yeah, if you know Winnie the Pooh, it's a great movie.
Oh,
like,
good.
That's a great movie for Winnie the Pooh. Eeyore come in depressed as hell, like he's supposed to be, and he was like, "Well," he's like, "I was looking for my tail, then I gave up, and I just been here." And then he was like,
Jeez.
"Nothing else." And then he was like, "Eeyore, you lost your tail like back when I left the 100-acre woods when I decided to stop playing with you guys anymore." Yeah. It was like, God damn. And then Winnie the Pooh, he was like, I can't just do nothing, Pooh. And he was like, you can't do nothing. I do nothing all the time. And he said, that's all I do is nothing. He said, so if all I do is nothing, then technically I'm doing something. But I know I'm doing nothing.
Put them knots together,
Yeah, and
nigga.
then he was like, so obviously doing nothing is
It's
something.
something.
and then Chris Rock was like,
So you're never not doing nothing.
and
What
it
you
was like
saying?
it was like you're trying to argue with a retard and you can't win. I was like, you can't win. And I was
I
like,
mean, he wasn't wrong.
he wasn't wrong.
You can't be
And
not
all-
doing nothing because
all
you're
he
doing
did-
something by
all
not doing nothing.
All they did was teach him that, damn it, play with your kid. And it was like, you used to have fun. And it was like, why is it that when you became an adult, you forgot your childhood? And then it was like, and that's a problem with a lot of adults. But it's
A
like,
lot
yeah.
of those do that.
Yeah, and it was like, bitch, you used to watch cartoons at one point in time.
And
That's for-
enjoyed
That's
them.
for children. Bitch, grown-ups made this shit. And it was like, for children. So what's the problem?
And sometimes not for children.
Yeah.
Just not for children, you know.
It was like, I don't
comedy-
understand.
I watched Sesame Street. Them
You
episodes.
seen as a recent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the Muppets. Most good.
And the Muppets are all over the place.
Yeah, I
And
love
then
it. I love it.
90s Muppets blew up, and they were all over the place. I recently looked at Muppets on Treasure Island that had Tim Curry on it, and he played Long John Silver. It's funny as hell, because basically Miss Piggy was a hoe. Because Long John, because like there was like Miss Piggy was left on Treasure Island because she was with the captain that hid all the treasure on Treasure Island. Of
course.
And then Kermit was like, but he was like, when you get with him? She was like, right after I broke up with you. And then he was like, he said that was like a couple of years ago. She was like, I know. And then he was like,
Right.
wait. He's like, how soon? She was like, you know, the day we were supposed to have our honeymoon. And he was like, yeah. That day. Yeah.
She don't play no games.
And then Tim Curry came up as Long John Silver, and he went, Miss Piggy. And she was like, oh, no. And then Curry went, him too? And he was like, how many men you been with? She was like, look, if you didn't leave me at the altar, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right.
So he left her at the altar?
Yeah, because that's their stick. Kermit can never commit to Miss Piggy. He's not supposed to. Like, there's literally a thing on that the second the Muppets Most Wanted movie that they did, because there was an evil Kermit, and then like he liked Miss Piggy, and so then like Miss Piggy was like, I know how to prove which one the real Kermit, and then she went to she didn't know, but she asked the evil one. She was like, do you love me? And then he was like, yes. He was like, now I'll marry you right now, and I adore and love you. And she was like, all right. And then she went to the other one. She was like, do you love me? And then he went, well, I mean, I don't know. It was like, this is kind of complicated. She was like, that's Kermit.
That's awesome. That's awesome writing. I enjoy that. But I mean, I get it, right? I can't tell you like that stoic, be like me because I represent something of anybody.
Right.
I don't think it's necessarily a good male role model thing. I think it's just like we're trying to make it more human, more realistic. And like you said, we don't put like these not tropey role model standards on people and on characters and stuff. So and we're doing stories different now.
True.
So do I even want that? I don't know. I know it's good for kids for certain points, like maybe in TV shows. And even then, I'd rather you see a kid, watch a kid, and see them like, maybe I shouldn't do that. And the kid like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that, rather than it's like, be like me because I am perfect. I don't know. I don't know. Right?
Even with like the superheroes of old and like the very old Superman cartoon, where they used to rotoscope every fucking thing.
Beautiful.
And that thing was immaculate. But I hated it. But damn it.
So buttery smooth.
They made this in the 50s?
You saw it. When they had to paint that bitch on glass, nigga. Like, this is... if you rolling that bitch, like, hold on, got a next
I had a VHS... My cousin had a VHS tape of the one where he fought like a giant gorilla. And I was like, crushed Lois. I was like, she ran into the gorilla cage. Die. I was like, she's so stupid. Superman came and he just... And he lifted up the gorilla and acted like it was heavy and then threw it into the cage. And then Lois was like, well... There you go. And then he was like, lady. And then he flew away. And I was like, that was a cartoon. And I was like, I just saw a cartoon. I don't like Superman. I was like, I don't like Superman. This what he about?
I feel like he should have had a long conversation with her.
I was like, I don't like Superman. I don't like it at all. And then Clark just showed up. Hey, Lois, you all right? Just like, you bitch. I almost died from a gorilla.
Where were you?
Lucky Superman came and saved me. I was like, oh, Superman came. What was he like? Kind of weak. I was like, what, nothing. I had the gorilla myself. Oh, lady. Dun, 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 dun.
Give niggas no credit at all. What you think? Die on this shit.
But it's just that aspect that I would like for there to be more of a just a grounded work of a character that you can look up to, much like how you said with Bob's Burgers. Like there's aspects of Bob's Burgers where it's like, yeah, positive characteristics that you would want in a fucking father, but this show is catered for adults who should already have kids. It's like, so,
and maybe they learn how to talk to their kids with the show.
It's like, and if they're learning that now, bad from you, but you started somewhere. So
right,
good.
You started somewhere.
Yeah, and it's like you're good, but bad on you. But it's like, but look at the opposition to that. Like every other cartoon show with an animated dad, they're all idiots.
True.
American Dad, Family Guy, Cleveland Show got canceled.
Yeah.
Everything else that Fox creates, they immediately canceled
because
they're all stupid.
Yeah.
So.
That's how they get off. That's all.
Yeah, and it's like it's just Simpsons the reigning champ of that.
Right.
Simpsons' whole identity revolves around
Homer.
the joke of this is what a white family consists of.
And I remember when I don't think they may do it anymore when Homer used to straight up choke the shit out of Bart.
No, they stopped doing it
Yeah.
because people were outcry about it. They stopped showing it as much, but he still does it. Okay. Yeah, they literally had like a new episode where he had there was a dream sequence and someone saw through a window and he's just choking the shit. And one of my favorite things is like Bart got so upset at him he tried to choke him. And then like Homer was laughing. He was like, "You're tiny little boy."
Yeah, then he
there."
like grabbed something.
He took his belt off and then looped it and put it around Homer's neck. And like Marge was like, "Oh my God, stop!" And the granddad came. He was like, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, he understands his lesson now. That's how I used to choke him back in the day."
and it's funny. It's like a ha, but you see perpetual abuse.
Then they literally had an episode talking about like with Bart and like abusing him and whatnot, and like he had a psychiatrist that they were talking to, and I think it was played by Paul Rudd. Like he played the psychiatrist in the episode, and like he kept trying to tell Homer like it's wrong for you to put your hands on your son because he choked him in school, and everybody was like, and he was like, "What?" And he was like, "Y'all know he deserves this," and they
Right.
was like, "No," and he was like, and he's like, "Wait, have I not choked you at school before?" And Bob was like, "I don't know." He was like, "I think you have." He was like, "Well, hey, maybe not." And then
So
it was
calm with it.
it was like they had to go to court, and then it was like he had to go to like talk to a therapist because it's like, dude, you're physically assaulting your child. And then Homer kept explaining to him, "Y'all don't know Bart." And then he was like, "You people,
bad, though.
He was like, "All of y'all think y'all know Bart." He was like, "None of y'all know."
Choking
Bart.
him, make him stop.
And then the guy started talking to Bart, and he was like, "Your son just wants to spend time with you, so he purposely does bad things to make you pay attention to him." And then like Homer was like, "Is that it?" And then Bart was like, "I mean, yeah." And then the guy, he lost his house, lost his car, his wife divorced him. Turns out Bart was messing with him and getting like his social security information and running up his credit and everything like that. And then he was like, he said, "But we made a breakthrough." He's like, "I'll just write all that shit out this book." And then he was like, "I don't believe in it." He's like, "I hate Homer." And then he was like, "I do whatever I want, whenever I want." It's like I start choking Bart. And then he was like, "He got a tough neck. It's a real tough neck." And then like, Homer was like, "Oh, you're doing it all wrong." He's like, "You got to get in there." And then he start choking Bart. And then like Bart was like, "Yeah, leave it to the professionals." And then he was like, "It's okay, boy. With the money we're gonna get from suing him," he said, "I ain't gotta worry about that court case that I had with you."
Damn
and then
right.
the dude was like living in a tree at the end of it.
Hey, choking other people's kids wrong, Chief.
That's the line. You don't step on.
You stepped all over
I
that
will
line.
choke my son. You don't do that.
Dancing across that mud. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. But yeah, I haven't seen any movie that I don't know. I'm an adult now, so I can't. I haven't seen anything where I was like, yeah, that's a cool movie that.
I mean, well, hell, most of the stuff that we get now when it comes to
Like
cartoons
Hellboy.
is,
Like, he was a decent person, you know.
I would say like, well, most of the cartoons that are out now are more so about kids for kids,
Right.
You know? Like Adventure
Right.
Time, Steven Universe, hell, even regular shows essentially like this college dropouts,
Yeah.
or, like people who didn't go to college,
Right.
or whatnot, like straight out of high school type guys. But it's like nothing that's more so oriented to this is an adult, but this is an adult story for kids.
Yeah.
Now when they're adult stories, they're intended for
Adults, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we still want cartoons, so we're like,
True.
nah, we want those cartoons still. Make some adult cartoons. Like, damn.
I mean, like look at with the Spider-Man cartoons, they keep making him younger and younger and younger.
Yeah.
He's consistently stay in high school.
And he's funny.
Yeah, it's like, but it's like just, but the Spider-Man cartoon that like sparked the craze of Spider-Man back in the '90s, he was in college.
Yeah.
He was in college, and then the motherfucker tried to get married.
And Aunt May was cool.
Then he got married to a clone because Green Goblin opened up a dimensional portal and made the real Mary Jane go in.
Hysterical.
He married Jane.
When she jumped off that building,
Yeah.
and so she can catch him, he was like, "What are you doing? I just want to see if you'll catch me." I'm like, I gotta leave you somewhere. I could not mess with you.
I just wanted to make sure you'll be there when I actually need you. And it was like, what the fuck? It was like, that's the
crazy.
craziest thing. But that should have taught men, women do shit like this. And I was like, they're crazy. And it was like, but hey, you're in love. So
And
you
it's like,
just
what
gotta let
made
it
you think
slide.
you needed to go to that extreme? What happened in your life? Like,
And it's like, I'm right here, and I have superpowers. What is wrong with you? It was like, he just proposed.
what if I went to go get
Jumped off
coffee? I'm like, I'm gonna get coffee.
What if he didn't do anything? Like, he was like, what are you doing?
See,
Like,
what
she got
happened?
powers too. She can fly.
What happened? She didn't.
Nope.
She didn't look in the storyline when Gwen died. That's what
Yeah.
happened. That's what happened.
He could have had a traumatic flashback and froze. Then tried to Weber. Snap.
Snapped. Damn. Gotta fix
did.
that. Tension too tight. I got to adjust that.
Pull that Andrew Garfield. Like, wait, stay with me. No, stay with me. Stay with me.
Snap that shit.
When that happened, I wanted to applaud so bad in the movie theater.
Yeah. I wish they would have held it. I wish they would have held it for
was-
another movie.
because it was so real for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it was like at the end of his goddamn movie, he finally made up with his girlfriend after all that, even though he broke up with her on some stupid shit. When he made up with her, all this crap happened, and then she died. And I was like, how Spider-Man?
How
It was like,
Spider-Man.
that's so, and it was like, even when you win, you fucking lose. Because you can't catch a goddamn break.
Can't catch
You're
a
not
break.
supposed to.
Not supposed
You're
to.
Spider-Man. Life is hard. Man the fuck up.
And I don't think he did. I think he's still traumatized.
Yeah, no, he was depressed. That man was depressed.
I think that, and that's the
No,
right
the fact that
reaction.
the fact that his aunt came in and went, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "What does that question mean?" And then he just
Like
I
in
don't-
life?
He was like, "I don't know." And then she was like, "No, Peter, where are you going?" He's like, oh, "God." And I was like, "This is straight out the pages of Goodwill Hunting." It's not your fault. Come on, man.
No,
It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Don't do this,
No,
man.
man.
You don't know me, man. It's not your fault. I was a boy. They didn't have to do that to me.
He should have cried as a boy, but he had to man up. But you know,
That was the man. The hug. Was Robert Williams.
Several years
giving a
later.
hug to a man. That was him manning up. You gotta pick the man up. Scott. Man up, man up. That's all it is.
be realistic with yourself. That's the new quote. Be realistic with
Hell,
yourself.
I would say, well, thinking of that with Robert Williams, that should be another topic for a podcast. Why doesn't the Academy Awards put comedy into stuff? And it was like, Robert Williams didn't get an Academy Award until he did Good Will Hunting. But
That's crazy.
man been making my life great for years.
He didn't win nothing for
before-
Genie?
No.
They
I
suck.
think Aladdin got an award, but hell,
You
Aladdin.
never had a friend like me.
Someone called a radio station, was like, they're gonna kill themselves, and the dude was like, dude, go see Aladdin. He's like, that's the greatest movie ever. It was like, I promise you, you'll feel better. And I was like, did he kill himself? And I was like,
I watched Aladdin. It's pretty good. Boop.
That'd be crazy.
it wasn't realistic of the Arabian people.
True.
Are you Arabian? No, I'm white. Man, quit your bitch.
But we had genies.
Yeah.
You mean gens? I'm like, all right.
Jins, Dajins, Fujins, Kaijin.
But yeah,
Okay. Well, final thoughts for everyone. Why not? I mean,
That's how these normally should go.
because we've done it. We're
4 hours
We're
deep.
basically done.
4
so
hours deep.
Yeah, almost 3:45.
I might break this up.
Ooh, I mean, you have to watch 4 hours.
Watch
Finals.
what?
I mean,
Just cut shit.
Just throw the
All you
timeline.
do, cut it. Go right to the middle. Cut. That's it.
Are you turning this off? Turn it
Yeah,
off.
wait for
Oh.
a pause. No. Just if anyone got any final thoughts before I end this.
Start with Robert.
Yeah,
Robert,
I don't have any.
you know, on the phone, like,
Yeah, Robert's been in his own world.
Nah.
oh wow, great thoughts.
Okay.
Repeat the question.
Perfect control, seeing as how you have children.
Okay.
Do you believe that there's like, are there comfortable shows out there that you're okay with your children watching, where they would essentially, because at some point they're gonna get something from something,
Right.
You know, where you'll be comfortable with like, hey, my kid is learning lessons from this show.
Oh, Sesame
rather than this
Street.
show.
Because Cruz loves Sesame Street, but now Rio likes it too a lot. But Cruz, like, he loves Elmo a lot. He always wants to see my phone and say, "Oh, Elmo," and Abby.
He's a fucking Elmo.
I don't know.
He's
It's a
amazing.
demon.
I think he's made just for kids.
Why does everything gotta be a demon with you?
I mean,
Every kid loves
monsters.
Elmo.
They're monsters.
They
First
are
of all.
monsters.
Literal monsters.
They're literal
And
monsters.
they
But-
got our children used to monsters.
Again,
Oh my god.
Elmo. Big Bird not a monster.
He's a bird.
Big Bird just got. Big
He is a
Bird-
giant imaginary friend.
Yeah.
He is not a health.
And
though.
People can see him now. People can see him now.
Yeah, which was a
Because he
cop-out.
willed into existence. Magic.
Which was a huge cop out.
Demon
Because the
magic.
early
That
early
demon
Sesame
magic.
Street,
Like he would.
early
he would
Sesame
walk
Street,
away.
Big Bird was a crazy person
Yeah.
that they had to be careful around.
Yeah.
Because he would be like, my friend Stuffy was just here. And they sure he was Big Bird. Sure he was. He was like, I swear to God. And I was like, Big Bird, your bird nest is in the alley. And I was like, everyone else lives in the apartment.
Again, why are you in the alley?
He's like, well, Oscar's in the goddamn trash can. It has a roof, Big Bird. And I was like, But you talk to Snuffy, and then y'all go to a cave somewhere that don't exist. We all live on Sesame Street.
All
I
right.
swear to God, these places exist. He's my best friend, Snuffleupagus. All right,
A
big
giant
bro.
demon bird.
Sesame
and
Street.
monsters.
And Arthur. I let him watch Arthur.
Oh yeah, Arthur's lit. Well, is
I
Arthur
do.
still lit?
I told Arthur's a bully now.
Oh,
Did I tell you
word?
about that?
Oh, he play hands on niggas?
No, he's like
Oh.
he
Ain't a
does certain things that's like that's
Passive
not the
aggressive
Arthur
type
that
shit?
I'm used to.
I'm pretty like I feel like they might have like ran out of stuff to write.
They
for.
probably did.
'Cause they literally tackled almost all life lessons.
And,
Like, they literally did. And that
A
was when I
lot of
was
people
growing
have
up
voice
watching
changes now.
it. Oh, yeah,
I mean,
grew
they
up.
probably died.
Yeah, those were.
It's like, and they can't do voices forever. In their grave?
I think the brain is still the same.
Like a lot of them were actual kids doing the voice, much like the old Charlie Brown cartoons. Like those
Oh, I
were
know
voice
Oh, I didn't know
actors,
that.
kids doing the
Wow.
voice.
I remember when the brain's voice first changed. I'm like, that's
Like
weird.
the girl who played what's it
Walking down the
Francine. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
her
she
voice
was she was what she was a part of Are You Afraid of the Dark? She was the one of the people sitting around.
black girl?
Yeah, she was that was her. Yeah, and it was like she was little when she was doing that. And it's like I can see you getting tired of doing it, you know, and like wanting to move on or whatnot.
Could you
Like,
imagine getting tired of making money? That's wild.
Well, I mean, like if you made enough.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I got enough.
Then they still
I'm
made
done.
the episode, so you're still
You
getting
think
checks.
residuals?
You're still getting checks.
Oh yeah, like a show like that, you know, hit
serialized,
syndication. You know.
Yeah.
But then it's public. Like, how does that work with that network? That's weird.
I don't know. Trump tried to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Well, the government, period, tried to get rid of it, and it was like it's Trump, and then it was like, look how much we spent on the military, and look how much we spent on Sesame Street. This is weird.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, but
Which is weird because
yeah.
Sesame Street is like 30 minutes now, but it looks fantastic. I will say that being on HBO.
Oh well, most of their funding comes from donations.
Yeah.
That's always been a bulk of their money.
PBS, public.
What's on HBO now?
Yeah, they play it on HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
they-
the new ones come on.
yeah, but they still
HBO.
play it on PBS.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, because
Aw.
PBS.
We watch on HBO.
This rich
Dang.
bastard, he gonna watch a free show.
Right.
He
Public
gonna spend money
nation
to watch
that you
a
can't
free
donate
show.
to that. You go, nah, I'm gonna just pay HBO. They'll stream it
Like,
out here.
you can watch it for free here, like a pleb.
I mean, we watch Arthur. You watch Arthur when I'm watching it. But
Okay.
those are two good kid-friendly shows that he can watch. And plus, he loves The Grinch, the new animated one.
They have
No,
an
the
anime
movie
series?
or
The
series?
movie. There's a series, Grinch.
Oh no, you said the new animated one.
You
Okay.
said-
There's a new animated movie.
Yeah.
The latest one that just
The-
came
the-
out.
Yeah,
Um,
from Illumination. They did.
Yeah.
It. Yeah.
That's about it. That's really on TV as of right now. That's kid safe,
Okay. As far as you're.
as far as I know.
Mhm.
Right.
Well, Kev, any final thoughts?
Well, I guess more of a wrap up, just a mere fact of again your original point of male role models. I just see there is a shift in what's being prominent right now based off of culture. I do see that. But other than that, I mean, I think that there are male role models still out there in cinema. Maybe they're not just shown as much. That's cool, but I don't know. I think it's there. Honestly, I think it's there. I don't want to ramble too much, but I think it's there. I think it's there. It's just it's not as prominent. That's all. And I think that everything comes in shifts and ways. It's like clothes. There's always a new style of fashion, but honestly, it's just a repeat of something that's happened before. So I think we'll eventually shift into this weird market pocket again, where there will be more predominant male role models or male characters in movies again, and we'll get to maybe what you're talking about. But I also think with that, they'll write the female lead characters better. I think again, they're starting to get into motion. They're getting there. I think it just like anything else, it just requires time and for them to get the right individuals to know how to just write. And then when that happens, I think everything will align pretty nicely. So I think it'll happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Jaymin.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
My final thoughts is I don't think it's as bad as it seems. We're just different perspective. We grew up different, so we have that perspective on us. So it just different, looks different to us. So I think they're getting it somehow, but we're grown, so we're role models. We're all the role models half the time. So
True.
so we might not just see it not transparent as it was as when we were growing up. It just might be different. So and hopefully these kids get it from different stuff because they don't need to see the same thing we need to see. They need to see different stuff. They have different things they're going through that we didn't grow up with, and they need to see what's important, whatever, with them. You know. That's it.
Okay. Well, I guess overall, for my final thought, just my with everything is, yeah, with everything. What you guys were saying, like, there's really no other way of looking at it. Essentially, don't know what the future will hold. Right now, what's currently in demand is what's currently being shown.
Yep.
Will I like to see more male positive characters? Of course. But at the same time, I'm also a dude with a dick. So it was like, and then I'm not getting a bunch of, like, I'm not the target audience for a lot of the shows that are out now that are catered to the today's generation, which demand a different aspect of character dynamic, storytelling, hell, even fucking animation for that matter.
Right.
You know? So all of those things are wonderful factors to be taken in place. And it's like, but I know personally, I would like for there to be more of characters that I can look at for when I have children, that I can sit there and go, I will be comfortable with my child looking at this character and emulating this character, or identifying that this character is someone that he can idolize, or he can tell me, this is my favorite superhero, and I'll be comfortable with it. And that's the day that I look forward to, is for when they start doing that. All right. This has been a fantabulous Fun with Flame podcast. My God. This was awesome. By all means, I would like to thank my guest again, Mr. Robert.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Kevin.
Thank you for having me, man.
And Mr.
Thank you,
Jaymin.
thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you, thank you.
Appreciate
All right. My name is Daniel the Flame. This has been Fun with Flame, and as always, good people. I hope you had fun. Also, be sure to check out the original home of the Fun with Flame podcast over at Anchor.fm. I upload there first and far more frequently than I do YouTube. And you should definitely go there to listen to some of my podcasts that are just too hot for YouTube to handle. So check out Anchor.fm for more Fun with Flame content. Be sure to subscribe and click any of the links in the description to see all of the other things that I am associated with, if you just want a little bit more of that Daniel the Flame in your life.